Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome to Fresh Air Podcast After Hours Edition. We're joined. We make crazy content that might not be safe for YouTube. As a matter of fact, we're in YouTube jail right now. So we'll be back in about a week and a half.
Yes.
On YouTube, and we'll probably post a couple of these over on YouTube. Obviously edited because we've said a bunch of crazy shit. Mo's already on top of it. Well, yeah, you're gonna have to write that timestamp down. You're gonna have to edit that. But anyway. Yeah, guys, we'll be back on YouTube in about 2 weeks, or a week and a half in this case. Yeah. But yeah, check us out on Rumble. And in the meantime, we're going to have pretty much all the shows on there. Yeah. We'll probably have a debate next week for you guys that you guys have been asking for. So stay tuned for next Friday. Also, freshfit.locals.com, as you guys know, whether it's Frank Castles or crazy stuff that goes on behind the scenes that is not safe for anything, it's over there on freshfit.locals.com.
And shout out to IC for the pre-streams before the shows.
IC live streams the show before we go live. So check us out over there as well if you want to see what goes down before the show. Also, check us out on Fresh Fit Clips, guys. Wait, canceled, right?
Canceled.
Yeah, canceled. No, I'm just kidding.
Gone.
It's still up there on YouTube, guys. Go subscribe to it. 90% of you guys, 80% of the people that watch that channel are not subscribed. So go over to the Fresh Fit Clips. If you don't got time to watch a full podcast, go ahead and check out the Fresh Fit Clips. When we come back, we're going to be posting 6 videos per day, probably like 10 shorts per day, maybe even more because we have so much content that we still have. So check us out over there. Also, guys, go check out our more Fresh Fit Clips channel, which is also canceled now. But we'll be back again in about a week and a half.
For now.
And then we're also on Spotify, guys. Oh, the merch. Sorry. FreshFitStore.com, guys. Go get the merch over there. New designs coming very soon that we discussed on the last show if you missed it. And then also check us out on Spotify. Mo's uploading every single day on there. Whether it's video or audio versions of the pod, it's there. So check us out on Spotify as well.
And guys, my vlog channel is also canceled for now, but I posted 2 vlogs earlier before the cancellation about Colombia. Pretty good trip. Us, Nico, Shooter, a bunch of people. It was a lot of fun. Go check it out. And as well, guys, the network, we had a fire call with Wes Watson yesterday. He killed it, bro. Spoke the truth, laid on the law. So type in the network, man. Give value, add value, hop in there.
And then check out my channel, guys. Fed Reacts, you guys know. Yeah, it's canceled right now. But as you guys know, I break down criminal cases on there. So if you like true crime, go check it out. The last one I did was the YNW Melly case. As you guys know, he recently got a mistrial. And as I predicted, they're going to do another trial in about 3 months. So we'll see what happens, man. But he was able to kind of delay the prosecution for a bit. So we'll see what happens on this second go-around trial. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Get my book, Why Women Deserve Less, in stores right now. Amazon bestseller, hardcover, Audible, pretty much in all different, in every single medium that you guys like to read books. Go ahead and get it. Why Women Deserve Less. The book's only about 86 pages because, well, women deserve less. So anyway, let's go ahead and have the ladies introduce themselves.
And then Chris?
And girls,
Chris.
send me DM on RNC Poxon on IG. Ladies, we don't send emails, so please don't fall for scams. Just IGs. And if you're not sure, just send me DM RNC Poxon. I do check IGs, okay? So make sure that it happens. And shout out to the team in the back for sourcing and nice merch, Audrey. And shout out to the girls on the panel.
I mean, who uses email anyway nowadays?
I don't know, man. But girls fall for that shit, man.
Besides that, though, ladies, if you don't mind, give us your name, your age, what you do for a living, dating status, and if you want to, of course,
your body count.
And we're gonna start right here. Welcome.
Okay. Hey, my name's Alexandra. I'm 27 years old, and I'm from Miami. And I'm a server, and I am taken. Nice. I'm in a relationship.
Yeah. By who?
By my boyfriend.
How long have you guys been together?
For like 10 years.
10 years.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, remember I told you last time. And
yeah, you're right.
I broken up, but now I'm back together.
What's your highest education level completed?
Oh, I have an associate's in psychology.
All right.
Wait, you got back with him now?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, like,
what made you go back?
Because there wasn't like anything between us. Remember, it was like something with like his parents, but everything turned out fine. We worked it all out. So,
yeah, props to you then.
It's a happy home.
Well, welcome back. What about you?
Hi, my name is Karen Estevez. I'm 18 years old. I am currently a full-time student, but on the side, I did drop shipping and I started getting into day trading as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm currently single and.
Well, currently.
And can I add that she has a Lambo as well?
Oh, she does?
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I've seen you at Supercar Saturday, by the way.
Me?
No, him.
Oh, him? Okay, I was going to say, that can't be me. I still got my 2002 Honda.
I'm on side, nigga.
All right. So wait, 18, you said you do, where are you originally from?
Oh, well, my family's from Argentina, but I'm from Boca Raton.
Okay. All right. So, and you said you're a full-time student, you do day trading and drop shipping, and then I'm assuming you're a full-time student in college.
Yes.
Okay. What are you pursuing?
Well, I want to be a dentist, so I'm doing a biology major.
Okay. Cool.
And body count?
I don't mind answering it.
Answer.
Sure.
I'm a virgin.
Yeah.
So,
I knew she was gonna answer that one. Answer it. Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
really?
yeah. Why he look concerned?
TBD.
Oh, okay. To be determined. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you?
Hi, I'm Paola. I was born in Boston and I lived in Venezuela all my life. And
How old are you, Paula?
I'm 30.
Wait,
Okay.
30?
Yeah.
And you said you were born in Venezuela, but you're
No,
from
born
Boston?
in Boston, but I
Okay.
lived all my life in Venezuela.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And
What part of Boston?
Beth Israel Hospital. That's where I was
Well,
born.
that's the hospital. But I mean, like, what
Really?
part of Boston are you from?
Yeah.
My mom and dad were studying their masters, and I moved to Venezuela when I was 2 years old. So
Okay.
I honestly have no clue.
Did they go to school in Boston?
Yeah,
Where'd they go?
my dad to BU and my dad to Northeastern.
Oh shit. Okay. I went
Okay.
to Northeastern, so
Oh, nice.
that's where I graduated from. And then BU is right down the road, but BU sucks, so that's fine. And then what's your you said you're from Venezuela /
Yeah.
Boston. What do you do for work?
I'm an engineer in a medical device company.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what's your highest education level completed?
A bachelor's of science,
Okay.
industrial engineering.
Okay. And then what is your relationship status?
Single.
Okay.
Okay.
You look familiar, by the way.
I know you.
Oh, shit.
That's funny.
What?
Don't ask how.
How?
Because I forgot.
We have a friend in common.
Really?
Wait, girl or guy?
Girl.
Did he fuck her?
I don't know. I don't know that
I'm
much.
asking you, bro. I'm asking, bro.
Hold on,
Come on, man.
It was
It was a friend in church because Fresh is a man of God.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a virgin too, like her.
Facts.
Yeah.
Happened.
TBD. Okay. What about
All
you?
right, my name is Jasmine Jafar. I'm 28. I'm originally from Oregon, and I am an OnlyFans creator as well as a licensed attorney.
She belongs to the streets.
Wait.
Yep, both. They're not mutually exclusive. So highest
So dope.
education level
Attorney
completed.
and then video vixen.
Mhm.
Wow.
What kind of law is
Estate planning.
Estate planning?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I was
when
gonna not
people
say it
die,
publicly.
I guess, assuming you help divvy the assets up.
That's part of it, yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then you said you do OF as well.
Yep.
Does your firm have an issue with that, or do you like?
So I
private
quit my
practice?
job at my firm about a year ago. And so I actually
Okay.
don't in my day-to-day because I don't need it to make a living anymore. So I do a lot of pro bono work, do what I need to do to keep my license active, but I'm not doing it day-to-day.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so you no longer work under a firm, but to keep your license, do you have to do pro bono work to keep it active? Well, you have to do
I
some
don't want to say
litigation.
what state I'm licensed in, so that depends on the state,
Okay.
what they require.
Okay, but to keep, I guess, in generally speaking, you need to do some type of taking on clients or do some type of litigation to stay active. Is that how it goes?
You need like CLE sometimes, which is like continued legal education. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some states require pro bono.
Okay, to keep it active.
Yeah.
Okay, and for the audiences, that means basically free representation.
So,
What, Chris?
no,
Go
it's a question. Did you do content in like the courtroom?
So no.
Help you out with that.
So I started my
Thoughts?
OnlyFans when I was studying for the bar because I was bored. I'm good at standardized tests, so I didn't need that long to study.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Once you're happy.
Okay. And then your highest education level, obviously,
Juris
you went to law
Doctor.
school, right?
Yeah, Juris Doctor.
Okay. Do you want to drop where you went to law school?
No,
Okay. Where'd you get your bachelor's from then, or your undergrad? Sorry.
I also don't want to drop that.
Oh damn, they're gonna be able to figure out who you are, huh?
Yeah, and your audience in particular
Oh shit.
might have a unique propensity towards like
Yeah, they do.
psychopathy. So
Okay. They're gonna find out anyway.
They will find
They're
you.
100% gonna find
They
out.
will.
By the end of the show, they're
Yeah.
gonna find out what state that you have your
Everything.
your license in. I
we'll
guarantee you.
see.
And then dating status?
Single.
All right. Cool.
Find out within an hour.
Yeah, within an hour they'll have it, but it's fine. Okay. What about you,
My name is Josie. I'm 20.
Josie? You said?
Yeah, perfect,
Okay,
Josie.
Josie.
Yeah. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Sweden. But I've lived here in Miami for a year. As of
Okay.
now, yeah.
What do you do for work?
I'm a nanny, so I'm a living nanny. Easiest way with the
Okay.
visas and everything.
All pair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm also doing some school on the side, online school back home from Sweden. Yeah.
Okay. So you're pursuing a college degree right now?
Yeah. So I kind of, it's a little bit different in Sweden, but it's like kind of a college degree in nature
So like biology, chemistry, math.
Okay.
For dental school too, like the same as Karen.
Okay. So your online school is actually based in Sweden, not
Yeah,
here.
exactly. So like in
Okay.
Sweden, you get paid to go to college and university.
Wow.
It's not even
No,
like
that's an L. Socialist country.
No, but
Yeah,
she's
like-
here getting paid.
Yeah.
But back there, yeah.
Yeah, Sweden L. But sorry, continue on.
so yeah. So it's nice.
Okay. All right.
nice.
So okay, and then your highest education level completed though is high school, but you're in college.
No. So like it's like college,
Oh, you have a 4-year degree.
3 year. Yeah.
Okay, is it 3 years to get your bachelor's degree in Sweden?
Yeah, for like nature. So it's like I haven't done university for dentist school yet, but for the nature, like the basic to get into. It's like so hard to explain. But yeah.
I think I kind of understand. You basically have the functional equivalent of a bachelor's degree in Sweden,
Yeah.
but it's 3 years in Sweden
Yeah.
versus in America it's 4
yeah.
years.
So it's like math, biology, everything to become a dentist.
So you're
yeah.
in advanced schooling now to become a dentist.
Yeah, for basically university.
To be a dentist.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll put BA here. Okay. And then what's your relationship status?
I'm in a relationship.
Okay. How long
Yeah.
have been together?
Like 5 months. So it's kind of early.
Okay. Is he from here in Miami or is he from Sweden?
Yeah, I'm born and raised.
Okay. Cool. She's trying to get that green card.
Yeah,
All right.
there-
Let's see what you're doing.
Last question. Do you sing?
I don't. Definitely not.
Because you know what I thought?
What?
Josie and the Pussycats.
What? What you know about
Hey,
that?
man. Okay. You know what I'm talking about? What
My
about you?
turn.
All right.
My name is Jasmine. I'm from Miami. My parents are Jamaican and Italian.
Hey y'all!
I'm
Fun
20
munting.
I'm 22 years old. I do real estate, and I also do lashes and rental cars. So I'm from Miami Realty. So if you guys ever need a realtor, come to me.
You do a lot.
Where are you
Yeah,
originally
a lot.
from?
I'm from Miami.
Okay. So you said, wait, realtor, lashes, and what was the third thing?
I do rental cars on Turo.
Rental cars. Okay.
So if you guys ever need a car, exquisite exotics in most states.
Oh, okay. You have cars in different states?
Yes.
Okay. And then what's your highest education level completed?
I dropped out of Harvard.
Wait, Harvard? No way.
Wait, really?
Joking. I just
Oh.
Graduated high school. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, it's a joke. Okay.
Okay.
I said it earlier on the last show.
I was gonna say, like, you know, like get the degree because a lot of times most kids go to Harvard for little to no money.
Girls be like, yeah,
They're-
I went to Yale.
Yeah.
And then never finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. High school, and then what's your relationship status?
Some days I'm single, some days I'm taken, depending on what mood I'm in.
She belongs to the
Yeah,
streets.
she's single. All right, fantastic.
Hold on, before we even move forward. Question for you.
What's the question?
Who bought you that necklace?
This?
Yeah. Don't cap.
Myself.
How much it cost?
You know how much it costs.
I know it's expensive.
Come close.
You got to talk to the mic.
How much it
Oh,
cost?
sorry.
How much it cost?
You know, you should know.
No, but if you bought it, you should know too.
I know too.
How much that watch cost?
You should know that too.
Who bought it for you?
Myself.
So you bought
No,
yourself?
this was a gift. The watch was a gift.
Ah.
What about your
okay.
watch? Who got it for you?
Myself.
You did? How
Yeah.
much was it?
You don't want to know.
I know already.
How much it cost?
That'd actually be
Is that
impressive.
a
You could say,
skeleton or no?
Yeah, skeleton. Yeah.
Skeleton? Okay.
What the?
Well, it's silver, so it's a little cheaper than rose gold.
It's not silver, but okay.
White golds.
Yeah.
And body
Okay.
count?
But this is scary that she knows.
wait, how much is it?
Well, the one that I know of that I also have is 250,000. Well, that's the rose gold. The
Mm.
white gold, I'm not really
That is
sure
actually
of.
pretty accurate.
Okay. Interesting.
See, this is not good though that she knows all these things. She's been outside. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. What about you?
Chat's saying sugar baby. Are they right?
No,
No.
I don't have a sugar daddy.
Stop the cap.
Have
I
you ever
don't.
had a sugar daddy?
No.
Stop
Never.
the cap.
Never.
She has friends with money.
Oh.
No.
Okay. First, know some shit.
Listen, man, 'cause I'm telling you, chicks that wear this type of stuff, bruv. You didn't buy it yourself.
How old are you?
30.
30? Okay.
How old are you?
22. I just told you that.
I was listening. I was not listening.
All right.
What about you?
Fantastic.
So my name is Natalia.
Mhm.
I'm from Serbia. I'm a full-time student.
How old are you?
21.
21. And you said it's Natalia?
Natalia.
Okay. And then you said you're from Serbia?
Correct.
Okay. Were you born in Serbia or
Born and raised
born and raised? When'd you come over?
for college.
Okay, so you're a student now, full-time
Yeah,
student?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, correct.
What are you studying?
Political science and international relation.
Oh God.
All right, so you're here on an F1 visa probably.
Correct.
You're pursuing your bachelor's degree?
Yes.
Okay. And you said political science, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's your relationship status?
I'm in a relationship.
Okay. How long y'all been together?
For almost 2 years
Cool. Is he in Serbia or here?
here. He's
Okay.
American. I
Okay.
also do OnlyFans.
Oh, well, okay.
With him or
No.
with girls and
No.
guys?
No.
Okay.
Who do you do it with then?
By herself.
By myself.
Oh, by yourself. Okay, all right.
What are you doing there?
Now, lonely fans.
Well, subscribe.
Lonely fans.
I am so I'm stroking it.
So what are you doing there? Sing Kumbaya?
Find out.
Sorry?
What are you doing there?
Well,
Find
just
out.
stuff like
Find out,
usual
right?
stuff for OnlyFans.
I don't know what that means, but okay. Cool.
Well, subscribe.
There we go.
Hell no, bro. I need the real thing. Okay, cool.
All right.
What about you?
Hi guys, my name is Shay. I'm from Atlanta.
Shout out to Atlanta.
ATL.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Goddamn.
So
Okay.
I'm getting grown.
Okay. So you're from Atlanta. What do you do for it?
Black Lone Crack. I'll say that.
So
Unless you
I'm
do
an
crack.
entrepreneur.
Then no crack.
So I
Period.
have a lash line as well, but
Okay.
I'm dabbled into real estate also with Mac Miami Realty.
You guys are friends?
So,
I
we
just
met
met her
today.
Oh, wow.
When you say,
girl.
when you
Wow.
say you dabble in real estate, like, are you a realtor? What specifically?
No, so I'm getting into short-term rentals like Airbnb, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I've done
Do you own the property, or you're gonna like work on behalf of a landlord and get lease on their behalf?
So currently I lease, but
Okay.
I'm in the process of finding a home to make it mine because there's so many rules and so much BS. But yes,
Okay. So you're gonna buy a house and put it on Airbnb yourself.
yes, but I have Airbnb under a lease.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
So you work on another person, on someone else's behalf, but you are gonna transition and do it yourself.
Yes,
All right. And then, what's your highest education level completed?
I have a BA in
Okay.
psychology,
Cool. Where'd you get it from?
Georgia State University.
Okay. Bulldogs?
No, Panthers.
Okay. What's the there's a school in Georgia I think is Bulldog.
I have no idea.
That's
I don't know.
Georgia, University of Georgia.
Ours
University
is
of
like
Georgia,
the
okay.
second biggest, but we're downtown Atlanta versus UGA is like in the cut.
Okay. And then what's your relationship status?
I'm in a situationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
It's like really a partnership. So he thinks he's in a relationship with me, but I'm single.
Wait, does he know this?
Sounds a
Yes.
little like me.
Where's the little sound effect?
Hold on. So let me get this straight. So he wants you, but you don't want him.
Yes,
So why do you string him along?
because he finances my lifestyle.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a reason behind the madness. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep.
Okay. Lovely.
But why though?
L.
Go ahead, Chris. What'd you say, Chris? Go
No,
ahead.
I'm saying, but why though? Like, why does he pay for your shit?
Honestly, he's just a giver. He's just friendly. I think he helps. I mean, he just gives it away.
Hold
What a
on.
great guy.
Does he get to smash?
Okay,
Don't
so
cap.
that's a story. I don't want to go into it.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
As of recently, yes, but for 8 months, no.
Okay, so it took him 8 months to smash.
Took
God
him 8
damn.
months.
Damn.
8 months?
What the
8 months.
fuck?
God damn.
Yo, that's a L, my
She's
boy.
38, bro. She's almost.
What this nigga said?
She's just a granny, man.
What the
You get
fuck?
more when you hold out, ladies.
You
FYI.
do. You actually do.
Hold out.
No, you know what happens when you hold out?
What?
Well, if you're Chris, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, it's too early, fresh.
Oh yeah.
Mo, what'd you say? You made a good point. Go ahead.
He's probably about to cut her off.
After 8 months?
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Only the strong survive.
no.
8 months? And you think you would have been able to keep stringing along for
I
another
could have. I just ran out of things to like.
Dicks.
No.
translation?
I
He
ran out
would
of-
have cut you off.
Excuses.
Yeah,
I
he
mean, you
would've-
can only be on your period so many times.
Yeah. So, yeah. Good catch, bro. Nigga said if I don't smash, you're done, bro.
And also you said the strong survive. No, the weak stay on that level.
No, only the strong survive. To be very strong to survive for 8 months.
No. The weak stay
No,
for
it's
a chance
opposite.
of hope.
Wait. So she's been celibate for 8 months?
No, she's fucking up someone.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah,
no.
you see?
So
She ain't strong. She ain't strong.
So,
Come on.
so the nigga that's paying her lifestyle gotta wait, but niggas that ain't paying shit don't gotta wait. Isn't that
You
crazy?
see how they attacking me?
I'm just saying.
You see the
Yeah,
blood?
girl,
They
see?
would've come for you.
Yeah, see?
That's why niggas don't do shit, nigga.
I don't think
Don't do
he's
shit.
He's not necessarily attacking you. I think he's just like asking some, maybe some thought provoking questions.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
But
What
I
if-
can respect the hustle.
Okay.
I actually like it,
You like that?
but not for the guy though.
What if the roles were reversed a bit? Let's say he was only having sex with you, but he never took you out on dates for 8 months. How would that make you feel?
Ooh.
Well, I wouldn't do that.
Only the strong survive, though.
I mean,
Only the strong
he
survive.
wants me. I don't want him, so he got to put in the work.
That's why.
So boom.
Guys, this is why you got to get your shit together, man. Be in the gym, be an attractive guy, so girls actually genuinely want you.
And she has to want you more than you want her.
Facts.
Oh my God, what if he sees this? Do you think?
I'm 100. Like
he ain't going nowhere.
He ain't gonna see this. He ain't gonna see this.
No, he will.
That nigga's too busy simping. All right. What about you?
My name is Kristen. I'm from Miami.
Welcome back.
Thank
She
you.
belongs to the streets.
I haven't even said anything.
Your OnlyFans, we know.
Okay.
Wait, sorry. What was
Do
the
you
first
want to
name?
talk for me?
What was the first name?
Kristen.
Okay.
Don't mind him.
Relationship status is
Wait, how old are you?
complicated. 27.
Okay. Where are you from?
Miami.
Okay. What do you do for work?
Hostess.
Chris, you said OF?
Do you?
No, hold on. If I remember correctly, you said you used to.
Yeah.
With your man, right?
No, I didn't never posted my man on OF.
No, well, when you had a man.
Yeah, I still have a man.
Because you want to get back at him, and then he left you.
Oh my God, I hate you guys.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's her.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I was
Okay,
like, wait, how do you? Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
It's gonna be
All right.
Hey,
Now,
man.
now I'm like remembering. Okay.
Yeah.
You've been on before. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That was
okay,
like
fine.
2 shows ago.
Yeah.
Like
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
months ago.
I don't remember.
So you transformed into a hostess now? I like
Yeah,
it.
my
So you gave up
hostess
the
now.
OF and you do hostessing now.
Correct.
Okay. I
Yeah,
remember
see?
once you mentioned
Yeah.
the boyfriend thing.
Yeah.
All right. Highest education level completed.
High school.
All right. And then you said relationship status single.
No, I said it's complicated.
Is this somebody new?
No.
Same guy?
Yeah.
Oh, God. You went back.
So who doesn't want to commit to who? Because if it's complicated, typically one party doesn't want to commit to the other, or one party likes the other more than the other likes them back.
Uh-oh.
Like, okay, he just does things and then I just want to get back at him, but I'm pussy. Like that.
She likes him more than he likes her.
Yeah.
All right.
And
No,
your
he loves me. You guys are tripping.
You are a living novella.
and
No.
your OF link is in the bio, so on IG.
Yeah, but I have nothing. Go
Linktree?
subscribe. There's nothing on my OF.
So then why keep it there?
Subscribe.
No, I don't want to subscribe.
But
I want to die.
I have like no news, no nothing on my OF.
All right, cool.
So then just take it out.
Why? Let them subscribe.
Because nothing's there.
They don't know that.
Well, they do now.
No, you would be surprised. They'll still
Hold on.
fucking- they'll
So
still
you're telling me
fucking-
if I'm a sub customer, I go to your page, sub to your OnlyFans, I see nothing. I want my money back.
No, it's like sexy pictures, but not nudity. It's nothing like
Bruv, you said
like
you
it's
said
nothing like
nothing's there.
before. It's nothing like before. Like what I
You
had
said
back
nothing
then.
is there, but something is
Yeah,
there.
I would post that on my fucking story. I don't care.
But then take it out then.
All right, whatever. I'm done.
Not yet, Chris. Hold on. Let me just make sure I get through all the stuff.
All right.
Okay. And then what about you?
My name's Kayla, aka Anola Blaze. I am 25 years old. I have an OnlyFans and I also make homemade organic baked goods.
Okay. Where are you originally from?
Michigan,
What part?
the country.
The country.
Country.
All right.
You heard me, nigga?
And then what's your highest education level completed?
High school.
Okay. And then what's your relationship status?
Single.
Are you guys friends? No? Attorney?
No.
Are you guys friends?
No.
You should do a collab.
For what?
OnlyFans.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
This is fantastic.
Okay.
All right. Yo, Chris, I sent you a video in the chat, by the way.
Okay.
Fresh, did you have a question or do you want to hit the rants first?
Rants first.
Rants first? All right. So, guys, we'll hit the Rumble rants, and then we already got 14 or 15K you guys in here. So I will read the rants that came up before, but from this point forward, we'll probably go 20 and up. And it's Friday.
Actually, I have a video actually that
50
was
15,
kind of telling. We can do it later on though. You saw the one on the plane with the guy and the girl?
No, I didn't see that one.
That was
I
crazy.
got a good one, though.
You got one?
I just put one in the Miami Takeover.
All right, let's do mine after.
Do we got the rants ready, Chris, or do I go into the first question?
Question first.
It's like Chris was too busy in the back fucking trying to come up with a joke for the girls instead of screenshotting.
Hey,
God damn it.
no, look, here it is.
All right.
All right,
I
cool.
have more coming in. So.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you got it ready, man. What do you...
Yeah,
okay.
but there's more coming in, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I'll read these. And guys, from this point forward, I'm going to go 20 and up. All right. All right, Fresh, you got this because this is, Bible stuff.
Okay. Pastor Walter Weeks, 1 Timothy 2:12 says, "But I do not allow a woman to teach or exercise authority over a man, but to remain quiet." Okay. And then part 2 says, Exodus 22:16 says, if a man seduces a virgin who is not engaged and lies with her, he must pay a dowry for her to be his wife. This is the Old Testament, by the way. So no longer.
All right.
Blackest Panther. Ladies, if a woman demands that you can only smash her, she should be ready to give it up at all times, even if she doesn't feel like it. If she refuses to, you are in the right to step out. Agree?
This could be a simple one, yes or no.
Yeah.
So basically, if you don't want to give your guy sex, he should be able to step out. Thoughts? Agree or disagree?
What do you think?
No,
Why?
because if I don't feel like having sex, I shouldn't be forced to have sex.
He's not forcing you. He's gonna go get another girl.
Yeah, you could stay home.
He could step out.
For my dude, I'd tell him, like, please get someone else to do it.
You're a savage, nigga.
All right, so we'll make this simple. Raise of hands. Is it okay for him to step out? Again, here's a scenario. Scenario is he wants sex. You don't want to give it. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're not feeling it, whatever. He wants to go and get it out for another girl. Agree or disagree that he should be able to do so? Agree? Raise of hands. How many of you agree?
I mean, I agree you can step
3?
out.
Hold on,
but...
hold on. I just want to get a picture. Only 3 of you agree.
I need context.
Right.
But is he gonna,
are they still together? Like, are you saying should he be able to step out?
Hold on. What was your
Are
question?
they still? Are they still going to be together? Like he's allowed to step out, but they're coming.
Like a hall pass?
Yeah, he's gonna come back to her. Yeah, that's
Oh,
his chick.
no,
I guess that
no.
depends.
He's gonna go fuck another girl, but come back to her.
Depends on
He
her
can
boundaries.
go, but then
Yeah.
don't come back. Bye.
Okay, so again, raise of hands, ladies. How many of you think it's okay? Raise of hands if you think it's okay.
If he
I don't know
Step
their
out.
relationship.
1.
He can go, but don't. But bye.
Okay, so
then.
that's a no. Then you disagree.
Okay.
Well, who else? So only one person says agree. Okay, interesting.
I don't
Interesting.
agree or disagree though.
Yeah.
So
We don't
what-
know their relationship. We don't know the boundaries of
Like
their
he can do
relationship.
whatever he
Generally
wants.
This is such a
speaking,
Is he
bizarre
gonna
question.
leave me or
no,
he's gonna
he's
go
gonna go
fuck?
bust a nut, come right back to you.
Pretty
Well,
self-explanatory.
it's up to
you don't want
her
to fuck.
whether-
Well, go
Then
fuck
I'll raise my
on
hand,
someone
yeah,
else.
whatever.
Cool. So 2.
So 2 girls think it's okay. All right, why do you think it's not okay? We can start here.
Oh.
I mean, he's like, the way that it's written, it's like, oh, you're forced to have sex or not. I'm going to go and have sex with another woman. It's like, okay, you can just leave then. Like, why would I want a man like that? Like,
No, he's not forcing you. He's saying,
Yeah.
Well,
if that's
the
what you bring to the
opposite.
table,
but it's there's kind of like,
What?
I'm going to go have sex with another woman on the line if you don't have sex with me right now. That's what he's kind of saying.
so he's supposed to sit there and just
It's-
like play with himself.
How long?
I mean, like, you don't, like, just leave. Like, he doesn't have to come back. That's my thing. Like, if you want to
Okay.
do that, you can just
Okay.
go, but, like,
All
don't
right.
come back.
What about you? Why not?
Well, I'm very big on loyalty, so I mean, like, it's kind of hard because, like, at some point I do agree on their perspective because it's like, okay, like, obviously you're not giving what he wants, so it's kind of like, okay, but at the same time, it's like, it depends on how long the relationship is.
Okay, you definitely are a virgin.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me, he can do whatever he wants, and yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Like that's not the type of relationship I'm looking for right now. So I like he can do whatever he wants, and I decide what to do with what I feel about that.
Mm.
No.
So you won't take it.
No.
What if you really love him?
That's not love for me, and everybody has their own concept of love. And same as I respect whatever he does, he has to respect whatever my reaction to that is. No.
Okay.
All right. What about you?
So is the question what we would do, or for this random couple that we don't know?
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
random
so if it was
scenario.
me, absolutely the fuck not. But I don't know. This girl might be fine with it. It's up to them. The boundaries of a relationship depend on the people in the relationship. So I don't know what we're doing. But okay.
So if you can't satisfy your man, he wants to just go and come back. Is that so bad though?
For me, yeah.
Why?
Because I don't even want him. He can go. Actually, he doesn't. I don't want him to come back. He can.
Exactly.
Damn. Okay.
But can you make the
Damn.
argument that you're on OnlyFans?
What does that have to do with it? It's a non sequitur.
Well, here's the thing. You're demanding him to be monogamous to you, right?
I didn't even say I demanded that. But if I don't want to have sex with him and he's like, what is he, a fucking, like, I know we're all technically animals, but that's just a little, I like a more evolved man than that. He has to
Okay.
go step out. and-
Evolve line.
All right. Very interesting. Very interesting. So you want him to be faithful to you.
Depends if, I mean, so far in my relationships, we've had monogamous relationships, but I'm not diametrically opposed to open relationships either. It depends. We have to have communication, honesty, integrity.
All right. So they got to tell you up front is what it is.
I wouldn't tolerate it, like if it's one-sided the way you guys like things, but that's me.
Oh,
We're all
okay.
different.
Open on both
We all
ends.
different. We have different values.
You want it to be open on both ends.
If it was open, it would have to be open on both ends.
I mean,
If it was open.
You're open.
But if you're with a man that you actually like, would you actually want to have sex with other dudes though? Specifically, being honest here.
Me, no, but I would definitely listen. But I would want to hang out with other dudes. I make sex tapes on OnlyFans, so I have to continue to do that in this point. So yeah.
Wait.
You can't. It just can't be. It can't be one-sided in that way.
Sex with who?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait. So you're telling
You guys
me
should subscribe.
you would technically speaking
I had to bring that in.
not want to do it, but if you did it, you would go other guys and.
I'm just saying the rules have to be fair. So it's in law, it have to be a facially neutral law.
Facially?
Yeah. So it would have
Like
to be, on its surface, it would have to be fair.
Surface?
Life isn't fair, though.
But is life? Thank you. Is life fair?
What does it have to do with anything?
We're just saying. Look, you don't want to do it. Hold on. You said yourself you don't want to do it, right? So
yes, but I could. And if I want to go on a date with a guy tonight, I should be able
to. But why
to.
force it if you don't want to do it?
I'm not going to force it, but if I want to, it can't be. The rules can't be. I can, you can't.
So take
now, if it's not neutral in its application, like if he wants to do it and I don't feel like doing it, that's different. But if I want to, I can. That's the point.
I'm pretty
She
sure.
wants to be able to reserve the right to go out and step out of the relationship.
But I'm pretty sure if that happened to you, you wouldn't do it.
But on what basis are you're saying it's because it's equal partnership is on what? But do you think men and women actually are equal though? Realistically speaking,
Yes, I do.
Really?
Ooh, okay, that's where that comes
That's
from.
the premise.
Yeah, so she thinks men and women are equal, which is why she.
So
has
why
that.
aren't they equal?
I mean,
we were born differently.
We're absolutely different from a
Well,
biological
different
sense.
doesn't mean unequal. Black and white people are different, but they're still equal.
No, I understand that.
Okay,
But within the confinements of like human rights and everything else like that, but within the confinements of a
Dating.
relationship, men and women
Different
are not the same
doesn't
at
mean
all.
unequal though. Different, just apples and oranges are different, but they're both fruit. Like it's just stupid.
Yeah, but we're not. Go ahead. You have something? Go ahead.
When it comes to dating, man and women,
Mhm.
do we bring the same thing to the table?
Sometimes, yeah.
How?
Well, how not? Why not? You're the one making the claim, so you have to defend the claim.
Okay, no. But once again, I'm asking you, what do we bring that's different?
I don't bring it. I mean, we're different genders, but for instance, I don't like the traditional you pay my bills and I give you sex. Like that's not for me.
From a biology standpoint,
Mhm.
we have different parts, right?
What do you mean if we have different parts? Yes.
So are we the same?
I didn't say we were the same. I said we're equal. You guys, this is very simple. Equal doesn't mean the same.
I have a point though.
Wait.
Sorry, you had something?
Yeah, well,
Go ahead.
personally, I mean, not trying to offend you, but
Sure.
I don't think that we are equal for the fact that women were born with value and men weren't. So, and I have a brother too, so I can back it up that it's harder for men because they have to struggle a lot. They have to put more effort. They have to make sure that they look good and everything. And not saying that we don't want to look good either, but we're already born with a high value. So only that way that we can downgrade is honestly if we, sorry, not trying to be disrespectful, but if you show yourself in an incorrect way or you make yourself look like a hoe.
Okay, so
It's
you've been watching
basically-
some of their episodes. I can see it's like
Well, I
literally
don't see
him
any
word for
problem
word.
anyway.
But I mean, I think we're all born with value. Like we're not like fucking Hitler. Like everyone's born with value.
Whoa.
If you're saying that some men are not, men have to work for their value, I don't know what that means. Like they have to work
Well,
to
it's
be
'cause
attractive.
You're a woman, so it's hard to.
So because
go
I don't
through
have
that
to work to be
experience.
attractive and they have to work to be attractive, now everything's unequal and they can. I just don't subscribe to that.
I mean, it's the reality that for a man to mate, he has to bring significantly more accomplishments to the table to have the same options and the ability to get with the opposite gender that a woman has. By the time a woman's 18 years old, she's able to, if she's attractive enough, she can align herself with some of the top tier men. A man has to become top tier to even be able to get the chance a lot of the time.
So why does that mean though that you should be able to act on that? Like I know you make the argument that it's
Yeah.
it's easier
Yeah.
for women, but
Mhm.
that if something's wrong, it's wrong. It's easier for you to kill me than it is for me to kill you. But
Well, let me
murder's
ask you
still
something.
wrong.
Let me ask you something. You come
Yeah.
from the legal world.
Yeah.
Are you and a paralegal the same?
No.
Oh,
But how
and I love how you didn't like how you had disdain for when I brought that up.
I
The
didn't have
reason why-
disdain. I just had disdain because it's a non sequitur. But
No. I'm going to explain the analogy here. The reason why is because you had to go through a lot more trials and tribulations to earn your title versus the paralegal went through a fraction of the schooling that you did. So you guys are not the same. So therefore, they don't have the same authority that you do as a lawyer because you busted your ass to become one. A paralegal is out there helping you with what you're doing, but you're the leader because you earned that right.
But relationships aren't like I earned the
Relationships are
authority.
though. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because men are expected to protect and provide for women in general in a traditional relationship. So if I'm expected to protect and provide for you, I have some authority. I need to have some authority over you because I'm responsible for you.
First of all, not all relationships have this traditional.
I understand your perspective.
Traditional.
I get that.
Yeah.
Not every single relationship is traditional. However, a majority of women, you might not be it, but I'm just making an argument for the majority.
Mm-hmm.
A majority of women prefer and would enjoy a traditional relationship where the man is the breadwinner, the protector, and the provider. Women typically, when they work, don't want to pay the majority of the bills. Most women want to work what I say electively versus the man must work from a mandatory standpoint. I think if I land up 100 women, they'll prefer the guy to be the breadwinner and she could work on her own terms.
So you think being the breadwinner automatically gives you that authority because you're earning the money and whatever she's providing to the relationship is not as valuable in a traditional way.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that as the breadwinner, that is just one of many components that puts the individual in the authority position, which I would argue the man needs to be in that position for attraction
But
to be
you're
maintained.
assuming that the breadwinner role gives somebody that authority.
It's just one component of it.
What's the other component?
The protector and the provider and the leader.
Okay, and she's providing, I'm saying in a traditional relationship, the home and the kids, that's not equal?
I never said that's not important.
But is that equal? No?
It's not equal within the confinements of a relationship because the man needs to be the leader.
So that's not as important. Raising your children isn't important as
No, it's extremely important.
But is it as important?
But it's different.
Okay, different, yeah, but is it unequal? Because you're arguing it's unequal. So if you're saying unequal, that means one role is more important than the other, and that's what gives you the authority.
Well, the thing is that the roles that I have are very important to the survival of the family from a holistic standpoint. If I'm the protector and the
raising
provider,
the next generation isn't important?
I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is that for us to even be able to have the child in a safe space, as in a family, I need to make sure that I'm on point for us to be able to have that child to thrive. I mean, we forget about all this because we're in a modern day society with, technology and all these modern conveniences. But, you got to remember that human beings are, a progression of a bunch of conditioning. So before, we didn't have all the modern conveniences we did now. So the man had to be the leader and the protector and the provider to ensure that his wife was safe and the children were safe. So he was the head of the household for that purpose.
But we're not in hunter-gatherer times anymore. We've evolved for millions of years, and I don't think we just malfunctioned in 2023 by having less stringent gender roles. We're evolving to our times and our circumstances. So to constantly be like, well, in hunter-gatherer times, millions of years ago, or whatever many years ago, this was the way. If that doesn't apply to now,
well,
you need to withstand rational inquiry. So if you have a belief of yours, it has to withstand rational inquiry for the time. So you can't be like, well, this is how it is because it's evolutionary reason that I'm saying. If it doesn't make sense in 2023, then you're stupid for following that.
Okay, really? So let's go ahead with some rational inquiry.
Okay.
Why is it that women still prefer men that are stronger than them, taller than them, make more money than they do, are superior to them in almost every regard, even though they're able to create their own security with their own jobs, get their own education, protect themselves through the police state? Why do women still screen for all these factors if they don't need it and we live in this modern world that you're
it's
arguing?
changing. So yes, women still, because it's still recent, especially if we look at our whole evolutionary if you look at our evolutionary trajectory, it's still recent that women have been able to get these opportunities. And since then, if you look every single year, more women are okay with making, or their partners making less and less than before. So hypergamy is on the decline. You can look this up.
I would argue it's actually on the incline.
Okay, well, that's just contrary to stats, but I don't know what to do at that
Well,
point.
here's the thing. There's a bunch of articles that show that women find men as less economically attractive than ever before. Why do we have higher divorce rates? Why do we have
We don't
fewer
have higher
marriages?
divorces. We don't have higher divorce rates in the past. And how long? How long?
Okay, look.
How long? Let's pull them up.
Divorce rates
Yes.
are women initiate 70 to 80% of divorces.
Yes, and you constantly
And marriages are at the lowest that they've ever been.
Yes.
Why is that?
So this is something I see you do. You don't understand stats, you just don't get it.
Here we
Okay.
go.
So for instance, you say college educated women, for instance, initiate more of the divorces, right?
Mhm.
Which is true. But then you take that, I've seen you do it, you don't get it. Then you say, oh, college educated women are more likely to get divorced. They're actually way less likely to get divorced. One of the best things you can do to actually prevent divorce is to get married to a college educated woman, especially if you're looking at longevity. A college educated woman is 80% likely to have a marriage that lasts at least 20 years. A woman without a college degree is only 40% likely. But you guys conflate that because you're like, they're more likely to initiate a divorce. So when two people are getting divorced, yeah, a woman that has more resources is going to be more likely to initiate and leave a shitty situation. But those women are actually less likely to marry people or get into circumstances where they're going to divorce in the first place. One of the number one things you should look for if you're looking to make sure your marriage lasts is to marry a college educated woman. These stats have been replicated year after year after year. They're in 2023. I looked up 2023 stats right before this. One group of women has marriages that last the longest and are least likely to get divorced, and that is college-educated women. But you guys constantly conflate those stats.
Yeah, but it's harder for college-educated women to find a man in the first place because their standards go up alongside it. And again, this
That's
is not
not true, though,
hold
because
on.
you're with, like, I'm a lawyer. I could marry a lawyer in 2 seconds. I'm constantly around other lawyers. The college-educated women are around more educated men. The best position you could be in to marry a lawyer is to be a lawyer yourself. They marry lawyers most often.
What percentage of men are lawyers?
Well, what percentage of women?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
but rather
as
to be
women
happier than in a miserable relationship.
No. What I'm trying to say, because here's the thing, we got completely off topic there. All I'm
I'm going
saying,
back to
because
traditional
this all
values.
started with me saying that just because we have modern conveniences does not necessarily mean that women have changed their mating practices. Women still want a man superior to them in almost every way if given choice.
But it's
So-
going down as times change. So you guys are teaching something that's actually becoming less and less valid as time goes on. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know about that, because even though women are more educated now than ever before and they have all the opportunities, all the same rights and privileges, they still want a man that's better than them. I would argue hypergamy goes up as women are educated because women are less likely to settle when they
That's
are
not
higher
what-
earners.
Well, I mean, technically, yeah, but these women don't have to settle because you're around other high earners. Like, that's what I mean. Like, you're around, like, lawyers tend to marry. It's called assertive mating. It's you're around other lawyers. You're going to marry lawyers, marry other lawyers, doctors marry other doctors. If I'm in a law office 24/7, it's so easy for me to marry a lawyer. This idea that you guys have, I don't know, in Miami
I don't know about if it's so easy
podcasting.
to marry one, but
Yeah, I don't know about Miami podcasting world, but lawyers are not marrying 18-year-olds that work at McDonald's. They're marrying other lawyers. Engineers are marrying other
the
engineers.
point is that men are not pigeon-toed to marry within their class, their socioeconomic level,
They are.
etc.
It's the attraction similarity hypothesis. It's one of the most researched theories in the psychology of attraction. You tend to mate across IQ, across socioeconomic status, across education. This is how people generally mate.
Generally,
men
Well,
are totally
we're talking
okay
about
with dating
generally.
down.
They're
Men are
more
totally
okay.
down.
They're more okay with dating down. And again, I don't know what. Maybe in new money world it's different, but lawyers and doctors, they're not marrying girls like that work at CVS. It's just not a thing. And they're not marrying hot girls off Instagram. My mom's a lawyer, my sisters are lawyers, my cousins are lawyers, all my friends are lawyers. If we all met up and one of them was like, "Oh, I'm bringing my girlfriend," it's this 19-year-old I met on Instagram, never would happen. They're dentists, they're other lawyers. They're
They're not going to bring them around y'all because, like,
But are they marrying them? If they're marrying them, if they're marrying them,
they are
then.
marrying you. Then you're divorcing them, and then they're going with a hotter.
But
younger
I'm
chick.
way far less likely to divorce them. That's what I
No,
just
you're
told you.
not.
Yes, look up the stats. College educated women get divorced the least. The likelihood that my marriage is going to last 20 years is 80%. I don't know who here just has a high school education. That's 40%. That's double.
You specifically, or you mean women that are lawyers?
College educated women. Me, I don't even believe in marriage, so not me, but
So, yo, you know what's funny? You should date Destiny.
She shifted.
Argument in
shifted
bad
the
faith.
goalposts.
Argument in bad faith.
It doesn't.
You
Because like I said
desperate to say.
before, I addressed a bunch of your points, and then you're like moving it.
no,
like,
what
no,
point?
it's like,
No, what point did you address? I like to argue. I'm a lawyer. So let's
Yeah,
go
no,
for it.
I know that, but like the whole point about like you're saying rational inquiry, like women, times have changed and women have changed and evolved in it. But I would argue women have not evolved because women still want a man that's over 6 feet tall.
Do you know
They
how
still
long
want
it
a man-
takes for evolution? Like, so the fact that women have been able to work,
I
it's
get
actually
that, but
very
my
recently.
argument is simply that women haven't really changed that much as to what they're attracted to. That's all I was
If
arguing.
that's the
You tried
case-
to make the argument that they did because of modern conveniences. I'm arguing even with modern conveniences, women haven't really changed what they're attracted to.
There's so many articles. I implore your audience to looking up how hypergamy is on the decline. It's still a thing. I'll give you that, but it's on the decline as circumstances change.
If it's on a decline, why are more men reporting lower levels of sex than ever before?
That's so are you looking at the 2018 study? Because
No, there
that
was
has
one
not-
literally that just came out that showed guys between 18
Well,
to 20.
part of the reason that that's also happening is because people are getting married older. So a lot of the reason people had sex younger before is because they were married. That's one of the reasons that people say that. And I'm not saying that some men don't have it tough out here, but
Not some, a majority.
it's not a majority.
Yes, it is.
A majority of men aren't struggling?
A majority of men are not. I mean, maybe majority of your audience, but
No, a majority of
The
men.
majority of men
are
in general are struggling with women. If they
Worldwide.
you weren't able to leave a lucrative law career and go into OnlyFans and make a bunch of
wait,
money.
so OnlyFans is only because men are struggling?
Jacking
Yes.
off.
Upwards of
Who are
90%
your
of men,
clients?
very normal, educated men. Far more educated than No, they're not though. I have so many couples that watch me. Upwards of 90% of men
Bro,
consume and watch
Couples
porn.
might be 2% of your audience.
No.
We're saying most men that work a regular job are
You
struggling.
guys also don't understand that highly educated people don't have the same views on sex work as you guys do. So a lot of them, if they're gonna watch porn, they rather watch it in an ethical way. OnlyFans is a way you can watch it ethically. The money goes directly to the creator. Nobody's under 18. We all have to be verified.
I feel like guys who get pussy don't subscribe to OnlyFans.
That's absolutely not the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
case.
yeah.
That's
No.
just not the case. I mean, you can feel that way,
Yeah,
but that's just
I
not
just-
true.
I don't know. That's like
The reason why pornography is so popular nowadays,
get
especially, is because it's so easily accessible. You can get it for free. Guys are able to satisfy their sexual thirst through variety, through the internet. And a lot of guys are struggling with women. I mean, this is a fact at this point. This isn't even like, I don't think so, blah, blah, blah. A majority of men absolutely struggle with dating and meeting women in the
What do you
first
mean by
place.
struggle? Like, where was that? Like, how is struggle? How is that tested for? Like, what is struggle? Like they're having like that does means they can't get every girl they want, or are they not having sex? Like majority of men are not having sex unless you're looking at a specific cohort age group or that 2008.
How do you know?
What do you mean? How do I know? Because that's not what the stats show.
What's your study?
What do you mean? What's my study? Just like that same 2018 graph that all the incels like you guys are, and you not saying you guys are, but you guys use, that's not been replicated in 2019, 2020, 2021. That actually shows more women are having less sex than men are. And though even that one was at a third, I don't know where you guys are getting majority. Majority is over 50%. And if you guys are saying struggling, you have to define struggling. Struggling is a very vague term. So if you're saying struggling in the sense of, oh, they're struggling because they can't get the baddest bitch on Instagram, sure. But what do you mean by struggling?
Most guys have a very difficult time getting dates, getting any type of intimacy from a female, and being able to be successful in their dating ventures. Most guys really struggle. Women find 80 to 90% of men is unattractive on Tinder, Bumble, and all the dating apps. Guys struggle on that. A lot of guys have issues with being able to go up to a girl and talk to her. I'm sure plenty of you guys have experiences where a guy comes up to you and he's awkward, he's stammering, he can't necessarily say what he wants to say. And what I'm saying is that the reason why pornography is exploding in popularity is because so many guys struggle with women and so many guys are socially awkward and aren't able to convey attraction through the way that they behave or the way that they speak.
I don't think pornography is just like some of us, like, I mean, even when I'm in a relationship and I'm horny, I masturbate, I look at porn. Like sometimes even if you're happy in your sex life, those men still look at.
Here's the key word. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how are you assuming they have to? So if they're watching it, they have to. But if I'm
watching go out
it,
and get laid as quickly and as easily as you can?
No, but that's different.
That's very important though.
Yeah, but just because they can't do it as easily as I can doesn't mean that every time they're watching porn is because they have no other they don't have sex with anyone ever, right? Like a lot of men, upwards of 90 men watch porn. Upwards of 90 men single, 90% of men single. I mean, maybe you guys are going to say upwards of 90% of men are all struggling and they're desperate. Men
don't have the same sexual access and ability to attract the opposite gender that women do. So even if they are getting laid with maybe one girl or maybe a girlfriend that no longer fucks them or takes them seriously, whatever, does not necessarily mean that they're still not struggling with females in general, especially if they have a female or they have a girlfriend. She's not getting them sex anymore. She's not attracted
to them. But you're creating a false dichotomy. You're saying that, okay, if I'm watching porn, then that's 100% obviously I still could get somebody else. But you're saying every time a guy is watching porn, every guy that's on OnlyFans has no options. They can't get sex. They're all struggling.
I didn't say that.
No, but most guys.
Excessive porn consumption, a lot of the times, is a byproduct.
Excessive, like problematic porn use, because that's what the medical term for it is. I think that you have more of a case for, but not just normal consumption of porn.
Consumption of porn. Here's the thing. Guys that are good with women,
porn excessive.
Guys that are good with women typically don't watch pornography.
And where are you getting that from? Is there a stat on that, or is that your feelings?
No, that's not my feelings. That's just, I mean, that's anecdotal at that point.
Okay,
because every guy I know that's
true.
good with women, which is a minority, right? So you can't do a study on that. You can't go line up a bunch of guys like, okay, I need guys that have a lay count of this much, blah, blah, blah. Everybody that I know that's good with women typically does not watch pornography.
Okay, so if we're just doing the battle of the anecdotes, I know plenty of guys that are good with women and they still watch pornography. So now we're just your anecdote versus
you don't know that though.
What do you mean I don't? So you know and I don't? They talk to you, but they don't talk to
well, they're not going to be they're not going to be as honest with you. They're going to try to maybe put themselves in a certain light, or maybe they're having sex with prostitutes.
At that point, your claim isn't falsifiable, and if it's not
having sex with prostitutes, etc., like they're not going to be as honest with a female. And again, like I said before,
then your claim is not falsifiable. If it's not falsifiable, we're not talking about logic and science.
The bottom line is this. Men absolutely struggle in the sexual marketplace with finding and dealing and dating with women. Like that's a fact. That's not even
some men, but you see
a majority.
I don't know about majority. It depends what you mean by. So you're saying they struggle. They're not getting all the women they want. I would say yes. Then that's true. If that's what you mean by struggle, then
their mental health is literally freaking crushed.
Can I explain something to you that I said earlier?
Yeah, guys are absolutely struggling with women. That's like a fact.
Some guys, yeah.
I would argue majority.
Yeah, you would argue majority. I would say it's not a majority. So that's where we disagree.
What percentage do you think struggle then?
I don't like to talk about what I just think. I like to look at what data we have available, and I have.
Yeah, but you also have to be realistic and understand that some studies are not going to pass ethical standards. They're not going to be able to do it, etc. So you have to use a little bit of common sense as well. I listed a lot of studies, and I look at the ones that are replicable, falsifiable, peer review. I know how to read studies, and so I mean, I'm sure there's stats on there, but even the worst ones I've seen show it at about a third. A third is still not a majority. That's still a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And,
I agree.
And that's just the guys that are reporting, and we know that men are more likely.
But we have no way of knowing that
men
those
are more
guys
likely to over-report their sexual activity.
Well, we also have no way of knowing that those men that are struggling are the ones watching OnlyFans or watching more porn.
Can I say
a lot
something?
of problematic porn use also overlaps with like anxiety, depression. There's a bunch of other stuff. There's something called moral incongruence. So they've done tests where they look at men who watch a lot of like think they have a problem with porn and men who don't think they have a problem, and like how much it's interfering with their daily activities,
I'm just saying
etc.
porn consumption is a component of guys struggling with women. I'm not saying that is the reason. I'm saying that's a component as to why guys struggle.
So you're saying it's correlated or it's causing, or what are you saying?
It's a part of the issue.
So which one comes
Why
first?
guys-
The egg or which one comes first?
Guys struggle with women.
And then they watch porn? Or so watching porn doesn't make them struggle? Like some people make that claim. Sorry, I'm just trying to clarify.
It could be either or. Every situation is
It could be
different.
either
It could be
or.
either or. So, but what I'm saying is that the bottom line is that men struggle with women, and a way to deal with struggling with women and being able to get the variety or the sexual access that they want is they revert to pornography.
That's one way, but there's also, if you look at the people that watch porn, that's one reason someone might watch porn, but there are a multitude of other reasons. That's what I'm saying. Some people are just fucking horny.
I literally just said that too. There's that's just one component. It could be going through pornography.
I know, but your initial
prostitutes, etc.
claim was that, oh, the reason that this is happening with pornography is just because of this.
I never said just because.
Okay, so it's just one
I
component.
never said just because.
Okay, is it? I would say it's a component. Then I agree with you. I'm sorry if I just said you said just because if you didn't, but I don't even think it's a huge component.
All we're saying is that your industry literally is a majority of men, and as a result, these men are lazy. They don't want to go. Some men, of course, don't want to go out and tell girls because they could just watch
yes,
you.
is a percentage of them? Yes, but
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a big percentage, and that's where we disagree. And unless we have evidence for either
I
of our
see why
claims,
she
we're
quit.
just-
Went to off.
Well, okay,
God damn.
but regardless, men do watch you, and the majority of your audience is men.
Yeah, the majority of my audience is men. Correct.
yeah.
But that doesn't mean they're all lonely men, or that they're all lazy men, or that they can't get girls, or any of those claims.
They put you on mute.
I think
A lot of guys struggle with women, man. I
A whole
mean, like I said before, there's a reason why we got like 20,000, 15 to 20K people watching us or whatever it may be. Like a lot of guys watch this type of content. There's been an explosion in dating content.
Yeah.
Why is that? The reason why is because there's clearly an issue with guys being able to meet, deal, and date with
Yeah, there is
women.
an issue, and the ones that watch this are probably the ones that have the issue. I agree.
And there's a rise of virgins, especially on the men's side as well.
Yeah, and that's and we're looking at like age, like in the age range, and that's what I said. We're also getting married later.
Under 30.
unless- Yeah, we're getting married
Women
later.
find most men unattractive.
Yeah.
That's but I don't see how that relates to the.
That absolutely
That
relates
makes
because
a
since women
struggle.
find most men as unattractive and not good candidates, they're not going to give them a chance, and those guys struggle.
Agreed.
Yeah, but
That's all I'm trying to say.
But
Like, a lot of guys
most
struggle
men
with
are
women.
not. So like most these men that are unattractive, like there's no data that indicates tall men get married more fat men. Actually, fat men. There's some studies that show they have more sex. Poor people have more kids than rich people. This idea that only the top like.
That's
fit-
because they're not like as likely to use contraception. They don't have access to
But they're
birth
having
control.
sex.
to
No,
the same-
even when you look at partners, though, like when you look at partners, like it's average to tall guys have on average 3 more partners. Weight, BMI doesn't seem to have an effect on it.
It's
And
game.
okay, well then they have game. Okay, whatever you want to say, but this idea that you
Or
have to
money.
be rich, you have to be this, you have to be. There's a reason that rich guys are not having that much more sex than some poor guys. They're just having sex with different women because we tend to have sex with people around us.
But it's also intent as well.
It's what?
If I intend to do something, I have intention behind my actions, that will get what I want.
So yeah, men who want to have sex. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
But can they is a question. Most
And
men
we're
can.
seeing that fat men can't do it just as much as fit men, and we're seeing short men do it almost as much as tall men. So this idea that people are mating, okay, everyone's mating. A lot of people. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people are, and it's not just the tall, it's not just the rich, it's not just the skinny. People are mating. People are having sex.
With who they want
Women
to,
are.
or
Men, a lot of men. Women are having sex with a smaller percent. There's a reason why only 40% of men since the beginning of time have been able to pass on their genes versus like 99% of women have been able to pass on their genes.
That's
Since the beginning of time,
What do
women
you
have
mean when you say
always
the beginning of
screened
time?
since the beginning of time, humans.
Like the Big Bang? Because we weren't even
Here we
like.
go. You're moving the goalposts. I'm simply telling you.
This is just a bizarre claim.
No,
like the beginning
I'm-
of time. Are we telling a story? Is
No.
it science?
Look, I'm simply saying it's a phrase. What I'm basically telling you is men, since the beginning of human evolution, have had issues with mating. It's not just a modern situation. 40% of men have been able to procreate versus 90+% of women have been able to procreate. So what does that tell you? That tells you that a majority of men are just unattractive to a majority of women, and that's okay because women are the ones that carry on the next generation. So they have to be more selective in their mating practices. What I'm saying is that as a byproduct of women being more selective in their mating practices, a majority of men are virtually invisible. That's what I'm saying.
I disagree with it being a majority, but I don't want to keep everyone.
Fantastic. Okay.
But I've had faith for like almost 30 minutes.
Hey, she had things that she had to speak about.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Where are we at here? Okay, ladies, if a woman demands that you can only smash her, she should be ready to get.
I think we were on her for
Yeah.
why you said no. Because she disagreed.
Oh yeah,
with
because
this.
because she's saying that men and women are equal. That's how this all started.
Yeah.
Was men and women are equal, and I disagree with that.
They are.
I mean, I would argue you don't even pick men that are equal to you.
What do you mean? In what way? What do you mean by equal? Because we could be
your
selecting
peers.
for different traits.
You said that you don't fuck your peers or at all.
I don't what?
Fuck your peers. Like
I don't
your
fuck my peers.
Yes, lawyers, whatever.
I mean, I barely fuck anyone, but that's just me.
Why?
But because I'm boring.
You're not boring.
No, it's choice.
Because you're selective, which is what I was saying
it's
before.
choice.
Yeah, but I'm not selecting for the things. I'm not selecting for resources and all the things you guys say. I like high intelligence, high humor. Like those are the things.
Which are indicators that create what?
Which are indicators
What does high intelligence and humor and all
that
what-
we're gonna have a good fucking time.
Okay, and what else?
That is gonna be a fun life for me.
Someone that's intelligent also is more likely to make money, correct?
Yeah, but that I don't care. Actually, like I make a lot of money on OnlyFans. He's not gonna make as much money as me by being super intelligent, unless he's like a tech genius or something.
Yeah, but women typically look for traits that will make someone an indicator of them being able to create security in the future. This is why women look for ambition, a guy that's a
actually,
go-getter.
this is similar to the thing I was saying, the attraction similarity hypothesis. People should look it up. It's really well studied in the psychology of attraction. People tend to mate across. So I like to talk. I like to debate. I like intellectuals. So I like men that can also do that. I don't care how much money you make because I can pay my own bills.
But
You could say that, but
to.
I would say if you were to take the guy seriously and do something, go with him in a direction where it's going to be a more serious relationship, how much he makes absolutely will play a factor in it.
I mean, he can't.
Versus
He
if it
has
was
to
the
pay
other way
his own
around,
bills. He has to pay
wouldn't
his
care how
own.
much money you made. That's my point.
Yeah, men may not care as much about how much money a woman makes, but they do care about intelligence and education, especially educated and intelligent men. I can assure you that. And that's even
Debatable.
been no.
You want
There's
your
a great
children
study. Everyone
raised
should
by a
look it up.
dumb girl?
Look up the
You don't want that.
necessities and luxuries of mating. It's a great study they just did where they look at when choices are restricted. Men do look for physical attractiveness. Women look for financial security. So these are necessities. But they also research found that intelligence is one of those. Now, when people have an abundance of options, then they usually have a threshold. Like, okay, she has to be this attractive. Then they look for kindness, whatever. But intelligence was actually found to be a necessity. People have a threshold. Both genders equally have a threshold for how intelligent they want their mate to be. That's a necessity.
Yeah, IQ hurts women though. Women that have higher IQs, this has been shown. Since you want to talk about studies, the higher woman's IQ, the less likely she is to be married.
College-educated women are most likely to
the
be
more
married.
higher your IQ, the more likely you are to be married. Higher IQ actually hurts women with finding a mate.
I didn't look at IQ, but I know college-educated women are more likely to be married.
But that doesn't.
I know that's not IQ, but I
Yeah.
didn't look at the stats on IQ, but I do know that college.
Because you're talking about being highly intelligent, etc. Well, women that are highly intelligent have a tougher time finding a man.
Because you don't put up with bullshit.
Wait, so you don't want a man?
I didn't say I don't want a man. I said I don't want to be married. I don't believe in making lifelong commitments, lifelong promises. I only make promises for the foreseeable future. Life is not foreseeable.
Emotional damage.
I'm gonna leave it there because everyone needs to talk.
Okay,
right?
I get it.
So for
Wait,
you,
yeah.
the chat was basically saying if your man wanted to step out because he didn't want to have sex, we asked the question, do you agree yes or no? You said no. Why do you say no?
Yeah, I mean, like every partner has like their different needs. So like if my man that I'm with right now has needs that he needs to have sex like all the freaking time, like 3 times a day, 5 times a day, I don't even know. Like if that's his needs, if I have chosen to be with him, I have chosen to be with all of him. So like
So you're cool with it?
I'm not cool with it because me personally, I could love him. Like he could be the best boyfriend in the world, the best partner, like the best person in the world. But for me, it's such a big thing. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. So I would probably still want to be like friends or something. Like it sucks to say that because it never works out usually. But like me personally, it wouldn't work.
You know what's crazy?
What?
What's he doing right now?
I'm a nanny.
No. What is he doing right now?
Oh, he's a promoter.
Yo, say no more, foul. So that means, Fripp, you don't know what he's doing 24/7. So he's probably gonna. I'm just saying, look.
To be honest, like I'm so secure in everything in the relationship in myself. Like if he wants to cheat on me, I would be the one paying money for him to cheat on me because then I know I don't need to spend the time on him, and I don't blame him. Like I would blame him for cheating on me for like breaking the trust, but like if he would break off with me 10 minutes before she like fucking another girl, like that would suck. That would suck. But like then he doesn't break the trust. But it's still like I would wish for the cheating or him doing something with someone else to happen way before, like now, today, or like yesterday, than if it does like in a year or 2 years or 5 years. Like I don't know.
Because you want to catch him and then break up.
Yeah, but like why would I like for me personally it's such a big thing. So like why would I spend the time on this person that can't affect my personal needs? The same thing with the man that wants to have sex 5 times a day, and if I can't give I don't
him
know,
that, then
give it that, or like why would I stay in a
Just move
relationship
on.
with? Yeah, exactly.
All
It's the
right,
same for me.
why
Yeah.
can't your guy step out now for you?
Because he must wait until I feel like having sex again. But I do whatever my man wants to do, so that's not really gonna be an option.
So you have a man?
I told you it's on. Some days I do, some days I don't.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have a man.
I do if I feel like it, depending on what I feel like for the day.
Gotta be Jamaican.
Well, not just that. I mean, that tells me a lot about the man that you could say that.
Yeah. That's an L.
Yeah, that's an L. Yeah,
Yeah.
that nigga's an L, bro.
Yeah, my shorty said that,
Hey,
bro.
you single, you on the street that day.
You by yourself today.
Yeah, man, that's an L. God damn.
I'm sure he bought you that watch too, but it's all right. What about you?
My baby daddy did.
You have kids?
I have one.
Old?
She's 1 year old.
Okay. Crush?
Is that why your arms are folded? Bad man thing.
Yeah, what are you trying to say? She pregnant?
No, because I was telling him that I was hiding my roles.
See, I was gonna say it, but okay, cool. All right.
So, all right, so he would have to wait until you want to have sex again.
If you're not in the mood to have sex, would you let your girl leave the house?
If I'm not in the mood?
Yes.
Well, sex isn't my duty as the man.
Right, but I'm just asking you, would you let her leave the house?
If she wanted to have sex and I didn't want to give it to her.
Yes.
For what?
I mean, she could do what she wants, but my job isn't to give her sex.
What's your job?
My job is to protect and provide for my girl.
So whose job is it to give her sex?
It's her job to give me sex. Like, I mean, it's very simple. If you look at it, like men, right, typically trade resource of protection and provisioning for sexual access. That's just how it's been. And honestly, that's what women typically, I would say, want, because they want to protect a provider and a provisioner. They just want that guy to be attractive. The problem is that most guys don't have everything in one package. So what ends up happening is, like in her situation, right? She has a guy that's a provider, but he's not maybe physically arousing, or maybe he's not attractive. There's no spark. So she made him wait for 8 months, extracts resources from him because he was able to fulfill one thing while she's simultaneously able to get with other guys that might be more attractive, more arousing. So a lot of the times women have different men that fulfill different needs. But if a guy completes everything, that girl wants to be with him. So her job is to provide me sex, because that's why men deal with women in the first place. If you guys didn't have titties and vaginas, men wouldn't talk to y'all. Being honest.
Would we talk to you guys if you didn't have dicks?
If we didn't have what?
Dicks? Like, I mean, what does you mean?
Yeah, because a lot of girls still talk to guys and don't fuck them.
Yeah.
But you guys don't. So you maybe you
Look
guys
at
don't
her, for
talk to
example.
women and do that.
Yeah,
I mean, some people want to
dick.
like work and like be like normal and have friends of both genders.
No,
I
but
mean,
you have a prime example right here. He was literally waiting for.
yeah, I get it. You guys wouldn't mate with us if we didn't have vaginas and
we wouldn't
tits,
talk
but-
to y'all either.
The facts.
I mean, we're 50% of the population. What would you do?
We probably wouldn't interact with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just being very honest here, women don't provide much utility to men outside of sex and relationships.
What do you mean? What about?
I mean, maybe
What
you
about
guys.
like?
That typically comes through a relationship.
So what do men provide you? That like conversation, intellectual
Brotherhood.
Okay, well, it's very simple. Women, who has more requirements of the opposite gender?
But wait, I'm just saying that men and women are friends. They're family. They're not just sex like fiends for each other. They're other.
I mean, family is
From a
different.
dating aspect.
But like I'm
but
saying,
family,
You have
this is
friends,
what I mean.
no?
Like family, you have, and then your cousins, and then their friends.
That's
Like you
different.
guys would just
That's
not.
different.
No,
Your cousins?
no, we're not talking about dating. That's what I said. You
No,
guys
no.
said you wouldn't.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
you-
dating
Yes,
right
I
now.
saying that
understand.
you
You
wouldn't
wouldn't
talk to
date
another
women if they
woman.
didn't have
Yeah.
vaginas. That makes sense. Yeah, you wouldn't date women.
I mean,
But
we
you
wouldn't, we wouldn't court them either. We wouldn't spend our time with them in general if we didn't get sex from them. Like here's the thing. Men, a lot of the times, tolerate women and deal with women for sexual access. A guy
Maybe
will
you
go out
guys.
and hang out with a girl that he doesn't like for sexual access. Women typically don't do that.
Yeah, that's true, but that doesn't mean that men don't have female friends and females they respect. Female.
A lot of the
coworkers.
times when guys have female
They wanna
friends,
smash.
it's for sexual access to some
Facts.
degree.
I think people in your demographic, yes.
No.
Yo, you and Destiny have to meet. I swear to God.
No, man, like, bro,
Holy.
like, you really think that men want to be platonic friends with women in general?
Yes.
Yeah, so, yes.
100%.
Hold on.
It
You
happens.
have
That's
guy
wild.
friends?
Yeah. I do.
That wouldn't try to have sex with
But
you?
just because they no, they don't try to have sex with me. But like, I'm not saying your guys' standard
Let's
for
do a
you
test,
can't
then.
be a friend.
Let's do a test. Call one right now and say I'm horny. Where you at?
Yeah, let's see what
They
happens.
would think I had an aneurysm.
Let's see if they think that.
Let's see.
What do you
Hey, you know what? I'm just curious why we didn't work out. I'm horny. Where you at?
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's see if they would try to have sex with you or not.
Yeah, let's see.
Since you think they're platonic friends.
Only.
Sure, they're gonna think I lost my mind, and I made them all download Rumble for the first time to watch this, and so I think
Oh, so they're watching live. She gonna call somebody.
I don't know
She's
how
smart,
can
bro.
I-
She's smart.
I mean, I'm being honest with you. Like
Bro.
this, you don't understand how many lawyers I put onto this that were like, "What the fuck is this? This is like a different planet to them." So
They're
this is
simps.
interesting. No,
Look.
they just don't watch this kind of stuff.
It's very simple. Women don't bring as much utility as men do.
What is utility?
Utility, like being useful. Like men have to be stronger, provide more, be competent, etc. I mean, even yourself, you said, I don't have sex with most guys, blah, blah, blah. I need a guy that's intelligent, etc. A man has to meet a bunch of
So
different
you
requirements.
want a woman that's just attractive. So I'm saying I want a man that's intelligent.
No, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But what's harder to achieve?
Intelligence is is genetic just as much as being attractive is.
What? I don't know about
Intelligence is
that.
highly genetic, or intelligence IQ is highly genetic. So you guys might, if you want your children to be smart, maybe you should have sex and have children with a smart woman. Plus, they have way.
Here's the thing: you like to go on, move the goalpost. I'm
not
simply
moving.
saying this, okay? Because we were talking about sex as a woman's job. What I'm saying simply is that men in general would not deal with women if it were not for sexual access. However, women would deal with men if they didn't have sexual access, because men have to bring far more utility to deal with the opposite gender. A guy's got to be charismatic, funny, have money, be attractive, etc. Cares, all these things. A woman can still get value from a man without fucking him. But in general, most guys are not going to get value from a woman if he's not fucking her. Now, are there some women out there that will be able to pull some strings and help him out in his situation? Of course. But a majority of women, no.
I would say in the mating context, yes. If we didn't have vaginas, yeah, you wouldn't probably put your dick in it. Yeah, that's true.
what I'm trying to say.
And this at this point as well, if my girl was horny and she want to smash, I'm gonna do it. Just because like I feel like that's me and her between what we do most of the time anyway. And if she wants to go out and do it, nah, it's hell.
That's true.
Yeah. But what I'm
I
saying
believe
is
that
that
too.
just like a woman working is elective, a man fucking his girl is elective. It's mandatory that I go out and provide, and it's mandatory that she goes ahead and provides sex. That's how I look at it.
Well, shall we put Instagram?
Who's?
What?
Oh, y'all gonna love
Her.
this.
Me, my Instagram up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
no,
yeah.
let's just no.
Why not?
All right.
Yeah. Good for me.
So that's all I'm saying is that, like, because you said, oh no, well, I'm gonna give him sex if I feel like it. That's like the equivalent to him saying, well, I'm gonna protect you only when I feel like it. Wouldn't that be kind of
I mean,
wild?
that happens
Bro,
sometimes.
this is like the worst Instagram I've seen all.
I know. I didn't have social media 2 years ago at all, so I'm like learning all of it. 2 years ago, I had no Instagram. I would have been so
I
high
understand.
value.
Cool. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
That's it.
Okay. What about you?
No, for sure.
No.
Because why would he? Like, are we in a relationship or what is happening?
You guys are in a relationship, but he wants to,
Are.
but you don't want to give him sex, so he's gonna go out.
He can go out, but he can come. He cannot
can't come back?
No.
Okay. Now, is that in your situation? Like, if in your situation with your boyfriend, if he wanted sex and you didn't give it to him, and he stepped out to go get another girl, you'd have a problem with that?
Well, here's the thing. Why we ignore feelings here?
Because
We love each other. So why would he go out and fuck some other girl?
Because he feels like having sex and you don't feel like giving it.
Well, I would
mean, can
give
you
it
wait
to
another
him
day?
So
if
hold
he
on. What
wanted
about his
to.
feelings? He wants to have sex, but you don't want to. So now you're hurting his feelings.
Well, I didn't say me personally. I wouldn't give him sex.
Okay, so you
Are
would,
we
you would do
talking
it no
about
matter what.
myself or
So you would do it no matter what.
no matter
your man.
what? Well,
If
it
you're angry and in a fight
depends.
and you don't wanna
Yeah,
have
I mean,
sex.
can he wait like a day or something?
Yeah,
Like,
we're
what if like I don't want to right now and I want it like an hour later?
This nigga worked 10 hours. Is stressed out. Says, you know what? They want some poom poom tonight. You can't have some?
I mean,
No.
yeah,
Are you
that's
from-
fine. Like some people are okay with that, but like just to like put an ultimatum, like if you don't give it to me right now, I'm gonna go out
no,
and have sex with another woman. I'm
I
like,
have something to say. So if he makes an atmosphere where we are like going to do it and it's fine, but like he cannot say to me, well, "You have to give me."
yeah,
sex."
exactly.
Well, to
Yeah.
be
You
fair,
see?
I don't think he would say that to your face, but it might just happen as a
It's
byproduct.
the
like
attitude.
cheating?
So,
It's
for
just,
example,
I don't have to do anything
let's
but
say
die.
you're dating a guy, right? And he's
Yeah.
actually into you,
Yeah.
but he is super sexual, super horny, whatever. And you say to him, you know what, babe? I don't know. I'm not feeling it today, right? He might say, you know what? All right, I'm gonna go with the boys, and then go do it anyway. But you would never know.
Right.
He's just putting it in your face. So you can see it live in color. What men might do.
But like it's not
That's
that hard to
fine,
like
he
just
can.
wank. Like if it's one day, like I think it's a problem. Like as I told before, like if the partner needs to have sex all the time, that's like a problem in their relationship.
Yeah.
But like if it's like a day or whatever, like it's not that hard to just wank.
Yeah, see,
Like
me and you would never work out because I need it multiple times a day.
yeah, but
Sorry.
yeah, I'm just I haven't said what I am. I haven't said what I do. I just selling like by different partners. But I'm just saying like it's crazy. It's not that hard.
It is hard. That's what she
So
said.
here's the thing. So you connect sex with just like
Physical?
yes, correct.
no
right.
emotion?
For a man, right?
Yeah,
and for
pretty
a
much.
woman, you connect it with feelings. And when she doesn't want to have sex with you because you hurt her feelings, you don't connect those two.
So notice, right? You want to consider your feelings, not his feelings. And as a result, I understand that he's a man. You shouldn't really focus on feelings so much. But at the same time, if you really care and respect your man, you want to please him. So ultimately, you may be mad at him, but you know what?
Correct. I agree.
This is my man.
I agree.
I don't want him wondering about another girl or trying to wander off.
I agree.
I'll make sure he's happy.
Okay.
It's both sided. You love each other, right? You don't want to hurt any side, and you care for each other. So the relationship should be like I'm giving to you, not how much I'm taking from you.
Bro,
right?
it's like 2 minutes for sex, man.
Speak for yourself, Chris.
Who said that?
How long does it take you?
You don't want to know.
I want to know.
No, trust me, you don't want to know.
Sounds like a long time. That's bad.
I got problems.
Let's fly through these. What about you?
So I'm gonna say go.
Oh yeah.
Go
Well, we know
ahead.
her situation. All right. What about you?
Get somebody else to do it.
Smart.
What about you? You.
I was one of the people that raised my hand.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, you. Oh, she wouldn't. Okay. And what about you? You said no, right?
Self-control.
Exactly.
But if I'm with a man, I love him wholeheartedly. We fucking all the time. So there's no reason for him to, unless I literally like, oh, I'm in the fucking hospital sick. Like that's the only time when I don't want to have sex.
That's
so.
fair. Controversial take. Some girls on the panel might not like me saying this, but I think if you're a sex worker as a female, you can't tell your guy to be monogamous to you. You've lost that privilege and ability to do so.
That's
Be-
why
No,
we
and-
wouldn't
and
we
I'll-
wouldn't date you, so it doesn't matter what you say.
You'd be surprised.
Here's the thing. A lot of men think the way that I do. And what I'm saying is that if a woman's going to forfeit her modesty, right, and put it out there for the internet to see, right, I would be stupid as a man to take her serious and give her monogamy. So if I'm going to be with a woman that shows her goods out to everybody else, because that is effectively cheating from a female frame. then
Cheating
I-
is just violating boundaries. So unless there's no boundaries, there can't be any cheating.
But what if he's fucking me on camera? So we're both making money at the same time.
That's different,
He
though.
can have my money. He can have, if he's fucking me on camera,
No.
he can have all the money.
Under the
That's
authority
cool.
of your man is different.
That is different. But what I'm simply saying is that a woman that's involved in certain trades, and I would say sex work, whether she's a stripper, OnlyFans, porn star, any type of industry where she's
Okay.
monetizing her sexuality to a degree, I don't think she really has the authority to tell her man that you need to be monogamous to me, because she's pretty much forfeited that. Because when a woman exposes her sexuality to other strange men for monetary compensation, that is the equivalent to me fucking another girl, because women search for attention and validation from the opposite gender, men search for sex. So the functional equivalent is a woman sexualizing herself.
And I would
Okay,
advise
so what do you
all the
think
women that
about
do that
that?
to not.
What were you
I
gonna
would
say?
advise all the women that do that don't, because there are some men agree with you, but there's a lot of men that don't, and they should date those men and not you.
Well, men that have options that are attractive that women actually want think the way that I do.
No, where are you getting that? Just for your anecdotes, because like I just said, education, academia leans left, and they don't share your views on sex work. I can assure you that. That's why I'm able to do this. They don't think this constitutes
But
moral.
education does not
moral
necessarily
turpitude.
mean someone's intelligent.
But I mean,
Yeah, but what I mean is a
to-
lot of these. So you're saying intelligent men now think the way you do? Because I don't think that's true.
No, I'm not. Well, guys that understand their value and aren't morons and understand how the sexual marketplace really works would understand where I'm coming from with this, because it's a bad trade for you to be monogamous to a woman that is constantly showing her sexuality and putting herself out there for other strangers. That's not a good deal for you as a man.
I disagree.
Yeah, but you've said other.
Hold on.
Or, my bad, because you've said other like times that you would go to the club and you would let your woman stay home. You know, she's loyal. She's not like an OnlyFans. She doesn't do content.
Yeah.
So you've like contradicted yourself a bunch of times, because you
How
are
so?
not monogamous in like any situation apparently.
Yeah.
Because like even if the girl is like creating content, or if she's not, like you're not monogamous. So-
Hold on. Does my ability to attract a woman, is it contingent upon my body count?
It's not contingent on a
Hold
woman.
on, let her
doing it.
answer.
I mean, on your body count, I mean, I wouldn't date somebody that's like.
Okay, I
been
don't
with,
care
like, a
what you
body-
would date. What I'm asking you is, in general, would my ability to find and attract a woman be contingent upon my sexual partner count?
I mean, no, but.
Okay, hold on. Now stop. Is your value contingent upon the body count?
I mean, according to you guys, but I don't think that.
There you go. That is why me not being monogamous is not as big of a deal as a woman being monogamous. Men are not evaluated on their past to the same degree that women are. Women look for a man with a future. We look for a woman with a clean past. We are not the same.
So how come lifetime partners doesn't seem to
There we
have
go.
any effect on marriage? Because I looked at the stats. Lifetime, like your body count doesn't seem to have an effect on how likely you are to get married. Your likelihood's the same. So clearly it's not affecting how desirable women are for marriage because unless maybe they're not disclosing it or
Men
something.
don't like sluts. Period.
Okay, but
Yeah,
it doesn't affect
like,
men
there's no way-
with
the bottom line is men don't like sluts and men don't like women that behave like sluts. And a lot of the times why guys don't do this is because it's an embarrassment to them and their last name.
Okay,
So what
well-
I'm saying is that if a woman forfeits her modesty to go ahead and make money, right, through her sexuality, fantastic. But you are no longer in a leveraged position to demand monogamy from a man. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of guys will feel that way, whether they tell you to your face or not. Maybe they'll step out and go fuck another bitch and tell you about it, say, I'm going to go smash some other girls because you're being on OnlyFans, or they're going to do it and not tell you. The point is that men are going to feel some type of way about their woman being involved in sex work, period.
Okay, well that's so I'm going back to the original claim. The stats do not show that women who are sluts
Yeah,
or
you
have
can
high
kill
body
that
counts are
switch
less
on
likely
Twitter.
to get married. That means men are just as likely to marry you if you're a slut than if not. Maybe not
But
each
do you-
individual man.
But do you know why? If you told every single man your body count up front, they'll question, you know what? This is worth it. And as well, let's say you don't tell them the exact body count, you tell them like something that's reasonably like, I would say high.
Do people
It'll turn
really
them
ask
off.
that? Is that
No,
a real
they
question?
don't. But if you told them up front, they'll question whether they want to be with you or not. 100%.
Okay, well, all I'm saying is the stats do not show that lifetime partners has any effect on your likelihood of getting married. That's the stats.
Well, why have marriage rates been plummeting then?
My marriage,
Why are less men
because
marrying?
of body count, apparently.
That could be a part of it.
I don't think
No,
so.
but I'm telling because you're looking at it like, okay, so your ability, you having your
It
body
doesn't
count
affect
doesn't affect
desirability.
your ability to get married. But what I'm arguing is that why are marriage rates plummeting?
Because
Because
you're saying
now
because
it's
of body
different.
count.
Well, there's a
Where's you getting that? That's making it.
No,
guess.
hold on. There's a multitude. This is a multifaceted situation why
Yes.
marriage rates are plummeting.
Yes.
But I would argue that feminism, women being sexually empowered, women being more promiscuous than ever been before, women acting more like men than they ever have before, all these things contribute to the degradation of the institution of marriage.
Yeah, maybe we don't know, but we also
Why
we
else
do
would
know-
it be then?
Because women have more opportunity, they have more ability to work, so they don't
Thanks
need
to
men.
what?
They don't
Thanks to
need
what?
yeah,
Thanks to what?
they don't
Feminism,
need men,
right?
and that's good. That
That's my
means
argument.
less relationships with
agree.
shitty people.
Not necessary.
You agree? You said literally that's what I said. I said
What?
feminism.
That women are more likely
Yes.
to
Yeah.
leave shitty
You got it.
situations and
Yeah,
abusive
you got it.
situations. So that's great. Yeah,
But
great,
yeah,
wonderful.
but marriage rates have plummeted as a result of that.
But not because
Is
of
that
body
bad?
count.
Not necessarily.
No, I didn't say that's. I don't know if that's a component.
If
I don't
you're
know.
in a
There's no
restaurant
rid-
and you slept
because
with everybody
you
in the
guys say so?
restaurant and you're with your husband, do you think he's gonna appreciate that?
I don't
If you
know.
slept with half the
Wait,
restaurant?
what's your question? This is.
I'm saying like if you sleep with a lot of people and you're with somebody, he's not gonna want to be with somebody that's
So that's why
everybody.
but he says women initiate the divorces anyway. So he's not
Yeah, I would
initiating the
completely
divorce.
agree with
So they're not doing it
You
because
don't
of
get what
body
I'm trying to
count.
say though. I'm saying
No.
like
Wouldn't men
if you met
initiate it
her-
then?
See,
You
here's
know
the
what I'm
thing.
saying.
Like I said before, it's a very complex situation. It's multifaceted.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. So we can say, I'm saying body count is a contributor to it, but there's a multitude of other reasons.
How is it
why-
a contributor? Can you explain that? How is it a contributor?
Okay. Thanks to feminism, women have become empowered to make their own decisions when it comes to a variety of things in their life, whether it's partners, career choices, etc. All of this, and then you add in the internet, you add in dating apps, you add Instagram, etc. All this is effectively done is increase the opportunities and options for women in the sexual marketplace. Would you agree?
But for
Yeah, but
guys,
women
too,
are
is the
less,
same
way
for
less
guys.
likely to get.
Would you agree to that?
Yes, but I don't think that means that that's what's causing the divorces. Women are less likely to be repartnered than men after divorce. That's a stat that's been replicated.
But here's the thing, but they have more to gain after divorce.
No, they do far worse. This is something you guys say on your show, and I don't understand how. Like, do people just not check? Women fare off far worse financially, lower standard of living, more likely to be in poverty, more likely to seek government assistance, less likely to repartner. However, men fare off far worse psychologically, more likely to get cancer, more likely to get depression, more likely to have drug and alcohol issues. This has been this is established.
If it's
in
so
the stats.
negative, then why are women like just running to get divorced?
I think women want to get divorced when they have like and economic, like when they have resources, they're more likely to get divorced. So I agree with you. Now that women have more resources, they're less likely to stay with shitty men or in abusive situations. But I don't think they're like, oh, my body count's high, let me leave. That doesn't make sense.
I said that's a component. That's not the only
But how
thing.
is that a component? That's what I would like to know.
Like what
as a
percentage
byproduct
of the
feminism,
components?
As a byproduct of feminism, women have become more sexually empowered. Therefore, they've had higher, more sexual experiences.
So you're saying the more sexual experiences leads to a likelihood of more divorce? Because I agree that's a byproduct of feminism. I just don't think it's that byproduct that's causing the divorces.
It's like I said before, it's a bunch of things, but having higher body counts is definitely a part of it.
And I don't think it's.
But it's
this
one.
is how I think it could be a
It's
part
one
of it.
spoke in a spoke wheel of destruction.
This is how I think you may be right. So there's one thing that's really determinant of a long-term relationship. It's something called positive self-delusion. So positive self-delusion is how much you believe that the person you're with is the only person, even though it's not true, that can bring about the feelings of love, warmth, attachment you feel. The more you believe that that person is the only person that can bring it, it's called positive self-delusion. You should look it up. It's a concept in psychology. You're more likely to stay with that person. So yeah, if you've never been with anybody else ever.
Who is that more prevalent in, women or men?
What do you mean? Both.
But
Look it up.
But who do you think it's more important for it to attach to, the man or the woman?
What do you mean attached to what? What do you mean?
That concept.
That you just mentioned.
Who should have it to make things work in a relationship, men or women?
Well, from the stats, it looks like for both people, the more positive self-delusion you have, the more likely you are to be with your partner for both.
If you had to choose one gender,
why do I have to choose one gender if that's not true?
We're just saying for the argument's sake.
That doesn't make sense. Like, why should I just pick? Like, it's not a thing.
Bro, you and Destiny
see what
are
happened here?
two peas in a pod. Destiny, where you at, bro?
Yeah, what's it called? Positive self-delusion?
Positive self-delusion.
Yeah. So here's the thing. That basically is that's a kind of roundabout way of saying pair bonding.
But pair bonding isn't affected by, unless you're looking at, I've looked this up thoroughly, the one study on prairie voles, the rodent, and it's not even replicated on their cousin. And they do lifelong bonds. Human beings don't do lifelong bonds. They even can bond for life if just by cohabitating for 24 hours. And human beings obviously don't do that. A lot of times when their partner dies, they never get, some of them just fucking commit suicide. Like that's not how human beings, and this is the one study that shows it. There's also, people say that, oh, your oxytocin depletes. That doesn't. Drugs and alcohol can contribute to that. So a lot of times people who are hooking up a lot, they also consume more drugs and alcohol. But this idea that oxytocin depletes the more you, like, one of the biggest releases of oxytocin for women is childbirth. So unless you're saying that a woman loves each subsequent child less, it wouldn't make sense to say that your oxytocin depletes because you've been with multiple people.
Women need to attach to a man. It's more important for the woman to attach to the man than the other way around for the relationship to work.
It's called pair bonding, not one person.
And with what you mentioned, and the reason for that is because women lose interest in men far quicker than men lose interest in women. So it's
and you're saying that because why? Like why?
Do you disagree that women?
I don't know. Like where are you getting that? I'd like to know where you're getting that.
Okay, well, studies show that women lose attraction to men, and they lose attraction way faster than men lose attraction to women. So in other words, if a woman is far more likely to be less happy in a relationship and have that attraction drop off significantly versus a man, it's slower.
So there's a study on this? What's the study? I'd like to look it up.
Women lose interest quicker than men do.
And where is this like I'd love to look at the study because I've never seen it.
It's in our link tree.
Google it.
And we can pull it up.
Okay.
But I mean that's just common sense too.
Though.
Like who initiates the breakups? Like women absolutely get bored more than men do. Women need more emotional stimulation than men do to be in a relationship and be attracted to the opposite gender. Men are way easier to please than women. I mean, this is just common sense.
What world are you living in?
I think
now you're just arguing, bro.
You just said the divorce
you can't even agree that women lose attraction faster than men do, and women require far more mental stimulation by your own admission. I need a man that's intelligent and be able to have a whole conversation.
Yeah, but the men I like also need a woman to be intelligent.
But men don't have the same requirements that women have of men.
Some men.
Incredible.
We have found Destiny's co-host.
Bro, this is incredible.
I'm telling you, bro.
I have a question. What kind of
you can't even agree on basic
Estate
facts.
planning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't go to her.
Somebody was saying something?
Don't go to me. I don't need you guys' clients.
I wasn't coming to you. I was asking what kind of
Yeah, I don't want to handle your estate.
I mean, if you can't even agree on that basic concept that women lose attraction faster than men do, then I don't know.
So you're saying if two people are like madly in love and they're hanging out all the time and they're having a great time, you're saying the woman in that situation is more likely one day to wake up and be like, than the guy?
Women lose attraction faster than men do.
I honestly haven't looked at the studies on this, and I'm willing to
Consider that?
I mean, it's simple if you look at it from a logically sound standpoint. Like, who requires more to be attracted to the opposite gender? Women require more of a man to be attracted to him.
Men also. You guys only care about this young, fertile woman, but a lot of men, like lawyers, I can tell you, they want to actually have conversations with women. They don't want women that are.
Everyone isn't a lawyer
because they want to fuck you.
I understand. Everyone isn't you. Everyone isn't a Miami podcast.
They want to fuck you, so they tell you what you fucking want.
Huh?
Globally, not just Miami, by the way.
Yeah.
And also, are you from Miami?
No.
But you're here, right?
Yeah.
So our pool of samples are not from Miami. You keep saying
Okay,
Miami.
this right here just proved that you're arguing. You're just arguing in bad faith. You can't even concede that women have far more requirements of men than men have of women.
Yeah, tell me why you're getting. So this is what I think about men and women. People tend to like women make. Yes, I do. People tend to date people that they get along with, that they both think is funny, intelligent, whatever. And this is what the attraction similarity hypothesis is about. People like people.
This is where studies don't adhere to reality a lot of times. A man that is accomplished, that's a somebody, will gladly go out on a date with an 18-year-old that's hot.
No, you guys, I'm telling you, in old men. Okay, listen, I do estate planning, right?
Incredible.
I have clients that are multi-millionaires. I was handling this before I quit. They probably wouldn't have me now.
Are you with them all the time?
No, but I see their wives.
Have you seen their mistresses?
No, they don't bring them in social circles. They take them behind the scenes.
Yeah. But I thought you guys were saying a guy will gladly. I've heard you guys say a guy will gladly marry a millionaire will gladly marry a girl that works at CVS. I don't know if you guys don't agree. If you guys don't say that now.
It's an example of how much disparity
But will they
is.
marry them? Because I've done their estate plans. They're not marrying those girls. They're not marrying 18-year-olds.
They want younger, hotter. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but to a degree. So for instance, I know people who had 40, 50 million.
Just arguing to argue,
I'm
bro.
not okay, but okay, we can move on.
I mean, if you can't even concede that women require far more of men than men require of women.
Can you explain? Since
be hot and be available, and you can go ahead and probably get a date with a guy. On the other hand, the man to get a girl with to get a date with a hot girl, he's got to bring way more to the table. Women expect way more of men than men expect of women. Now, you're taking it to the next level. Marriage. We're not talking about marriage. I'm simply talking about attraction. That was a key word I used earlier.
Okay,
attraction.
I'll give you like it's just physical, looking at a girl and thinking she's hot. Yeah,
My first argument was simply this: women lose attraction far quicker than men do.
But now we're talking about who's just attracted to each other by looking at each other. You're right.
Yes.
Men are more attracted to women by looking at them than women are of men. I'll give you that.
And not only that, women need mental stimulation. Women need emotional stimulation.
A lot of men need mental stimulation too. You guys don't. I agree. You don't need mental stimulation at all. And the women you're around seem very boring because you don't even like being around them. You said they talk about their star signs. You're better than me, Myron. You're better than me because I couldn't last 10 minutes with someone talking about being a Sagittarius.
Destiny,
earlier in the show, you said you was boring, right?
Huh? I said I was boring?
Yes, you did.
In the sense that I don't like to go clubbing. I don't drink.
Your OnlyFans is booming, right?
Yeah.
So men don't care.
What do you mean? But I'm boring in the fact that I'm nerdy and a lot
check off your content.
Wait, what are you saying? Can you please make? Can you put this in? Can you have your premises and your conclusion, please?
What he's simply saying is that by your logic that women have to be interesting, that would not make sense because you have a bunch of people watching your OnlyFans and they don't give a shit about your personality.
But some men like to date women that are also interesting, and I would say a lot of men do that.
Because some men will say that,
but it's not a requirement.
Exactly.
What do you mean? For some men, it is. A lot of men, it is. A lot of men. That's why the study I showed you, look up necessities and luxury of human mating. Intelligence is a necessity, not a luxury for men and women.
Bro. Not a necessity for men.
Okay, well,
how far in the relationship are you going? Are you talking about marriage or are you talking about a simple relationship?
Well, I'm saying like if you're hanging out with each other, if you're going to dinner with each other, first of all, like a lot of the guys I date they would want to sit around a girl that's just 18 sitting there like, hey, that's like you guys seem okay with that, but a lot of men aren't, especially men that are more educated and intelligent. They don't want to hang out with 20-year-olds that are illiterate.
They also don't want to sit across the table and argue with a chick all day either.
I understand. No, but they like to debate. They don't think like you, so we don't usually argue as much on stuff.
They lie to you to fuck you.
Yeah, they lie to get
I've slept with under 10 people, so I don't know. They're just a waste of their time.
They're not going to argue with you because that would impact their ability to get laid.
I mean, they still do argue with me, just on more difficult topics.
They like to argue with you?
Yeah, we like talking about free will and like objective morality, not like this, huh? Yeah, we like to argue. We're lawyers.
No, you like to argue.
We like to debate.
They want to fuck.
Yes.
They want to fuck too, but they also like to debate and have intellectual conversations.
The mission is they want to fuck.
Do you fuck them after you debate them?
Mostly no. I've only fucked 7 guys.
There you go.
More than what?
That's why niggas aren't arguing with you, bro. Like,
Right.
come on, man. Like, yo, come on, man.
Yo,
God damn.
Yo, her IG is fucking the worst I've seen on Friends of Family.
Help me fix it, guys.
Really?
No, yeah, bro.
I don't know how to take
That's free
pictures.
promo for her, bro.
I was busy in law school. I didn't know how to take
No,
IG pictures.
all right. To the school.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna go into my question.
All right, cool.
Because we got a video, and then guys, from this point forward, I think we're closing on 20K watching live. We're gonna read only $100 and up super chats from this point forward, but I'll read the ones that came in before. I got a line of questioning here, so I'll just get right into it. All right. Have you ever flaked on a date? We'll start right here and then work our way.
Don't cap.
I wouldn't call it a date, so no.
Wait, why was it a date?
Okay, let me.
Like, as in left the date or just no?
Like you
What do
made
you
plans
mean
with the
by
guy.
that?
Okay, we'll keep it simple. Let's say you made plans with the guy. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm down.
Talk during the week.
Talk during the week or whatever, and then
What if I paid for everything and then I canceled? Does that still count?
you still flaked.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I
like
flaked.
and then whether you didn't respond to his text or you didn't show up or you just ghosted him.
I told
that's
him.
a flake.
I told him. I
Okay,
I
so
said
you
I'm
have flaked.
sorry.
Yeah, so you flaked.
Okay, you flaked. All right, what about you? Have you ever flaked on a date?
Paid and flake. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
I see. I'm sorry for us.
What about you? Have you ever flaked on a date?
Absolutely.
Oh, she has. Yeah, sure.
What about you? I kind of know all the answers already, but I just want to get a body of work here. Have you ever flaked on a date?
Yes.
All right. What about you?
Plenty of times.
Of course.
What about you?
Yep.
Yep.
Wow, it's
All
messed
right.
up.
Yep.
Sweden.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
I fell asleep.
Yeah.
You fell asleep?
Sorry, I fell asleep. I just woke
Ay,
up.
Dios mío, por favor.
What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Everybody.
No. I don't think I've ever flaked. No, I've never flaked on a
Come
date.
on, man.
Wow.
Oh, 10 years. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, no. Like, I've never had, like...
It could be even simple, like, "Hey, let's go for coffee on Monday," and then you don't show up, or you don't respond to his text. It could be simple as that.
Oh, I mean...
Yeah, that's a
I mean, in high school, like...
Okay. So yes.
So you have. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Now, how many times has this guy? Have you ever been flaked on by a guy? Ever?
Yeah.
You have? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you flaked on men more, or have you been flaked on more, or have you flaked more?
No, I don't know. I don't really flake. Like, I don't really...
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
like...
10 years, sir.
What about you? Has a guy ever flaked on you? No. All right. What about you?
Yes, it has happened.
Okay. Single digits, double digits.
No,
1, 2,
single digits.
Rarely.
Yeah.
You flaked way more than they flaked on you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He probably fell asleep.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
flaking like they don't show up or they cancel.
Yeah, they
Either
cancel.
or.
the
Either or.
film.
Either
Yeah,
or.
someone's canceled.
I'm gonna get more descriptive in a second. So have you been flaked on before?
Someone's canceled.
They canceled.
He
Okay.
must have heard
Yeah.
your debates.
Would you? Is it as close as many times as you flaked on them?
No.
Okay. Or on other men? Okay. So not close.
No.
What about you?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it as many times as you flaked on them or men in general?
It's like different also because like it's not very often that I flaked.
Well, what I'm asking is, have you flaked more or have you been flaked on more?
More. I've done
You
more.
flaked more,
but,
yeah.
but not too much more because
Okay.
I don't flake if I've like planned.
Okay.
If I like agreed on a date.
But you still. Okay.
Yeah,
What
but-
about you?
Never.
You never been flaked on. Okay.
Okay.
What about you?
Really?
Yes.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yes.
change that.
You've been flaked on before?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the like? Have you been flaked on more? Or have you flaked more?
It happened to me once.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
wow.
how many times have you flaked on a guy? Plenty
A
of
lot.
times.
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
What about you?
That's messed up, man.
Damn.
Damn.
Context. If you're online dating, I think it's you go through a series of flake because you're talking to multiple people and you.
I'm
you don't
saying
get
like
to
when
the
soft
date.
plans are made and you don't show up, or you just stop talking to them once things are set up.
I feel like that's a man thing. I think they're more likely to cancel because they're talking to multiple people.
Really?
And yeah.
So you've been flaked
absolutely.
on more than you flaked?
I'm gonna be honest, yeah.
I mean, I
But
believe
not
her.
like a lot. But like if I'm online dating
I believe her.
and something came up, my car,
Yeah, no, but that's
the
what I'm
baby
saying.
mama
Like,
called me, like it's always
Okay.
something.
So you're saying okay, that's rare. All right. What about you? Have you flaked on?
Son's sick.
Have you flaked on men more, or have they flaked on you more?
I flaked on men more.
Okay. What about you?
I've definitely gotten flaked on way more than I flaked.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think guys like make plans and then like you're thinking
think-
about it and then they forget.
I think people. I think when people get me, they're just like,
they hold me to this value where like they want a prize. They're like, oh my gosh, I got her attention, blah 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 blah, and then like they don't take me serious after that.
How could they? That's messed up. They
Something's
should do
off
that
there.
to you.
Something's
know.
off.
I believe in you. Save our children.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it to the next step now.
Save our children.
So pretty much the majority of the women, well, every girl here has flaked on a guy, and a majority of the women have been flaked on less than they flaked on men. My next question now is being a little bit more concrete here. Have you ever stood someone up on a date, which means they showed up and you didn't? We'll start right here and then work our way. Or actually, no, we'll start right here with you. So go ahead.
I don't think so.
That means yes. I don't think so.
You can't remember?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they showed up and I didn't.
Yeah, like you stood them up on a date. Maybe it was purposeful, maybe it wasn't. Maybe you literally forgot.
No, but
You've never flaked. I'm sorry, you've never stood a guy up. Could be accidental too.
So they said
Could be
meet us
harmless.
at 7 p.m.
Yeah,
You
and then they text you like, "Hey, I'm here," and you're like, "Oh fuck, I forgot about that."
That's weird. That seems
no,
like
I don't date
Never?
like that.
No?
I'm not. I don't.
Oh, you go straight
If
to
I'm
the
gonna
crib.
do something, if I'm gonna put like
to
if
the
you're on
crib.
my calendar, like to go
Yeah.
on a date, I'm not gonna like no, I'm not
Yeah, so
flaky.
straight to the house.
She said the calendar.
No.
Goddamn. All right.
It's reservation.
All right.
flaking like that seems like something that would happen when you don't have like a home phone. You never
What
had
about
a
you?
cell phone.
Have you ever stood a guy up on a date before?
Yes.
What about you?
No.
Bad
haven't done
Serbia.
that.
Huh? Never?
No. I'm nice. I'll let you know if I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm not
that's
doing
weird.
something that hard.
She gonna be like,
Yeah, but I mean, it counts even if he like shows up there and then you text him, "Yo, I'm not gonna make it."
No.
So they never actually went to the venue.
We don't waste
No.
people's time.
No,
Okay.
that's rude.
Yeah, that's weird.
What about you?
No,
No.
it's not that hard.
Yeah,
to
you,
cancel.
even if
it's a
you need to
bad
cancel
excuse.
last minute, you don't make
Yeah.
them. No,
Like
Have you ever stood a guy up?
no, not in the way you're saying.
Stop
Where
the
they
cap.
where they go to the venue. No,
Or on the way to the venue?
no. Like I'll cancel like at least 12 hours before.
"You're so nice."
I know.
What about you? You ever stood a guy up?
I've canceled and like just like a couple times I've done that, but it's
So yes.
that I fell asleep. Yeah.
Okay.
During
about you?
weekdays,
You're
weekdays,
both people.
you know. No, because it's weekdays. I gotta wake up early and work the next day. You know.
No.
All right. Have you
Wow.
ever stood a guy up?
No.
Okay. All right.
Video?
Yeah. Okay.
Where
so
were you going with
let me
that?
ask this question.
We got you.
Uh-oh.
If your son got stood up by a woman, what would you tell him? Start here.
Oh, if they got stood up by a woman?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just tell them to keep going and search somewhere else, and that woman wasn't worth it if she just stood him up. Or I guess maybe he has to change something. Who knows?
All right. What would you tell your son if he got stood up by a girl?
Well, I would kind of, well, it depends. The girl stood him up. Oh,
Yeah.
then the girl's a complete asshole. Respectfully, I'd tell my son like, bro, you can find better, and then I'd kind of motivate him to find
better?
someone. Yeah.
All right.
Come on,
What would you
bro.
tell your son?
I
You got
will
this, bro.
say you'll be okay. You'll survive.
Oh.
Shit happens, and no one dies from that.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say?
Unless she had a legitimate reason, then she's not worth your time.
Her cat died.
That's a good reason. But she should have still texted him, unless he
Bro,
died like at
I
the
know
moment.
girls that they really want a dude. They'll drive 10 hours to see the dude.
Yeah,
and,
but
and their cat died.
Yeah.
okay, well those girls have issues in my opinion.
No, they just want to see somebody.
Yeah, that's not normal.
That is normal.
No, that's not. I don't think that's normal. But okay. Now we're just arguing.
What is not
issues.
normal?
If your cat just died, to drive 10 hours to see a guy.
Oh, yeah,
it's not
no.
normal.
The point is, girls will, if they really want to see you, they make it happen. That's the whole point.
If they're if their cat died, like, and they're leaving
Well,
the
if
house,
something's happening to my dog, I'm not.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean. What if it was a family member?
If you really like the guy,
What if
you're
it
gonna
was?
show
What
up.
if their mom died? You still show up?
Bro,
not before
bro,
my dog.
Mom
bro.
and Karen.
No,
Yeah.
but
And
if
that's
you're
normal.
like-
Wait,
if-
that's
if you're a
normal though.
boyfriend,
If like if a
whatever.
family, if you really like someone, you're saying under any circumstance they show up.
Yeah, Drake. Yeah, yeah.
Chris,
If
the premise is Chris.
No, go ahead.
No, the premise is if you really like the guy that much, okay, my cat died. Give me a second. I'll be there in like maybe an hour
Depends
later.
how much you liked your
No,
cat.
died. Like
If you
you
don't
don't want to
no,
go
it
out
It should
and,
be the
like,
other way around. He should be coming to me and like consoling me because my cat died.
right.
Yeah, but
Like-
then you're still seeing him. Like
And
if you love
that-
him,
that's the whole
yeah.
point.
I don't really
I
give a
want
fuck about
to.
it.
I mean,
so
we can
I would probably
FaceTime.
say
All
him,
right.
but
Okay. So.
So you're arguing for putting you in.
Yeah, bro.
We can
All right, what about
FaceTime.
you? What would if
sing
your
it
son
down.
got stood up by a girl? What would you tell him?
The same thing I would tell my daughter if she got stood up by a man. The same thing. Just like move on, That's
fine.
a
Move on.
person that didn't respect your time and respect you as a person.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I'll tell my son on to the next.
On to the next.
Oh,
You have a son?
No, I have a daughter.
Thank
dollar.
God.
Yeah.
All right. What about you?
I don't,
She made
I
you a
wanted a daughter.
favor.
She did
She's
you a
a mini
favor?
me.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. What about you?
Same. I have 2 sons. So
Aw,
You
how
got two?
old are they?
I have a 10 and a 1-year-old.
Well, when you say the same, would it be on to the next or
On to the next,
Okay.
you know.
Very interesting answers. Okay. What about you? What would you tell your son?
If she had like a really good reason, I would tell her not to be mad about it.
No reason. She just no text, no show.
Oh, that's even worse.
Tell him to stop talking to her. To stop talking to her.
All right.
All right. What about you?
She ain't the one, baby.
All right.
Okay.
Very interesting answers.
I love her, her shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
Save our children.
You know, it's interesting because a
Save
lot of
our
the girls,
children.
if you I'm reading through this, you know, find better, you'll be fine, on to the next. She ain't the one, stop talking to her, keep going. Women have a natural abundance mindset. I don't know if y'all caught on to that, but with their answers, you know what I mean? But you guys don't really, you know what? I'll ask that question after the video. Let's go ahead and play the video real fast that we have here.
I know the one you mean.
But their answers, guys, are very abundance mindset type answers.
This went viral,
which
actually.
women naturally have that abundance mindset. So this guy goes, man gets emotional after being stood up at a restaurant waiting for his date to show up. I brought flowers. I've been consistent talking to this girl for 2 weeks. I made plans. I'm just looking for my person. So let's go ahead and roll the clip.
So I just left the restaurant after waiting 30 minutes for a date to show up, and apparently I got stood up. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm trying to do everything right to be a gentleman. I brought flowers.
Aww.
I've been consistent talking with this girl for 2 weeks, trying to get to know what she likes, what she doesn't like. I made plans. I picked the restaurant, the day, and the time. You know, I've done everything to be just the kind of guy that would value somebody's time. Like, I'm just looking for my person.
Aww.
I'm just looking for the one that I guess is out there for me. I mean, I want to be somebody's husband someday, father. I'm trying to do everything that's right. I just get stood up.
Is he already recording?
Like, my feelings didn't even matter. Sitting there eating a meal by myself, realizing that nobody even cares about people anymore. Like, LA and dating shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this hard to find somebody. It shouldn't be this difficult to fall in love.
You really need attention.
To be kind to one another. It's like, what? Ladies, tell me, what did I do wrong?
Everything.
So I just left the restaurant after waiting 30 minutes.
They're playing Smack That in the background.
Yeah, I know. I was just vibing.
I was also like,
Yeah.
the song in my head.
But
ladies, you saw the video.
And I want the audience to pay attention to what the girls were doing when they were watching him.
Bro, they were cringe.
They were laughing, cringe.
I wasn't laughing.
Don't try to
I recommend therapy. That
If you want
you have some
someone,
first? Go ahead.
No, I'll let them talk first.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on that? We can start right here.
I mean, yeah, I feel bad for him that like he got stood up, but like you just like move on to the next person. Just keep trying to find another person because honestly, that person just sucks. They clearly left him like stood up and whatever. He ate a meal by himself. It's not the end of the world though. Like he can stand up and find another person. And instead of like being all sad, you should just keep going and like maybe talk to a friend or something instead of just putting it online because it just kind of makes it even worse for him.
All right,
interesting.
People just look at him like a weak person.
Right.
All right, what about you?
True.
Interesting.
Well, I know, like you could tell, like it was really hard. I mean, I'm not a guy, so I can't really like
Relate.
truly understand. Yeah, but I noticed that it is a lot harder based on also some of my friends that are guys. Like they go through a lot of similar things, and it's really hard to kind of push after that because it's kind of like you just took a stop and you're just like, oh my god, like this just happened to me, and then the guy starts questioning themselves because then they're like, oh, am I not good enough? Am I doing something wrong? So in that perspective, it makes sense. but at the same time, it's that push and motivation that they need to ensure that they are confident in themselves, because then they think that they're not good enough, and sometimes they're actually more good enough than they think.
All right.
Yo,
What?
Someone said he ate 2 plates and dessert.
What about you?
So
What are your thoughts on that?
like it's sad, but shit happens. Guys also many times disappoint women. So I will tell him, you know, cry. It's okay to
Yeah.
cry. You'll be fine.
But be honest,
and
though.
maybe go find therapy
Do you
that will
think,
help
do you think men
to
flake
get
on women as much as women
Yeah,
flake
be
on men,
honest,
though,
though.
realistically speaking?
No, but
Yeah.
they disappoint many with the other
Mhm.
different stuff. You know, like they can disappoint differently.
But not like that though.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, he just made a
Well,
really big deal
but
about it on the internet.
He
like,
didn't found
It is
out
a
he
big
had
deal.
he has cancer.
But-
You know, you just gotta stood up on the day. There's other women in the world. You know, it's not
Like-
the end of
Abundance
the
mindset,
world.
bro.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I'm so like,
Yeah.
bro.
Imagine every time that we got like stood up for a date or something, or somebody flaked on us, we made a video like that.
You know what's crazy?
Women do
Or
actually.
every
do.
time guys
They do it a lot
ghost,
more on TikTok. than
guys
guys
ghost
do.
a lot.
TikTok,
So
yeah.
it's like,
Like the reason why men don't go, the reason why men go viral for doing that dumb shit is because they make fun of them. When a woman does it, it's all over the place on TikTok. Women are constantly crying about not being able to get a guy to take them
because
seriously. Or,
guys
You
ghost
even
all the
said it.
time.
He looks weak doing it.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
only
You
been
said it's
talking to
fine.
her for 2 weeks.
all right,
Like,
only 2 weeks.
that's
I
what he
mean-
said.
Yeah, he said.
Incredible.
I mean, that's a lot though.
He said
Yeah.
2 weeks.
That's a
Yeah.
long time
All
though.
right, what about
And
you?
I
What are your
think-
thoughts?
What are my thoughts on it? At first it was one thing, but as the video went on, I think he has like underlying mental issues.
Yeah,
That's what I
therapy,
think.
yeah.
Honestly, if
That's
you're asking me my
crazy.
thoughts, I don't think he's fully. Yeah.
Normal.
In the beginning, I was like, "Oh, this chick sucks," and people don't do that. Don't be an asshole. Just cancel if you're not
Mhm.
going to go. Don't make
Yeah.
people take
Right.
the time, show up places. Like, be a fucking
What if
decent
I
human
told
being.
you a lot of guys are just like him?
I don't think a lot of guys are like that. And if they are,
No.
I think a lot of guys get stood up. You're right, but a lot of guys. I mean,
Many are,
clearly that
many
video
are
went
not.
viral because there's not that many guys doing it. You just
No,
said that.
It's viral
Are you
because
like
a lot
that?
of men
You
are in the
cry
same
like that?
You
shoes as him.
just said that it went viral because women do it, and so when a man does it, it's very bizarre.
No,
It's
no.
not as normal.
On
They keep it to
camera.
themselves.
On
Yeah,
camera.
exactly.
On
So this
camera.
guy
Do
doing
you
it
guys
on
do
camera,
that?
there's not a lot of men. Like you're right, there are a lot of men who get stood up that feel disappointed. But I honestly, you asked me my thoughts. As the video went on, he's different. Something I would say he has some underlying mental health
Yeah,
condition.
here's the thing.
They call him retarded?
Not calling him retarded.
Wow.
I'm not calling him that.
That's
She's
wild.
poor
No, like
guy.
he
She
has
thinks he has some
depression or
mental-
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's
What I
not
think
typical
is-
behavior. Being upset,
no,
being stood up, that happens to a lot of men.
could you?
But get clearly that you guys just admitted men don't, at least for 45.
On
We should all
camera.
do it.
Yeah, okay. So
Camera.
what is it
Really
about
sad.
him that made him do it on camera that other men wouldn't, especially for 60 seconds? He's a little different. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
To be honest,
Well,
like most men feel that way deep down,
There-
but they
yeah.
gotta
And
sit
women
in the corner,
don't.
in the crib, and just cry it out or just like figure it
Yeah.
out.
I agree that a lot of men
He
feel
was-
disappointed.
He was brave enough to put on
brave
camera.
enough or dumb enough to put on camera. I
Yeah.
don't know. Either or.
I
but he did it,
mean,
which is
he-
why it went viral because
Look.
most guys don't ever do that.
If he stopped it at like the first 15 seconds, like guys, I put in my time. This sucks. I want to find my person. If he stopped it there, it would have been different. But the way he kept going, that's
Mhm.
my thoughts.
I mean,
Yeah,
most
I
guys
agree.
like him was
Well,
shit.
what I'm saying is that a lot of guys are like him, where their tonality is fucked up. They're not really confident. They're really like have a scarcity mindset with women. Will spend a bunch of time talking to a girl, bringing flowers on the first date. A lot of guys struggle with women, just like him. I think that's why it resonates with so
Yeah,
many guys,
That
because
sucks.
he was brave enough to put a camera on him. But that goes back to my
Oh,
original
I mean-
point that most men struggle with women.
I don't think
think
he's
he-
most men, but
Yeah,
Yeah, trust
same.
me, he is.
I don't think
he dated
he's most
out of
men.
his
No,
league.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're all
He's
women.
awesome.
We're
You
all
feel
we're all seeing
comparable
it.
to
We're all
him?
seeing-
This
we're all-
is a
That's how
very
you
hold on.
visualize yourself.
You
Hold
just said
on.
that people are making fun
This-
of him.
If
Yeah,
he
but this is a
wanted
very
dating
typical
himself.
guy.
I don't think people.
This is a
no,
very
it's
typical
not.
guy.
I just said I
he's
think
adorable.
I'm not trying to like. What I mean is, you guys just admitted
it
2 minutes ago.
happens.
This is more common with women doing, and especially getting on camera. For I said if he stopped it earlier,
I
but
wanna
as time
see the
went
girl,
on, I
and
think
that's
he
gonna answer
actually
the
has
question.
some type of underlying issue.
Look
And
at
he's
Didn't sound like
great.
a
And
fan.
I think he seems very sweet, and that's why I just said girls don't do this. Nobody should treat
No, you
people
call
like
him
this.
retarded.
I
Yeah.
didn't call him retarded. I
It's
said
a
underlying.
depression.
He might have mental issues. I do think that. I'm being honest, but that doesn't mean anybody should treat any human being like this. This is unacceptable.
I mean, it's AirPods. I mean, shaved.
I mean,
I,
the
that
relationship
didn't bother
seemed
me
like
at
a
all.
vibe.
That's not what I'm saying.
Here's the thing. A lot of men go through the same experience that he's describing right now.
That's true.
This is a very average guy. You can see he's a little overweight, etc. Like this is where a lot of men fall into this category of where this guy is.
And that's why I said
wanna
people don't
see
treat
the-
people like this.
Yeah, but the reality is you can say that, but women are going to do that.
It's gonna happen.
Some women are, and those women suck. I agree
and-
with you.
Yeah,
and
that's
So
true.
you suck.
But
I
the
don't-
same thing could
I never
happen
did
to
anything like this. Did you not hear my
Alchemy
answer? I
before.
never did that.
You flicked though.
No, but she
No,
never
I
stood
never
up.
stood
She even
anybody
said-
up.
Yeah,
But you
none
still
of us
flicked
said
though.
that.
Nobody
No.
brought me flowers and showed up somewhere. And I never talked to someone for
Well, you
2
don't know
weeks.
that if you
You don't know
flaked.
that.
No,
You
and I
flaked.
never talked to someone for 2 weeks and then flaked. That never happened.
Yeah, that's just a
Right.
terrible
Yeah,
person.
Guys do
before.
that a lot,
Either
though.
way,
They
you don't
ghost
know.
a lot.
Yeah, they
Either
do.
way, I don't
guys
know if he
do
bought
as
if he bought
goals.
flowers weeks in
Ghosting?
advance. I mean, at that point, he probably has
You
mental
just
health
admitted
issues
yourself
too.
that
It happens.
you ghost more than they ghost you.
No. Well,
Yes.
half and half.
Oh, now it's half and half.
Half
It
and half.
happens,
No.
you know.
Now it's half and half.
I would
Amen.
say, yeah.
All right. What are your thoughts on this?
It's the same thing as if a guy, like, I know he probably puts in more effort, like in a way of like getting flowers, so like maybe like make the dinner reservation, whatever. But girls like usually like dress up more, like put on the makeup, hair, do whatever, like different things they put into the date. But whatever, like it would suck. I would probably not like cry and get the video if it happened to me. But yeah, it would suck for me
All right.
too.
I think what he did was adorable, and I feel bad for him.
Yeah, but you won't fuck him though. So
No, I wouldn't, but
Exactly.
it's so cute because
So it's
nobody
still
does
out.
that nowadays.
Oh, what's a teddy bear?
yeah. Last thing you want is female sympathy, guys.
Yeah, bro.
All right. What about you? What are your thoughts?
Well, as I said, she did you a favor. You're not wasting your time anymore.
I like
That's
that.
easy to say after you spend 2
But-
I
weeks
mean,
and bought
you've been
flowers.
talking to her for 2 weeks, right?
but-
But you're not going to talk to her anymore. So she cut that, and you're better off
But why not
without.
from the very beginning say, you know what? Nah, buddy, you don't got a chance. Deuces.
We all
versus
agree that
2
Yeah, I
weeks.
agree. That would be better.
2 weeks
but
of flowers and showing
given
up
the
to a place?
circumstances.
That's a messed up person. That's just like a really
This
fucked up
happens a lot.
person because,
Yeah.
like, not even a call or anything. You know?
No, but all
That's
of
messed up,
us in here
Yeah.
have agreed that that's not like okay.
And
Yeah,
most
it's
of us-
like-
most
Yeah,
of
but
us
all of
guys as a
you,
girl.
all of you have flaked on
But
guys
none of us
way
have
more
stood
than they
up. But
flaked
that's
on
a
you.
way more,
stand up, and
no.
most of us
When-
haven't stood up. The guy. So that's
I've never
that's
flaked.
a girl standing up a guy, and most of us said we haven't done that. I don't think it's
Yeah.
most women.
Yeah,
do
but how
that.
many of you guys have friend zoned men before?
No, but that's
I
not
don't
the same
think
thing.
so.
Completely
I don't
mindful.
think none of us would talk to this guy.
And it's different flaking and
No,
like
yeah,
going
yeah.
out.
I'll have to be my
Like
friend. I'll
that,
play
let's
like
be
board
honest.
games with
to be
him or
fair,
something.
She would if he was paying his bills. Paying her bills.
No, I'll have him be my friend. Like, I'm pretty sure he could like play board games or something.
Yeah.
Like
friend zone.
Catan.
There you go.
That's even worse.
Bruh.
Diablo 4.
All right, go ahead.
Shout out to Diablo.
What about you?
Shay
What are your
from Atlanta?
thoughts?
Yes. It screams overcompensation. Okay,
Period.
the flowers, the 2 weeks,
Period.
like you're corny. So I'm pretty sure the
Nigga.
girl that he picked was out of his league. If you wanted a date, you want to find your mate, go to the library.
Period.
Go to the grocery store. Date someone who looks like you, who's gonna be attracted to you. That's who you marry.
But do women typically date in their league though?
Yes.
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 Do women?
Yes.
Yeah.
People date across once again.
No,
Again, if you
Socioeconomic
want to date
status,
literally, you can
education.
tell.
But I think
Higher value
guys like
men.
try to like get like women up here. Like
I try to
guys
find the best
try-
man for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The
Women date
ugly
higher
ones
than
always
themselves,
shoot their
though.
shot the
Yes.
most.
If
Yeah.
you're talking
Right.
about
It works.
men
If
date
guys
higher
doesn't
than
work,
themselves on
it's sad, but
attraction. It
it's just
depends
how
what
it
trait
is.
you're selecting for.
This is crazy.
Where's your lawyer?
Where's my lawyer?
Yeah.
What is that?
She's her
Oh,
own.
I'm my own lawyer.
No, you said you date lawyers date lawyers, but where's yours?
I'm talking to one right now. He's watching.
Does he look like that?
I'm worried for him.
He's doomed. All right.
Leave your number, bro.
Yeah. delete the number.
So you think he's only talking to you?
I don't care if I don't have that expectation of him, like at all. I don't. I'm not like, are you only talking to me? I don't. I mean,
No
unless
monogamy?
But here's the thing, though. Here's the difference. You want to date a lawyer. He can go fuck a girl
I
that
don't-
isn't
I
a
didn't say
lawyer
I
or
wanted-
date a girl that isn't a lawyer. That's the point.
What do you mean? What's the point?
What I'm saying is that he'll talk to you.
Yeah.
You're a lawyer. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You want a lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
But he's capable of dating a girl that isn't a lawyer
Yeah,
and being okay
but
with
I
it.
can talk to 200 lawyers if I want.
That's-
I know a lot
No,
of lawyers. That's what I mean.
But your threshold starts at lawyer.
Yeah,
His
lawyer.
doesn't.
Yeah, but I'm around other lawyers all the time.
Oh
I know
my
a lot of
God.
educated men. How many men am I supposed to
Wow.
have?
Lawyers are not
Just,
even all
I know you said I'm Destiny's whatever,
You're
but just like
missing-
Destiny
no, no, no,
says,
no,
you're
no, no,
lowering
no,
your
no, no, hold on,
ability
hold on,
by saying
hold on.
Pause.
You're missing the main point that he is not constricted to women within his own socioeconomic demographic.
But
he
you
can
are.
date a girl.
But a lot of them, they
But
don't
you-
though. They don't date women at McDonald's. Lawyers do not. Let me tell you
Bruh.
guys this all
Yes,
right
they
once and
do.
for all. With
You are
lawyers
not a nigga.
We're talking
do
about
not.
lawyers.
Listen,
And most-
you are not a nigga. They will tell you one thing because listen.
I don't know how to speak like this. I don't know.
Pause. this. These niggas aren't stupid, right? They're lawyers, right? So they know what you like. Like, yeah, baby, you know what? What it is, I date, girls.
They don't talk like this.
Listen.
You guys are just not lawyers. Like
What?
the spelling
Because-
errors alone, like suppressing this podcast.
Wait,
top 2%.
but you are fucking them though.
That's the point.
What do you mean I'm not fucking them?
You
Okay,
said
this
earlier.
is the thing. Like I said, I come from a family of lawyers. I went to school. They don't talk like you guys. They don't behave like you guys. They don't think like you guys. Now, again, lawyers, that's maybe a special
And
group.
you
That's
don't fuck
fine.
'em.
What do you mean I don't fuck them? I don't fuck you guys either. I definitely don't fuck you guys.
You know what's crazy? Your same lawyer speech about lawyers. I have friends that are lawyers. You know what they do? They act professional in public, but when it's late
I
night,
think that's
they're in the
it.
club fucking 18-year-olds.
Yeah,
20-year-olds.
I think you're missing the overall concept that guy that you're talking to that's a lawyer has more options in the open
Okay,
dating
here's the
marketplace
thing.
than you do.
I don't
because-
need- I
Hold
don't
on,
need
stop,
billions of
please,
options.
Please stop interrupting me.
Okay.
I'm simply saying that this lawyer that you said that you're talking to has more options in the open sexual marketplace because he isn't constricted to women within his own socioeconomic level like you are. So it's cool. He's talking to you, but what I'm saying is that he's not restricted like you are to a certain demographic
I
and
don't
class
need
of man.
more. I don't need the most billions of like. So, it's just like if someone was like, okay, if you're willing to date somebody with a low IQ, then you have more options. If you're waiting to date someone that's a meth head, you have more options.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But both men and women aren't looking for as much options as possible. A lot of people want someone they actually like.
What's your name again? Sorry,
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I'm gonna call you from now on Bad Faith Jasmine.
Yeah, I think
Excellent. Very clever.
I think
Riveting.
the main point here, the takeaway is simply that he has more options because he isn't constricted like you are. You are far more selective because you are a female, rightfully so. He is a male, so therefore he's okay with dating across and even below social hierarchies. Versus for you, it's got to be bare minimum across or above.
Yeah, but I have
That's all I'm
more
saying.
options bare minimum across because they all like me.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like lawyers, a lot. I have my pick of a lot of
Okay,
lawyers. What I'm saying.
fantastic. You have your pick of men that will have sex with you, but how many of those men are going to put a ring on you?
I don't even want a ring, but quite a few.
Nice cope. The point is how many of
No,
these men?
I told you,
are-
I didn't-
how many of these men that are lawyers that have this title, etc., are going to put a ring on it? I would argue a minority of them.
No, but like I said, lawyers marry other lawyers for the like. Look it up. Lawyers.
But
they
you're
don't.
not a lawyer right now.
Yes, I am. I'm a licensed attorney.
But you're a porn star
But they
first.
think that's cool. They think that's like
It's
because
cool.
that's-
You said it. It's cool, but not for long term.
No, you're saying that. You're saying that.
Yo,
listen, I've seen your Instagram, right?
man.
No,
Guys will fuck
forget.
you.
Yo, Bad Faith Jasmine, the delusional Jasmine. Holy, like,
Can you
really?
do a good
I am
one?
telling you.
I want a better nickname.
Jasmine, you know what the fuck you're talking about.
No,
because
I-
your Instagram is
Yeah,
straight
I
up
know you don't like my
304.
Instagram because
No,
I'm
no,
not used to being
I
on
like
Instagram.
it. Hey, don't worry. I like it. But I mean,
Chris, you should have that.
Look,
Chris, you should
I'm
have
an
that.
anomaly because I'm still a lawyer, and a lot of other lawyers think
listen.
what I did was awesome.
Myron, look, then I want to show you.
Men will say and do a lot of things for sexual access to include making a woman feel better about her ego investments, even though they're contradictory to the male sexual vetting process. Let me explain.
But it's not contradictory to male sexual vetting process. I just told you lifetime partners or promiscuity doesn't affect likelihood of marriage.
Men don't like women that are hoes or have an image of being hoes. So
men.
even though you might not necessarily be promiscuous, your job title, the way you present yourself, etc., creates an aura that you might be and or are promiscuous.
Myron, she is,
And
Myron.
here's the other thing too. A man, a lot of the times, because you're saying, I have all these options that are lawyers, etc. Cool. They'll go on dates with you. They'll talk with you. They'll even debate you at dinner. But will they actually get down on one knee and propose to you and marry you? I would argue a majority of them probably won't, because as a lawyer, your image matters. Bringing your girl around and functions matters. And here's the thing. No one's going to know you by being a lawyer in your JD. They're going to know you for being on OnlyFans. And that's going to hurt that man's status. A woman's
What
past
about the girl at
absolutely-
CVS?
Stop interrupting. A woman's background absolutely hurts her man's status if she has a promiscuous background. What are you saying
can I
about CVS?
respond? Can
Hold
I
on, let her say her point. What are you saying?
What about the woman at CVS that you say that people goes for that?
That's
That they
definitely
go
gonna
like,
hurt their
What about
image.
what you're saying?
That's definitely
Because
gonna hurt
here's the thing: a man can get with a girl that has nothing and elevate her status.
Not lawyers don't do this.
What about if they're dumb? Like you're
We're
saying.
not talking
like,
about. Okay, you want to use lawyers as an example. Fantastic. Cool. You want to use lawyers. I'm saying in general, men that are higher earning, men that have status, etc., are okay a lot of the times getting with a woman that has less status than themselves because men don't care about a woman's status. They're going
As
to
long as
elevate
they
them.
look good, that's all
There's
that
a
matters.
reason why There's a reason why a king will marry a peasant and turn her into a queen, but it never works the other way
When
around.
is this? We're in 2023. So kings and
I'm just
peasants
using
are
that as an analogy.
Okay, can I ask you a question? So you're right. There are some men that wouldn't be okay with this. I didn't like those men before. I don't like them now. Like I said, 2 years ago, I didn't have an Instagram. The one man was like, "Oh, I like that." I stopped talking to him. My question for you is, yes, some men don't like this. Agree. Okay.
A majority.
Now, I would also say that you, by getting on a podcast 12 hours a week talking about how women are inferior, a lot of women, you're lowering your ability to get women too. A lot of women don't want anything to do with that. That's embarrassing to a lot of women. I'm not trying to insult you, but I'm saying, but you're saying, oh, I still have a happy life. I don't care. There's plenty of women who are okay with it. I'm saying there are plenty of men who are okay with this too.
No, because here's the thing. My podcast, right? So some girls might not like my views or whatever it may be, but here's the thing. Men don't derive status necessarily from their ability to be attractive to women.
I thought you said they do. Men don't derive status.
No. Men derive their status from creating change in the world. Men are defined by their profession and how they impact the world. Okay? They're not defined by their ability to attract the opposite gender. That's a woman's value. There's a reason why a woman takes a man's last name and not the other way around. A woman's status typically is tied to the value and caliber of man that she can attract and most importantly retain for a long-term relationship. As a man, my job is to go out there, be successful, change the world, and a byproduct is women will find me attractive and I pick the best one. That isn't a whore. Or not going to embarrass me.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Some women that are very attractive that you want nothing to do with you because they think you're insane. That's fine. And some women don't. I'm saying the same thing. There are some men who want nothing to do with me because I'm on OnlyFans and some do. You can find a woman that's going to be okay with all this, but some women that are very attractive that women may otherwise have been attracted to you might think that this is fucking abominable. Like, and so I'm saying
no, it's not. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
What is the number one marker for attraction for a man? Status.
Financial security, actually.
And so financial security, which is intimately tied to status, right? Now, with a woman,
it's physical attractiveness.
It's physical attractiveness and chastity.
It's not. In 2020, there's no stats that say that. If that was the case, then it would affect your likelihood of marriage.
Let's just use common sense.
No, I don't want to use your common sense.
No, hold on. No, because you're making arguments in bad faith and you're trying to say that I can attract all these lawyers, etc. If there are two versions of you, there's a version that you have right now, and then a version of you where you aren't on OnlyFans and you have a body count of 0. I guarantee you, the men would go ahead and prefer the body count of 0 version of you versus the version of you now.
Some and some would. I'm just telling you the truth.
For a long-term relationship and a marriage,
there are some men that are open relationships. There are some men that, like, literally, this is your defined, narrow, distorted view of masculinity in men is not widespread. You talk about critical thinking skills. Using a little and making broad generalizations about everyone is not critical thinking. This is not how that works.
I want everyone in here to answer the question after we show this. So let's just describe this in a nutshell. You're saying lawyers will still date you knowing you do OnlyFans, right?
Some lawyers, the ones that are more liberal. Now academia leans left and lawyers are generally more liberal.
To events, take you out to family. Chris, bring it up.
Liberal men aren't attractive.
They are to me.
Chris.
Really?
Yeah.
You want a guy that's going to sit there and be equal to you when someone breaks in, hey, babe, it's your time to deal with the burglars this time. No.
This apocalyptic fantasy you have.
Guys.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me, what lawyer is going to bring her out in public and actually say, this is my girlfriend, my wife? Please tell me.
There are lawyers that won't, but that's only because I'm an anomaly because I'm also a lawyer. So if I'm at these events, I know how to talk. I know, like, if it was a random girl.
What does she do for a living? Oh, well.
Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, for instance, like, subscribe to my OnlyFans.
You can't argue this.
Wait, let's play the audio on this. It's a good one.
No.
You can't argue this.
Like, tell me, what the fuck
I mean, again, this is another example of just arguing in bad faith. If you can't even concede that men in general prefer women, a majority of men.
No.
Holy shit.
If that was the case, that would be shown in the stats.
A
And
majority of men prefer women to have less sexual partners.
Majority of your viewers.
Majority of men.
No.
And it's been this way since the beginning of time. Why does a woman walk?
Did Thor care about this? Did the Vikings care about this? The ancient Egyptians care about it? What do you mean the beginning of time?
Yes.
Such a bizarre statement. Scientists don't talk like this.
Virgins.
Yeah, but he just said since the beginning of time. I'm saying there's plenty of, like, Thor didn't give a fuck about your virginity.
Who's Thor?
The Viking god, the Viking king, like the Viking Odin, Thor. Do you guys only think there's
mythology?
It's not mythology. It's the old gods. You guys talk about since the beginning of time, but you don't know the Vikings were here since the beginning of time.
Look, whether it's Islam, Christianity, etc.
These are newer religions. You said the beginning of time, did you not? So can you rephrase it?
Look. In the civilized world, since the beginning of civilized time.
Okay. At least I've moved you a little bit.
Right? Men have preferred women that had lower body counts and women that were virgins. There's a reason why a girl would walk down the aisle in a white dress across different cultures. Why? Because it symbolizes chastity and purity. Men have a very strong interest in a woman's chastity. Okay. Now, with that said, maybe They don't?
In 2023, it's becoming less and less the case. Like I said, we're evolving. Times are changing.
Just because it's becoming less and less the case does not mean that men still don't prefer it.
I would say the majority have now shifted, right? Because majority of men, I'm sorry, the majority of men are not like, oh, I want a virgin. I'm sorry, this is just not true. I don't think it's true.
If they
and
could
it's not,
get it,
it's not
they would still prefer if they can get it.
It's not established through the data.
Okay, and
they don't want someone with experience. What about throat go?
Yeah.
Like, you want the virgin or do you want the
That's
top of the
incredible.
bag?
No, you're right.
Seriously.
For a fun time, awesome. But for wifey, nah. Sorry.
Yeah, like ladies, I know that this might, you guys, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like you do realize that when men meet you, they put you in one of two categories: fun only or commitment. Fun only or commitment. So you're trying to conflate the two and say a lot of lawyers would date me and blah blah blah, but that does not mean that they would take you seriously and get down on one knee.
Well, we
and
have
propose to you
no
and give you a
way.
relationship.
First of all, I don't like men who even want to like propose on one. Like, I just don't like these kind of men.
Well, you want monogamy, right?
Maybe, yeah, but like,
so that means would it give you monogamy? No.
Yeah, they would. I promise you, they would. Now, this is now unfalsifiable, right? So there's no point in because you guys are gonna say, no, I'm gonna say, yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be battle of anecdotes. I probably say I'm more qualified here because I know more lawyers, but okay.
Yeah, but you're using a you're basically saying, oh yeah, lawyers would date me, blah blah blah. I'm just saying in
They
general.
wouldn't marry me, but how do you know? And I don't know, and you don't know because I haven't been proposed to. Actually,
Because men have a very serious stake in a woman's background and her.
Are you fresh or fit? Can I explain something to you? So when you use this thing of like, oh, I'm single, what you have to do is you have to isolate the variable and look at people who are married and look at people who get, and you have to isolate and see that this is going to be more likely.
never had a headache
So, for
on this
instance, a lot of the things you guys say may increase your likelihood of divorce. Age gaps increase your likelihood of divorce by a lot. If you guys have a 10-year age gap, that increases your likelihood of divorce by 40%. Yeah, you guys always talk about liking younger women, not being college educated. A woman between 25 and 32 is less likely to divorce.
We never said don't be college educated. We just said it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but it does, especially if you're looking at likelihood of divorce, and especially if you're looking at
I said it
childhood
doesn't matter
outcomes.
when it comes to like men being attracted. Like no one cares about a woman's degree or her background or her education.
To be physically attracted, yes, but to get married to, you'd be very smart. Not only just to care about that because of divorce outcomes, but because your childhood success and childhood cognitive development is highly
You're moving the goalposts. All I'm simply saying is that men in general do not want women that either are promiscuous or create an aura of promiscuity
Some men.
as their main girl.
Some men.
You want to ask the chat?
No, your chat is like, this is not, do you think this is a scientific, like actual
It's not
study?
about that, but it's a very.
Do you think there's a selection bias here?
You
Do you think there's a selection
You got
bias here?
20,000 men in here from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
You're really
Yeah,
trying to sit here and argue with me
Yes.
that men don't prefer women that have lower body counts.
Like I said, I asked every single person I know about
Lack
this
of
show, and
comments.
people thought that you guys was about vegetables. No men that I know have heard of this. Now I have
Hold
a
on.
selection.
Do you think men are going? Hold on, bro. Use a little bit of common sense. Do you think men are actually going to be honest and tell you that they prefer a woman that isn't involved in sex work, that isn't?
I didn't say they prefer.
No.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do you really think that they're going to sit there and be honest and say, I prefer a woman that isn't on OnlyFans, isn't promiscuous, blah blah blah? You really think they're going to tell you that? Of all
I'm not
people?
talking about men. And look, like I said, a year ago, I didn't have any of this. I didn't even have an Instagram, and they wouldn't even tell me then. I think like a couple years ago, I was exactly this very nice low body count. I might have been too educated for your liking. That may have been an impediment, and my prefrontal cortex might have been a bit too developed because I was 26 and not like 18. But at the same time, what I'm trying to say is that there are men who just don't care. Like they're trying
to fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's an unfalsifiable claim, so there's no point in arguing on something unfalsifiable.
Like, I mean, you can't even concede on certain points, such as like men prefer women that don't have a promiscuous
Some men.
past.
I said some men.
Majority.
I don't think it's majority, and you have no evidence for that other than your anecdotes.
You
Because
are married.
That's not a lot of people because I'm not married.
Guys
like I said, isolate the things
all.
that make people more likely to get married and not. Body count is not one of them, and I don't know. There's been no studies on.
No, because you're annoying.
That's okay.
I mean,
there we go. Great,
vocally as
riveting claim.
Yes. No, I mean, it's just.
Sorry,
I mean, if you can't even admit that men don't want women that are promiscuous, then
I said some men.
majority don't.
Well, you're not.
And this has been across different religion, different time, different cultures.
Are you religious?
I'm not, but I'm telling you, I'm using it as an example.
Yes, but I'm not saying it's not been I just said I can give you many examples in beginning of time. Now, if you want to move it finally, because I've always been annoyed that you keep saying beginning of time because that's not true. But if you want to say however many years ago, pick your year. And now it's changing. It's not as virginity.
You're stepping over dollars to pick up quarters. You're missing the main points here.
What?
Men don't want hoes. Period.
And
especially for long-term relationships.
And your claim is most. I'm saying some. That's where we disagree. And you have no evidence for most other than your common sense and your anecdotes.
They'd never be able to pull a study like this off and ask men this, and without like, do you think that would actually get funded?
No, all we know.
Do you think it would actually get funded if they said, "All right, guys, we're gonna do a poll. Tell us if you like hoes." You really think
they probably would do a thing like how much does sexual purity mean to you, and they would do ranking. They would probably do something like that. All I can tell you though is that the study we do have shows that body count doesn't affect likelihood of marriage. That's the only one we have.
Anything from anything.
Yeah.
Incredible.
If a man wants you, he wants you, no matter what your body count is.
Yeah, that's what, and the stats show that.
For sex only.
No, for marriage. That's what the stats show.
They put you in a category.
All right, so
then why does it not affect your likelihood of getting married? That's what the stats show. Look it up.
For marriages are down too.
What do you mean marriages?
like you're saying.
So you're saying these men just want to get married, but everyone has too high of a body count.
You said for what? Because you're saying, oh, it doesn't affect your ability to get married. But what I'm saying is that the picture is way bigger than that. Marriages have been dropping off precipitously since feminism.
And I would say it's not that aspect of feminism.
And it's because I would that's
where we disagree.
That's one aspect. That's one aspect. But women are less marriageable than they were before.
And 1 in 5 women don't even want to get married. So
because
they just
of feminism.
don't want. So okay, but that means
but a majority still do.
So, but that's not.
A vast majority still do.
But the ones that do, that have a high body count, are just as likely. That's what I'm saying to get married as the ones that don't. Yeah, that's what the stats show.
They might not.
The panel is not science. You guys talk about science.
Are they going to get married to a man that they actually want though?
How do we?
All
I'm saying that was okay. So now you're adding this. That wasn't in the study. So if Myron says it, maybe now it's science. But you guys talk about science and logic. There are rules to science and there are rules to logic. If you want to say shit, that's fine. But when you're talking about logic and science, then we have to talk about logic and science. If you're saying claims that are unfalsifiable, well, they're just lying. Everyone's lying. The study's not funded. Okay, fine. Then I have nothing to say.
It's not about that because you're saying there's no data on this. But I'm saying, okay, well, realistically speaking, are they going to be able to run a study like that?
That's not how
science.
That's not how people with critical
thinking
thinking
this
skills.
Is misogynistic. They would never allow it.
That's not how critical thinking skills work. So you're saying this study couldn't happen? So that's why. So now we just go with what you think versus what I think. Then it just becomes battle of the anecdotes.
I mean, you can't even agree.
Then it's just feminine.
You don't even agree on common sense that a majority of men would prefer to not be with a woman who's promiscuous.
No,
you can't even concede on a simple fact like that.
Is that an axiomatic fact? That's an axiomatic fact.
If I lined up 100 men from different groups at different parts of the world, different racial demographics,
different parts of the world, yes. Okay, all right, I'll give you that.
Talking about.
No, but in the West, I live in the West and I live in the United States, so I wasn't talking about Zimbabwe, but okay.
Okay. Again, speaking from a holistic, worldly standpoint.
I'm not.
There's a reason why I said since the
Zimbabwe.
beginning of time, and I reference different religions and cultures. Obviously, I'm speaking on a worldly.
But it's not
basis
beginning
here.
of time.
Okay?
The Vikings didn't care. The ancient Egyptians didn't care.
Stop stepping over dollars to pick up quarters. The point I'm trying to bring here is that if I lined up 100 men from different religions, different backgrounds, different racial, different ages, different socioeconomic status, etc., and I asked them, would you prefer a woman that was more promiscuous or a girl that's less promiscuous? Almost all of them are going to say less.
Worldwide, majority, yes. I would give you that. Yeah. What are you mad about? I just said, yeah. If you're talking about worldwide, what would you like me to say, Myron?
All right, man. We can move on because you're not making no sense now.
I feel like I just conceded the point you wanted me to concede.
Yeah,
okay. If I have to be, I thought you'd be able to, Jesus.
I just said, yeah. If you look at the worldwide, the majority of men, if you lined up the majority of men.
That's implied. If I'm talking about different religions, cultures, beginning of time, etc., like clearly I'm not just talking about the United States or the Western world. I'm talking about everybody.
Well, okay, then that was my mistake. That was my mistake because
argued for 30 minutes.
That was my mistake because I was thinking that we're talking about men like we're on a show in English. In the Western world, I don't think.
And I even mentioned there's a bunch of clues that I was obviously referring to the entire world. I even said we got people from different countries. We can do a poll because we got people.
Everyone's talking in English. I haven't seen any Arabic. I haven't seen anybody.
That doesn't change the fact that they might be from a different country.
Obviously, okay. So we're talking about English-speaking people now, because then I might change my mind.
Do you think a guy rather have you as his first or his 50th?
What?
Do you think a guy rather be with you that you're his first or that guy's your 50th?
Do I think a guy rather be with me if I'm his first or his 50th? I think he'd rather be with me either way.
No. If you're the 50th person he's been with, you've been
right.
To be with a
for
guy
one night
either.
or forever. But yeah, let's move on.
No, but like I don't want to be with a guy either. Like I would have preferred if I was on the lower side of my man's body count too.
You guys, but the guy is gonna want to be with somebody that hasn't been with the whole world.
Yeah, but I think
you said it
girls
wrong.
think the same.
You said it wrong.
Honest. I think girls think the same.
Okay, we were discussing from the video your thoughts. So where are we at? I think we're
no, we went this
I have
way.
no clue.
Okay, so
now they're going in different languages.
Oh, there we go.
But yeah, I mean,
Congrats on your
people are going to
diversity.
speak English even if they're from different cultures, whatever, because English is like the
So
love
do you guys have any
language.
demographics on your audience? Like, I'm just curious. Like,
Yes,
how many
we do.
okay? So is it equal across?
Worldwide.
It's equal though. Like, you have just as
Obviously,
many
the United
viewers.
States is the most in English-speaking countries, but we
Okay.
have a lot of people from the Middle East. We got a lot of people from Europe, all over South America.
Okay, so if
Africa
we're
as
looking
well.
at, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the sample we're looking at. That was my thing. And if it's equal from all parts of the world, then yes, I agree with you. If we're too even Western
So not in the
heavy
United
Western,
States.
It's so different.
Yeah, it's
like,
so
it's
different.
so different. Like I'm like,
Yeah,
in
that's what I
Sweden,
mean.
like here, like everyone here probably thinks we're like literally communists. Because we kind of are. But like it works. But like
I mean,
what works?
like how it is in Sweden. Like I love Sweden so much.
But why are you here then?
Like the experience, I need to see everything. That's how you get knowledge. You need to be like, you need to see every part, like even the opposite to know. You need to see everything.
Okay.
But it's just like in Sweden, they're literally like, I never had a man opening a door. Not even my freaking dad would like
Right.
open the door for me. Like no one. And like our girl pays for half.
Yeah, culture matters.
Yeah, but like I've never had a man pay for my date. They don't even bring you out on dates.
What's more attractive, when men pay for dates or when
To
it's
be
more
honest,
equal?
like now, because it's very exotic for me to have a man even opening a door for me. I'm like, damn. Like,
Go to Latin
So what do
America.
they do in Sweden? How do they act?
No, but
You
like, if
open your own
see a-
door?
It's like, no, but I don't even know, to be honest. Like they just fuck. To be honest, like they just fuck.
Yeah, I need to go to Sweden.
No.
Wasting time in America.
No, but you'll be dating a person for like 6 months, and you're like have seen each other's families, everything. You can basically say that you love each other, but you're still like kind of like sleeping with others, and that's okay because the hookup culture is like insane. But at the same
Right.
time, they're not gentlemen like here. But even the
Here?
mode, like the
Let me
worst
ask you
guys
a question.
ever.
What do you prefer more, the American men here that give you more chivalry or back there in Sweden where it's equal?
To be honest, I can't give you an answer.
What?
Because like culture-wise, like my morals is how I've seen it there. Like
But
I
what do you
don't-
like better?
Come on.
for fun now, how it is here.
So your boyfriend's fun?
He's fun, but he's an amazing person.
So do you prefer the guy that you're with here or your ex-boyfriend's back in Sweden that was 50-50?
No, my boyfriend here, of course.
You like him more than the ex?
I would never say that I like my ex more over my boyfriend.
Yeah, some,
right?
some girls like their ex more than the guy that they're with a lot of the times.
that's sad.
Is he black or white?
He's Cuban.
So do you prefer the more gentleman treatment that you're getting here in America?
To be honest, yeah, because like I was more masculine when I was younger. I was like the tomboy. Like I played all the sports. I only had brothers. Yada yada.
Miss
But, like-
Lawyer, please explain to me how she grew up in an egalitarian society where everything was equal, yet she's still here in the United States and she wasn't programmed with any of the chivalry, whatever, and she prefers the chivalry that's enjoyed here.
Well, the way to explain that is, yeah, because she's getting like, yeah, if I went to a country and men were just like bringing me cake every day, I'd like that too. Like, what are you asking?
No, but like,
No, what I'm saying is that because you were saying that, oh yeah, like we are we're evolved, we're different, like we have modern conveniences,
Yeah.
etc. She grew up in one of the most egalitarian societies in the United States where men and women are completely equal.
Yeah.
Doesn't know about chivalry and this other stuff. Comes over to the United States, prefers the man that gives her chivalry. Wouldn't it be fair to say that it's biologically rooted in her to want a man that could provide chivalry, leadership qualities, etc.?
I think it's biologically rooted in all of us to get if we can get more out of someone, we want it. Yeah. But would you give up, like, for instance, like if he acted like them, would you like that? Or would you rather be with the men in Sweden?
Like, disclaimer, he's Cuban, so I feel like that's different.
Yeah, but I mean, is that like, is it like,
She already answered it. She's getting a more traditional man and prefers that over the egalitarian society she came
I'm
from.
asking her a question. So if this man who opened your door, but one of the byproducts of him opening the door was that he wanted, like like that example earlier where he expects sex, otherwise he leaves and he comes back, and then you're like, is that worth it to you?
If it's the both extremes, I would prefer a Swedish
Sweden,
man.
yeah, exactly.
I would. If it's both extremes, you can meet in the middle. But then,
You qualified the question to try to go ahead and fit your parameter.
Yeah.
No, what it simply is that given all the totality of the circumstances in Sweden versus the United States, she prefers a man from America that gives her more traditional treatment, which contradicts what you said before. We're evolved, etc. What I'm saying is that
women care
hold on.
about it less.
What I'm saying, attraction and arousal is biologically rooted in females to look for a man that has certain qualities regardless of how they're raised. So what I'm trying to say is this: men and women are not equal, even though you're trying to say they are, because women are hardwired for traits in a man that make the man unequal to her. As a matter of fact, I would argue
Unequal
women
in
look
what way?
Women want a man who's superior to them in every way.
So is it? So what about, you just said looks? She's supposed to be more attractive than you, so she's not superior in looks, is she? Because you guys want, if you're saying like a 40-year-old man wants like a 19-year-old hot chick when he's hot and he's rich and he's successful, but she's still more attractive than him, no?
Nice try. I said superior in utility.
You said in every way.
In every way. Height, income, competence,
But not physical attractiveness?
protection, provisioning, etc.
But not physical attractiveness?
I mean, that's subjective.
You just said every way.
Yeah, but okay. Well, you picked one of the many things that I mentioned.
But I don't think it's superior in every way. You're just selecting for different traits. If it's some 55-year-old man and he's an 18-year-old girl, she's giving up being with an attractive man because he has status, resources, and I guess opens doors for her.
What does she want?
What do you mean, what does she want?
Money.
That girl probably wants money. That's why she's using him for that.
No, but like also like it makes, like, I'm not gonna lie, like as I'm saying, like I prefer how it is over
Incredible.
there in general.
You prefer
Yeah,
Sweden in general?
in
Okay.
general. But
There we go.
But I'm just saying it makes me feel
She's
more
contradicting
feminine.
herself.
No,
Does
no,
the
but it
Cuban
makes,
guy have papers?
what do you mean?
Like, was he born here?
Yeah.
Or in Cuba?
Yeah, no, he's born here.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, it makes me more feminine, and like I never thought I wanted to be like feel more feminine. I was always like, oh, equal this, equal that.
Why
and
does
like,
it make you more feminine?
It just because he's giving me the like
He's treating her like a traditional female,
Yeah.
which is what she likes. So you like being more feminine.
yeah, and I never
Okay,
thought I
that's
did.
what we're saying.
So
That's
that's
the
what I'm
point.
saying
You like
too.
it
I didn't
here.
say it.
Goodness.
That was it.
You
What?
like it here.
What?
It's just too
No,
Incredible,
in
bro.
general,
Yeah.
like it's not
Incredible.
only this.
Listen,
It's very simple. You grew up in an egalitarian society where men and women are equal and they treat each other as such.
Yeah.
You come over to the United States and you get a taste of a traditional relationship where the man is a leader, he's giving you chivalry, he's treating you like a lady, you're able to be in your feminine and you're more happy. That proves my fucking point that I've been trying to say the entire time.
That
Men,
proves?
stop. Men and women are not equal. If everything was, the reality is men and women aren't equal. Women want a man who's better than them in every regard, and they want a man who can give them chivalrous treatment regardless of their education,
is proof?
socioeconomic status, etc. It's just
Yeah.
one of many. It's
Yeah,
one
but
of.
that's not like a scientific proof. I hope you know that. Like saying this proves, like I don't know how you're like.
I mean, that's pretty valid. You got a woman coming from one of the most
a sample
egalitarian.
size of
Hold on,
one.
hold on, hold
A
on.
sample size of one.
No. But what I'm trying to say is that it proves my point that biological hardwiring
It doesn't prove it.
trumps. Evolutionary, what you're trying to say, adaptations, just because we have modern conveniences, whatever. Women are still attracted and aroused by what they're attracted and aroused by, regardless of time.
No, our ability to reason as human beings does move. So, for instance, racism is something that racism is evolutionary. and-
Attraction isn't a choice.
What do you mean attraction?
Attraction isn't a
Neither
choice.
is in-group bias, neither is kin selection, neither is group selection. Yet we use the moral insight to not be racist came from our ability to think rationally. You have your primitive brain, you have your conscious reasoning brain. Your conscious reasoning is there to check your primitive brain. You may be like, oh, I just want an acquiescence to my apehood, but a lot of men don't like that. A lot of men don't think like that's not critical thinking, in my opinion. That's all I'm saying, and that's not actually my.
you just called me the N-word?
Keyword in your opinion.
What?
That's messed up, man.
Again, I use her as an example to illustrate my
But
point.
that's not a proof. An example isn't proof. That's what.
No. But regardless, women
is
in
not
general don't want a man who's equal to them. Even though you're trying to say men and women are equal, they're not. And I would argue women don't want a man who's equal. They want a man who's superior
And you're superior in certain ways, I would say.
in all the most important and tangible ways.
I don't think so.
Sorry. Yeah.
Competence, strength,
We want
provisioning,
that, but they're not
security.
superior.
It's
So
like
They
tangible
don't.
assets.
But that's the thing. A lot of people like equal, or they like
You want
men.
a guy your height? You want a guy your strength level?
Okay, brute force is
Okay,
no
there
brute
you
force
go.
is the one thing because
There you
and
go.
that matters less and less. I know you guys have some weird apocalyptic fetish. We're like, oh, we're not at war with our neighboring village. I don't need the strongest, biggest guy.
Yeah,
I
it
want a
doesn't
guy who has
matter. It
emotional.
doesn't matter until it matters.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
When it's
well,
life and death,
I don't
like-
know what's going on in Miami, but in my life, I'm not at war with my neighboring village. No one needs to know how to use a sword. Like this is just not a thing in 2023. I'm not hanging off a cliff. No one needs to save me. I'm going to Sephora and Trader Joe's. I don't know what exactly you're supposed to be protecting me from, but okay.
If we go into war and back to uncivilized matters, you're gonna want a man to be strong there for
Okay,
you.
so-
See that again. It doesn't matter until it matters.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the argument
Yeah,
here.
but we're in 2023. It's mattering less and less, which is why gender roles are
Okay. It matters less and less, but you still want a guy that's stronger and bigger than you.
I'm 5 feet. So I mean that's just almost default. But
Proves okay. But
I don't care about the strongest, biggest guy. I'd rather have a guy that's like 5'5".
you still want him better than
intelligent.
you.
I want him stronger than me.
You want him better than you.
I don't want him smarter than me. I don't want him richer than
Or you
me.
don't want him smarter than you.
You just said
No.
earlier you want him smarter than you.
Yeah,
I
you
want
said
not smarter, at least as
You
smart.
said
Yeah.
intelligence.
intelligence.
I'm looking for intelligence, but he doesn't have to be.
Oh my God,
more-
bro. Okay, we can move on.
This is yeah.
Okay,
Argue and
so
argue.
we were at for the question of the video. How?
Go ahead. It was the
She
No.
was at her.
Her, right?
You.
Yeah.
Okay.
She already went. It's her.
Okay.
You
Your
can skip
turn.
me. You can skip me.
You forgot. But-
I have a headache.
No, I'm not gonna. That was a lot.
I have a headache. I've never had a
Let's
headache on
move
the
on.
show.
Holy shit, bro. Okay, chats.
Wait.
Yeah, we can hit the chats. What?
What happened, Chris?
What?
What? What do we?
What's funny?
What happened, bro? What did we miss?
I saw her on Twitter.
Me?
What's your tweet?
Her.
Yeah,
And
check out my Twitter.
your first photo is.
We can't show it.
Sorry.
What is it?
Check out my Twitter.
No, fine.
No, don't get canceled.
You can't show it. It's all nudes. I mean, you can. You're on the
All right, go ahead.
You have all nudes on your.
No.
You can't make this shit up, bro.
No. Yo,
Honey, your girlfriend.
Is she online? Since men are equal, since you think men and women are equal, let's say a guy decided to leave being a lawyer and just wanted to show his dick all over the internet. You think he'd be able to run up his OnlyFans?
That doesn't mean that they're not equal.
They're not.
That's
my
one
point.
aspect. Yes, men are stronger than women. They're unequal in that one area, but that doesn't mean they're unequal in general, right?
No, they're absolutely unequal in general.
Okay, well you didn't show me that. You just said that because men are stronger, and I just told you, I want someone stronger than me and taller than me, but I don't need somebody that makes more money than me. I don't need somebody that has higher
Okay,
status
just
than me.
because you don't want it doesn't mean a majority
And
of women
just
don't want
because
it.
she said something doesn't prove your point either. You're looking at one example. So right now we're at 1 and 1.
She's just one example of the general that women want a man who's going to adhere to traditional traits.
Some women do, some women don't.
A majority of women would prefer a man that's going to be a breadwinner, a leader, a protector, and a provider. Just because you don't want that doesn't mean other women don't want
Yes,
that.
I understand. And just because I agree with you. That's one example. And so earlier when you said her one example proves a point, one example is one example. I'm just asking that we make
It's one example out of a general fact that women prefer a man that's a protector, provider, and provisioner. That's what I'm saying.
But one example doesn't prove that. You have to prove the general. You can't just use one example to prove the general. That's not how that works.
Okay,
That's
next
why
question.
you gotta argue
Next
about
question.
everything. I'm just when they ask me to do something and they're
Listen.
asking me for stuff.
You came ready, we know.
All of
Yeah.
your
No, she didn't.
all of your arguments are destroyed by your Twitter. Bro.
So that's an ad hominem. That's just not even like
No,
my
no,
claim
I-
is a claim.
I didn't say anything to tell you. Look, I just say your Twitter destroys everything.
I mean, if you can't even acknowledge, you've not even been able to acknowledge basic facts when it comes to intersexual dynamics. If you can't even acknowledge that women in general prefer a man that's a protector, provider, and provisioner, like
Yeah, in general, that's true. But like
That's
what
what I'm
I'm
saying.
trying to say though is that a lot of
she exemplifies that.
No, a lot of women, if they have a choice between like what you say of like this is masculinity, this is what you're choosing between this, I'm protecting, I'm providing, but then we're not equal and I can go fuck around and you can't, or it's 50-50, especially women who have the ability to take care of
The
themselves.
whole thing
they're
of
not
me
gonna
going
take
out and fucking around, that's my specific situation.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I know. See, I just fucking caught you. You like to throw in little things in there to try to substantiate your argument more. I'm simply saying the traits I specifically named: leader, protector, provider. We're not talking about Myron Gaines. We're talking about men in general. What do women want? I'm saying most women want that in a man. That's all I'm saying.
And
So just
that's
because
because
you
she-
don't doesn't mean that a majority of women don't want it.
I want someone who's going to be a protector and provider, and by that you mean they make more money than them and they open doors.
That's a
Yeah.
component.
Okay, I'll say that a lot of women like men who open doors for them. Yeah, chivalry's nice. but-
Yo, you just took up an hour of the show. Yo, let's move forward, man.
Yeah.
Move forward.
Chris, rumble rants, bro.
It's the frontal
Oh
lobe.
yeah. Sorry. I had to like.
Yo, I got like a. I'm losing brain cells, bro. Holy shit.
So
Venom.
am I.
That Oracle Twitter account explains why Elon Musk renamed the X. Holy. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of wild, bro.
I didn't see
bro.
just nudes?
Yeah.
It's just nudes? I was focused on
It's like
She busting it wide open, bro.
it's like
You have sex on your Twitter too?
Not always. Maybe I put clips. Yeah.
bro. It's a free OnlyFans.
Yeah, it is. But the OnlyFans is way more.
Yo, can you imagine her going to a function with her man and they say, "Oh, what does she do for a living?" Oh, she's an ex-lawyer, but she does videos online. Oh,
Bro.
What's her videos? I'm gonna look it up. Twitter. Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God,
true.
Johnny, this is your wife,
Bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
bro.
And if you're out with a girl and they're like, "What do you do?" I talk shit about women 12 hours a week. That I'm not saying no women are gonna like that.
We tell women the truth to their face, like we're telling you right
Yeah,
now.
I understand, but
Not
that's
only that, you're missing the whole daytime show where we talk
that's why I
about
said 12
money,
hours.
real estate,
Monday, Wednesday,
Friday.
Friday, 3 hours each. That 3, 6, so 9 hours. Sorry.
Actually, we help women become better. What do you do? Help men become worse.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, revolutionary. Repeating my $20 rant, Institute for Family Studies, multiple sex partners prior to marriage, reduce marital equality for women, but not men.
That's not
Checkmate,
true.
case
That's
closed.
not true. Everyone look it up. If your audience, if you know how to do that, you should look it up.
Okay. Well, he's refuting your argument. Goose says, men can't show emotion. When my grandpa died, I happened to be drunk like that, I guess. I'm broke down crying. My wife thought she was the boss and taught until I had to check her ass. Never show emotion in front of a woman. I think your grandma's a little bit messed up here, but he's just saying, for example, he cried when his dad died, and then I think she took it as weakness. Venom said, no. Mike says, make the girls call their guy best friends and test their loyalty. No, we don't have time for that right now. Young Flem says, Mr. Colin, want to say y'all changed my life. I'm 5'7", 220 pounds, fat soldier in Korea during COVID, depressed, now 180, 10K a month, DOD contractor, 50K in checking accounts. Love y'all, no homo. Shout out to you, bro, for improving. J10 says, save this question. Myron or Fresh, rate the girls strictly off looks, and both of you pick 2 that are wife material and 1 that's for the streets.
Okay.
I'm for the streets?
Oh, I didn't say anything. I just looked at you.
I'll take
Mr.
that. I don't want to
Press
marry
says,
you.
Who said I want to marry you?
Yeah, I know. So I'm saying we're on the same page. It'd be
but-
sad if one of us wasn't. So good.
Well, I mean,
No, I
wait, Fresh. Who picks though?
Huh?
Who picks to actually ask each other
Oh,
to
yeah,
be
you're
married?
right. So he's saying in general, who decides who's going to be married or not? And it's the
Yeah,
man.
but I mean, the
So you-
men that wouldn't ask me, I would decline anyway. But so it's not. That
Yeah,
painful.
but
No,
the
but
man
he
has
has
to
to ask,
ask
though.
you though.
Are you going to get on
I
one
don't
knee?
want you to ask me.
Just
No,
read
but I would never ask you.
Okay, I'm for the streets. I know you already picked me.
No,
That's fine.
I didn't say that. I just said that I'll never.
Okay.
Yo, Myron, you want to do this one, bro?
What?
Real quick. Chris, show the previous one.
Yep.
If you don't mind. It says, save this question. Myron and Fresh, rate the girls off of looks, and both of you pick 2 that are wife material and 1 for the streets. That's pretty funny. But we could
Okay.
later.
At the end? Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Prez. FNF, 28 years old, 200K income, 140 weight, 5% body fat, in the process of diversifying my income and building an empire, and still get shit on by women because I'm 5'5". Modern women are shallow. Focus on yourself. Wansa says, remember Kevin Samuels died at 53 of heart-related issues, sipping Red Bull and staying up to wee hours of the morning, hurting his brain with nonsense. Take care of yourselves, FNF and Mo. Okay. Rest in peace. Houston, Atlanta, Vegas says, ladies, let's cut the crap. Y'all are independent and proud. What's your body count? If you don't want to say it, what's your excuse? None of your business doesn't count.
They should have put theirs in that comment, so we can know theirs as well.
It's probably low.
What's your
Wait,
body
us?
No,
People
the
that I
Houston
wanted to sleep
guy.
with, probably, I'm going to say around 10. I don't know how many people I slept with because I used to be a prostitute.
She belongs to the streets.
Why would you say that?
I mean, she's honest though.
I like the honesty.
All right.
Why'd you stop?
I don't want to live that life anymore.
Why?
It's a lot of damage, a lot of emotional damage,
Lot of cocks.
physical damage,
Yeah.
a lot of cocks. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of cocks.
Okay. What about you? Body count.
I don't want to answer these questions.
What's your excuse?
I don't know. It's just too much for me. I'm not gonna answer.
Body count.
I'm 38, so I'm like a decade more than like everybody here.
Mm.
So I feel like on the average of 3 people a year, starting at 21, I'm now 38. I mean, you know,
Do the math.
do the math.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay. Times 10.
All right, what's the number? Somebody do the math.
Do the math for us,
Look at my
guys.
calculator.
Do the
Between
math, guys.
21 and 38, 3 a year,
17 years?
minus
Bro.
the 3 years I was married. Boom.
I mean,
Do the
Three
math.
a year?
bro, that's like
3 years not bad.
it's a whole person though.
Wait,
Like,
so you're telling me
if
3 a
I'm
year
dating
from 20?
from
21.
21 minus the 3 years I was married,
48.
and the last for the last 20 years, that's not a whatever. fuck it.
20 years.
We're going off of three only.
I'm 38.
Like 50. All right, like yeah, like 48 to 50, and then that doesn't include all the guys that she didn't count. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
facts.
All right,
I feel
cool.
like that's an accurate number.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. We'll give it to you for now.
Whatever.
What about you?
2.
Stop
See,
the
they're like
cap.
12. I feel like that. Mine is not doesn't count.
But mine is 2 also. It is.
It is
200.
2.
Stop the cap.
Don't play with me. 2.
Wait. 2 at the same time or?
Oh, okay.
Remember, I'm only 22 years old.
That's what I'm
Oh, yeah.
saying.
I'm only 22.
Get to my age.
There's girls that get 22 in a semester.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
I wasn't out of there in high school. I wasn't really doing all that.
I started late and I caught up.
I mean, chat saying you're like 26.
Who was 26?
You.
I'm 22 years old.
I mean, they say you're 22.
I was born in
Going on
2000.
26, so.
Okay.
2000.
What about you?
All right.
I don't know. I feel like I want to keep a few things private. It's my own privacy, you know. Like, but I'm very proud of
Is it over 10?
a little bit over. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
7.
100.
Stop the cap.
I mean, come on, man. Yo, you know what's the problem? Just to be frank with you, your Twitter, that 7 doesn't count.
Yo,
bro.
Yo.
Okay. You asked me my body count. I'm answering the question.
Fresh.
They're gonna assume the worst because of that.
Okay, I don't care what people assume.
Fresh.
Got it. Okay.
I've seen many girls on, show. Come on. Yo, your Twitter by far is the worst. I'm sorry to say.
Like, you mean what do you mean worse in what way?
Like,
I
you
Worse in
have
what way?
no clothes.
I thought he was like overreacting, but I'm not gonna lie. That's just kind of
Yeah,
wild.
I do porn. What did you think my Twitter was?
but
Nigga,
Twitter,
you said your wife material.
No, I didn't.
For a lawyer, you said you were.
I said that a lot of lawyers and
Bro.
people like the kind of men I like, liberal men that you're saying is so unattractive. I like those kind of men. They don't care about this shit.
liberal, like what? Don't
So
buy
they're gonna take you
clothes.
to family
The-
functions.
Yeah,
events.
because at a family function, I can if you took you to a family function, they took me to a I would be able to be in there a
do
lot
not
better
have
than
their
you.
family show.
I get that. But
Yes.
when they do research or find out who you are,
Like the guy, he talks about me to his family. He says what I do. They think it's cool. You guys don't get it. It's 2023.
Wait. But
they haven't seen it though.
But fresh.
do you mean?
If I was a girl, right, or a family, whatever, right, I saw your page. I pressed 3 buttons, right, 3 buttons, and you were like, boom, I'm like,
What's your point?
Yo, Shorty's getting dogged out in the second video, dog.
Bro,
She got fucked in the second video?
Yes,
bro.
Yeah, you should check my OnlyFans for the whole thing.
Nah, bro.
A lot
Bro,
of
you
your,
got dogged
a lot
out,
of your
man.
audience.
So does that count as your 7 or no? That's work related.
I will say
That counts as my 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
her doing that is actually pretty good for marketing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no,
She's pretty smart.
Oh yeah.
She ain't dumb. She knows what you're doing.
She ain't
All right.
stupid.
What about
I do
you?
well.
Oh no,
I'm sure you do.
we can tell. What about you?
Me,
Body count?
oh, I'd rather not share that.
¿Por qué?
I just don't feel
She's
like
30
it.
years old.
Yeah.
Sí, claro. Okay.
Yeah.
Spend time in, Venezuela mostly. Is it over 10?
No.
No.
Stop the
No
cap.
bueno.
No.
Así.
All right.
Por favor.
I peg it at like 20
Yeah.
at bare minimum. All right.
10.
What about you?
No, I'd rather not disclose. Cause like
Is it over 10?
No, it's not actually. But
Stop the cap.
I'm not lying, but I just rather not say that because like why did the person ask the question up include theirs? Like they should have been like, oh, I have like this many body counts.
I mean, he's a dude though. Dude,
Okay, so
dude's body
I
counts?
mean, like he's asking us.
Okay, so this is you guys
kinda
said you
disrespectful.
guys care about body count, but then she only had 7, and clearly I'm at 40.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you said her Twitter, you would have. Oh, she's a hoe. I'm not.
Here's the issue, right?
You see what I'm saying?
It's about
So
perception.
is it body count?
No. It's perception
Physical?
because, for
So then it's
example,
not body count.
I can't tell by looking at your body count. I make an assume your age, but with her, if I
It's
can
out
see
there.
visually online what's happening,
But that's different. So physical body count versus perception. You
Yeah.
said, "Oh, guys care about body
So
count." Body count.
perception is
But no
what
one's
really
walking with
together
a
because
post-it
the-
with a
yeah,
body
the-
count in their forehead.
the perception is high body count. No matter if I can see it or not, it's because online they can see visibly or
So perception is what
Assume.
matters.
100%.
Right.
So not body count.
Exactly, which is the point.
But-
You were wrong.
but-
Perception
Mention
or
about
body count.
But only because there's no body count figure on your head telling me what your body count is. I can only assume for what I see.
So yeah, so it's perception. That's what she's saying. She's saying
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
perception of body
But
count,
the
not actual
underlying
body count.
tone or the underlying foundation is the body count.
But it's not the actual body count.
You know,
it's the
it is.
perception.
How old are you?
Because no one's ever really gonna know. You can
How old
lie
am
about
I?
it.
28. Why?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Women absolutely know that their body count is 100% to some degree tied to their value as a female and their ability to find a man. That's why a bunch of girls didn't want to disclose it, lowered it, or just didn't, or gave some other number.
Or because
Women
they don't
know-
want to get roasted.
Well,
What do
okay,
you
but why
mean?
do they get roasted?
Because your audience is the type of.
It's not about the audience. In general, women know that their body count reflects their value in the dating marketplace, which is why women keep that number close to their chest.
No, but it's your sexuality usually.
And who can
You're allowed
you
to be
that what
private.
people
No,
Exactly,
no. But here's the thing.
disclose
I
that.
get it. But here's the thing. Why is it private for a female? Why is it so important for it to be private?
No one is
It could be
asking
private for
guys
you
all
too.
the time.
but no one asking you.
Outside of the podcast. First
Yeah,
nobody
exactly.
asks this in real life. You'd be a lunatic
Yeah.
if you asked
Look,
that.
look. Ladies,
it's a
ladies,
perception,
ladies.
but it's not a question.
Look, my main point I'm trying to make here is that your body count absolutely matters to a man that's going to want to take you seriously in the future.
Does it goes on the birth certificate or something?
You're trying to say it doesn't matter?
Like, I don't know.
Hold on, let her answer. Do you think it matters or not?
If I'm marrying someone or if I'm gonna be with someone, I'm going in with it for the future, not looking like everybody has a past. And
I don't
people
care
can-
what you want. Does it matter to the man?
Maybe, but how do you verify that? You don't have an Instagram check or like
Hold on. Why is it that you didn't want to say it?
I just don't feel like it, and like
you don't feel like
yeah.
Listen, I said it last week, and it's your personal sex life.
No, hold on. Why don't you feel like it?
I don't know. I just don't feel
I'll tell you
like
why you don't feel like it. Because you know that if you disclose your body count, it's going to hurt your ability to potentially find a man later. That's why.
Are they gonna watch this?
Who knows?
You never know.
Who knows? But if it's on the internet forever, and like, ladies, you're gonna sit here and play a bunch of bullshit and like, no, it doesn't matter, blah blah blah. But each and every one of you stuttered or gave another number, blah blah blah, or didn't want to disclose it fully. The reason why is because it's an uncomfortable conversation for women to have, because you know your body count absolutely is tied to your value as a female to some degree. Most importantly, to a man that you want. Men care about this shit.
Do you ask women this up front or no?
No.
Look, I've said it
Why?
last time on the show.
Because it's
and my
weird.
boyfriend
It's
got
asking
mad.
you
That's
what's
why I
your
don't want to
body
say
count.
But why is it weird?
That's why I'm
That's
asking
why
you.
I'm
If it's
just
not
quiet.
important to me, but it's important to you to ask. I'm wondering. It's weird because it's not pertinent information, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
you
it's
think
not-
Hold on.
it's
It's not pertinent to you, but it's
but
pertinent to
yeah,
men.
so why don't men ask? Why is it a weird thing to ask women?
Do you know
you
why?
need to ask them. What the fuck?
What?
Common sense. Yo, you got to go to the bottom line. Why is it taboo for men to ask this, and why do women not want to answer it? That's the question. Why?
Society.
It's because women know deep down being a whore is socially unacceptable, and if they reveal a number, whatever it may be, it might make them look like a whore, so they'd rather just not do it.
No, I just don't have to answer
your
the question
partner
to
will
some
be
dude behind
embarrassed.
a computer, like asking me that. Like,
But why don't you
why
want to
does
answer
he
it?
want
It's
to
like
like intrude
relative.
into my
I'm saying
personal
if it's
sex
not
life?
weird,
why is
why
it
don't
an
you
intrusion?
Huh? Because it's personal sex life. Like
Yeah,
that's
why don't you
It's
ask
like, it's
women
also
this?
what he's
relative,
saying,
like
though.
the numbers.
If it was
No.
so like not issue, you would just say it. But because of your personal sex life, it could affect it. You don't want to answer it.
Yo,
Why don't you guys ask it anyway, though? Why don't you ask it?
Well,
if it's so important and it's so
what is
normal and it's not a
yours?
crazy
First
weird
First
question.
off, women lie about the number, 100%.
So you don't want to put it as one part of the inquiry?
No, we don't ask. However, your actions
you see the
can
chat, Chris?
tell
sure.
on some level how you were from the past or currently.
They're missing.
Why
They're
not? Why
missing the
don't you
entire point of the question.
Mm.
It makes you uncomfortable because you know that your value is tied to your amount of partners.
Could it make
It's
you
not-
uncomfortable because it's just a, like
No.
if it's not a because I think it's just a weird question. Now you
Yeah.
and a lot of people in real
But
life
ask
don't
yourself,
ask
why
it.
is it a weird
though?
question?
Why is it
because
weird?
I
In your
think it's weird
20s,
because
yeah.
it's
Peel
not
the layer
pertinent
back.
information.
Why is it weird? Why is it
Because-
taboo? Why does it
Yeah,
make
I
you
know, but
uncomfortable?
that's-
Okay,
Why?
I'll tell
It
you.
is fucking
If a guy asks me that, I think he's crazy, and that's
Because
what makes
you're,
me
like,
uncomfortable.
weird.
Crazy?
Yeah, I'm like, I would not want to talk to him anymore because he obviously has different values than me. He cares about things I don't care
Exactly.
about.
That's why guys don't ask.
Yeah.
Well, they should if they care. Why put
No.
like if you care about it,
But-
then put your values on the
but notice,
table in the
right?
front.
I mentioned
Front.
earlier perception. So
Yeah.
by default, he's going to say, you know what? All right, I won't ask the question, but I'll look around and see what her life is like outside of this.
Well, even
And
if you
then
don't want to
they-
believe her answer, it's one part of the inquiry.
Hold on. And then they see Twitter,
Yeah.
OnlyFans, they see you on
OnlyFans,
planes, you may
IG.
get on
Well, then don't you
Lambos,
want to see if my
and then
answer? Yeah.
they assume, okay, high body count, shoot for the streets.
That's
Oh,
not my question. My question is this. If this isn't a weird question, this is totally normal. Men should care about this. I'm not saying they have to believe the woman's answer up front. I'm not even saying that perception isn't more important. But it shouldn't be strange of you guys to ask women these questions if it's such a normal and okay thing to worry about. Now, they may lie to you and you
just
may
said
not
it.
believe them.
You just said it.
What did I just say?
You just said if someone asked you that question, you would cut them off.
Yes.
So
And
then if a guy doesn't want to lose you, he wants to smash you, he's going to say, you know what? I want to ask.
these guys wouldn't smash me anyway. But I don't think like
They would.
isn't this scarcity mindset, guys? If you, isn't this scarcity mindset?
Most
Why don't-
guys, if they can talk to a girl and get her in a place where they might be able to smash, they don't want to fuck it up.
So you're saying the reason you guys don't, so I think that's fair to say that the reason guys don't ask because it makes you look crazy, and a lot of women don't like that. That's true.
But they're going to go ahead and try to ascertain on their own what your body count is based on your behavior, the way that you act, your past, etc. They're going to go ahead and do their homework and figure out where you stand. Whether they overtly ask you or not, they're going to do their own independent investigation and figure out, okay, I want to commit to this girl, make her my girl. Let me make sure that she's not a fucking slut. Let me do the whole facts. Men absolutely have a stake in a woman's past. That's just the way it is.
If these women, if these are righteous women and these are righteous men, let's say they're both like whatever, I think it's totally fine to be like, hey, I value sexual purity. It's important to me to know if you also value that. How many men have you been with? Do you value
sexual purity is more important?
No, I'm saying the man should ask the woman this question. You're saying that, but you're saying they shouldn't because it affects their ability to get laid.
You just answer your own question.
If it's a woman, that he wants to settle down with, that's my question. If it's a woman that he wants to settle down with, and it's a woman that
are you for real?
Yeah, if it's a woman that he wants to settle down with, why would he not express that this is important to him?
Bro, you just took 2 hours, man.
I mean, I'm just okay. I mean, I would ask you a question. And you're saying if it's a woman he wants to settle down with,
you answered it.
What? Because he won't get laid. But if it's a woman he wants to settle down with, and it's a woman that he believes shares her values, like she's a virgin, right? I think if a guy went on a date with you and they're like, "Hey, shut up." No. I don't even know who said that.
We're gonna move it along. God damn, move it along.
Oh wait, hold on. That what does it mean, fresh, right? Welcome to Dealing with Women.
Yo, that was not us, right?
Wait, this one doesn't talk.
That wasn't us.
None of us know who she is.
What? Who's she talking to?
I don't know who said that. She's trying to tell me.
I said shut up.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you're driving me fucking crazy.
Yeah, you don't say anything.
Okay. I know you came here with your little notes to be a smartass, but just shut the fuck up already.
Oh shit! You can leave if you're upset.
I'm not upset. You just don't know when to shut up. Like you want so much attention. Shut the fuck up.
I'm just answering the questions.
Okay,
I'm going
good. You answered it. You answered your own question. Shut the fuck up.
No. Now what? Why don't you speak? You have anything to say?
That goes. Sorry.
Commercial breaks.
This is a
segue.
Hey, sorry, fresh mind.
Get this going.
We got W's in the chat.
Man. She said what the chat was thinking for a minute. Okay, cool. Last couple of chats here. And then
sure.
We can't even agree on like basic concepts.
I've never fought with nobody on this podcast
that are universally accepted.
You don't say anything. You told us in the lobby to just not disagree with them. So
no, you said that you were nervous, and I said, "Don't try to fight." Yes, you did, and then I said, "You said you were nervous," and then I said, "You said I came here because I'm a lawyer, and I want to. I'm gonna get on Myron's ass. I'm gonna fight with him."
I didn't say anything.
You said that. You said I'm ready. What are you saying? I told Icy before I even got on the thing.
Okay, she was with me the whole time.
Okay,
she just said I didn't say that.
What did you say? What did you say?
I said you were like, I was like,
You said you were nervous that you've never been here.
I said I've never been here,
and you acted like you didn't know what it was, but you do.
No, I didn't act like I didn't know what it was.
And then I said, if you're nervous, just don't say nothing stupid so they don't get on your ass.
I know what it was.
Wait, and that's all you know what it was.
She was here with me. She was here with me.
Did you not say that shit? No, I didn't even give a fuck. She didn't even give a fuck. I was getting
She was very straight up.
Yeah, she was very straight up.
Okay, you're a lawyer and you came here to argue.
I didn't say I'm coming here to argue.
Yes, you did. That's what you did.
They're with me.
Okay, so I don't give a fuck they're with you. I was there.
Okay, they were there too.
Makes you mad.
Yeah, because you're saying, I literally heard you say it. Like, the fuck? Did you hear what she said? Did you hear it? Because you're like the only honest person here.
I said that I'm probably going to be the one that's going to argue the most.
No, you said that you were going to come to argue, that you're ready, that you're a lawyer, that you can't look bad.
Hold on,
Wait, I never said that I can't ready to argue. These two were here. Didn't say anything.
If I were you,
yeah,
I won't take that from her.
What the fuck is she gonna do?
I wouldn't let that
Okay, so she lied. She's saying the truth. You're right. I don't give a fuck.
Why are you getting so emotional?
Because you're so fucking. I'm not exaggerating nothing. You're a compulsive liar. You said that shit. I don't give a fuck. Like I said, don't say nothing. You said you wanted to come here to argue.
I didn't say I came here to argue.
All right,
Back to class.
No, Fresh, you saw that shit.
I know.
Right, just like you didn't know what the show was, but you know all about the show.
I don't know what the show was.
So why were you nervous? You never heard about it. You don't know.
I said
Okay, so what did you say?
I heard the show. I heard of the show. I said I'm probably going to be the one that's going to argue with them.
No, you said you were going to argue with them.
I said
that you can't wait for Myron.
I said
you were saying a whole bunch of bullshit.
And then she said, "Oh, I hope Sneeko she does so I could say all this."
She was here with me.
I sat right next to
she
her.
sat
She
right.
didn't
No,
say
she
it.
said
She was right next to
She didn't say the Sneeko thing either. You're right.
They don't lie.
No, she was we were
These two were not even on the same side of the couch. She was sitting right next to me. She was right next to me. They said, "Do you think there's going to be any other men on?" I said on Monday, because I watched Monday's episode, Sneeko was on. I said I don't want John Zerka on because I feel like I'd be getting a lobotomy for 3 hours. But I said I don't mind Sneeko being on. That's what I said.
Yeah, bro, you were talking mad shit. I don't know exactly word for word you said because I stopped.
That
You said the whole thing about Sneeko. You said Myron that you can't wait to argue with him.
I just said I can't wait to argue with Myron. This is
in your own words that you wanted to fucking argue that you're a lawyer, that you can't look bad.
I said I'm a lawyer once. I never said I can't look bad.
I don't care. Even if you don't care.
Okay,
you guys could back up all you want. I don't care.
No, I'm saying, even if you don't agree with you, you're being very honest. Even the guys here can say that you're being honest.
Like, I mean, your behavior is kind of indicative of what they're saying.
That I just came. I disagree with Myron. I have fundamentals out there.
I mean, the thing is, actions speak louder than words. I would say that your behavior throughout the podcast adds credence to what they were saying, that you're coming here to argue, because you have made a bunch of bad faith arguments.
Before I even got on this podcast, ask Icy what I wrote her. Ask her. I wrote her, this girl says she wants to fucking argue with Myron. I
said I probably would. Here's the thing, Myron.
You said you were.
I have fundamental disagreements with a lot of the stuff you said on this show, so I knew we would argue. That doesn't mean I came here to argue. I actually came here just to grow my OnlyFans. I wouldn't come here otherwise. So that's what I'm saying.
You also said that too, that a lot of people subscribe and a whole bunch of shit.
But that's what I would. That's why I came. I didn't come to argue, but I knew we would argue, and I'm excited to argue. Actually, that's
you came here to argue
because I want to combat some of the rhetoric on this show. I want to combat the rhetoric. Yeah, that's what did you come here for? You just came here to sit around. What did you?
What are you talking about? You wouldn't shut the fuck up. You don't let nobody talk. You've been talking for 2 hours straight. What are you saying?
Yeah, you don't have shit to say.
Bitch, I'm saying stuff right now.
We're just getting yelled at.
Who did I get yelled at by?
The other guy was like, "Oh, you should know better."
Because I smoked the fucking vape inside the room. You stupid fuck. What are you saying?
Look, I'm just not.
What does that have to do with the fucking podcast?
I'm just saying I came here to grow my OnlyFans, and I came here to combat rhetoric. I don't know what you came here for.
Wait.
Oh my god, I can't with this bitch.
I told Cry to not hijack the show. I told you girls to not hijack the show. You hijack the show, right?
So okay, I will say I talk a lot. That's true. But that's not why I came here. I came here to grow
the 2 hours, you hijack the show, right?
Questions.
Sorry to say it, man. Come on, man.
Nobody else spoke.
God damn.
Okay, well, I'll just say, based off your behaviors, I would say that I think they might be telling the truth, honestly, because your behaviors are indicating on what they're saying, that you came here to argue.
I came here to combat your rhetoric and to grow my OnlyFans.
I didn't even know I was going to argue with you.
But you're not even arguing in bad.
I didn't know I was going to argue.
And before I even got on the podcast, I told Icy everything you said. So what are you saying? I'm not lying.
And they were actually right next to me, and they're saying you're lying.
They're kissing your ass. I don't give a fuck.
They're not kissing my ass.
I don't care.
They are.
No, they're
They've
not.
been kissing your ass the whole show.
You've been disagreeing with me too. Yeah.
She was just not
right
married.
next to me.
Hey, listen.
As Chris said, you hijacked the show.
Yeah. I mean, I think yeah, and that's fine. You know what I mean? I get it. You're coming on. You want to get some exposure.
Yeah.
Make some arguments in bad faith. Whatever.
They're not in bad faith. You think bad faith means I don't believe what? Like
you argue to argue.
I don't argue to argue. You don't know how to speak.
Bad faith. I said things that are universally accepted. That is the truth.
I'm pushing back on your shit. That's all.
Yeah, but here's the thing: are you pushing back because you actually believe what you're saying, or are you pushing back simply to just create an argument?
No, if you think for 1 second I agree with you, I don't. I'm being 100% honest. I don't agree with the things you say, and a lot of it is not based on science and logic.
I'm talking about specific points. Like, for example, I was saying that men in general don't want promiscuous women. I don't agree with that's not true. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, wow.
I do think that it matters what like the demographic we're talking about. about all that. So all I'm saying is like when you talk to her, I'm not arguing just to argue. I'm saying one example doesn't prove a broad generalization.
You only agree when you contradict yourself. That's the only time you fucking agree.
You don't say shit. You're fucking.
I'm listening.
Sorry, you're
you don't
stupid.
shut up.
You're
I'm stupid. I don't get supposed to slap the shit out of you after the show. I don't care. I bet you won't call me stupid when we walk out.
I won't what?
You won't call me
because
stupid when I walk out. Because I'll beat the shit out of you. Okay, so keep talking. Keep acting stupid. I don't care. This bitch is already annoying the fuck out of me.
No violence.
I have a headache.
No violence.
She's a smart ass. Like, okay, you're an OnlyFans whore. You got the exposure. Just shut the fuck up. I have nothing compared to you. I'm not fucking on my Twitter and acting like an angel.
I'm not acting like an
That's
angel.
the only thing you can do. You
Yeah.
can only slap her.
Yeah. You can't beat me in an argument. That's
You're right. I'll beat you in a fucking fight.
I will make sure.
Love and peace.
I can't.
You know what? Let's agree to disagree here. And
all the lawyers want to marry her. I know. She's wifey material. Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Let's move on.
Sorry, you're triggered.
That was a great ramble there.
Oh,
Full of shit.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
sick of it.
end the
Okay,
shit.
very interesting. Ladies, let's cut the crap. Y'all are independent and proud. Which no, that was from before.
Yeah. Moving on, Smiley.
Were these came in after the fact, Chris?
Yeah.
All right. Ladies, have you ever finessed a man from his resources, fresh or dabbling in the dark with Jasmine, and don't be afraid to play with me during the island on island in connection? Oh, that's from Fresh Balls.
Why?
No.
Will Fresh be number 8? No?
No.
Okay. All right, never mind then. Cam 2 times. Ladies, what ideal type of lady do you want your son to date in his 20s? He got his life together, her age, what's she doing for a living, education level, body count, and any other traits?
Nah.
Yeah, we'll move on, Cam. That's a long-winded question, my friend. Wait a minute. Guys, when you ask questions, try to ask once so it's nice and concise that we can go around the table on. Wait a minute. An OnlyFans girl, Jasmine, demanding sexual monogamy from a man. Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying before. Let that hypocrisy sink in. By the way, Jasmine is from that other podcast in Cali.
Whatever. Yeah. Check that out too.
No, it is whatever. Okay, let's go.
Far more professional. Less spelling errors in their pre-show information. Less spelling errors all over the podcast room. But sure.
Well, you don't go over there then.
Spelling errors. How?
Your pre-show information had a lot. Like I feel like someone should spell check it. Your bathroom sign says please clean up after your, and then it had a space self with an L. That's not how you. I'm just saying. Like,
It's common sense, all right? Relax.
No, it's. I mean, there's correct way to do things. That's all I'm saying.
You're
There's
so smart, bro.
I am.
Can I hit her?
No.
This is great.
She's common sense. It's so common, man. She's
the spelling. What else? You said
So
more
in your
professional? Go
pre-show
ahead.
information, you guys write please refrain instead of please refrain. Okay, that's one. You guys say loose opportunity instead of lose opportunity.
Mhm.
Your part about the bag will be searched. It should be searched.
Who sent you?
You tried so hard.
No,
Oh
I
my
just
God.
I like we were all my friends were laughing about it. That's why we know all this.
No.
Because you're a lawyer. Yeah.
All right, so
And, wait, who sent you the messages?
Whoever.
Who are
sends
your
the messages.
friends?
Who recruited?
manager was talking to me the whole entire time.
What was
So-
that? Huh?
No, it was from me. She was recruited from me because her manager was speaking to me the
Yeah.
whole entire time.
Her manager.
Yeah.
Okay. Her manager reached out to you.
So
All right.
this is something I've been sending to every single.
Yeah, I'm
female.
just saying
The
there are
first time I
errors
hear
in it.
Grammar errors and all this bullshit. So.
Hey, you showed up though, so.
Yeah, I showed up. Yeah.
What else is unprofessional? Go ahead.
Well, I'm not. Those were the main things.
Her being a lawyer.
Those were the main things. I just feel like if you're sending
talking about
information
it, bro.
out to every single person for 3 times a week, it should at least be spell checked. That's my point. That's it. And that
You're the
maybe if you have
only
a
one
sign
to
on
complain
the.
about anything and everything. So honestly, I'm not gonna listen to you if it's been working for the past 2 years.
Yeah, I mean it worked. I'm
I mean,
still
so
here,
yeah,
but
you're
I
here,
mean,
right?
it's just okay.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't know that you
It
wrote
doesn't
it.
matter. Move on.
Okay.
All right, anything else that's unprofessional?
Yeah.
I'm writing this all down, by the way.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No. That's it. Other than
Spell
that,
check.
other than that, I feel
Lawyer
like
/ prostitute.
everything other than that has been fine. But I just
my
feel like for people that talk about how like women are this and that, you guys should like read and use proper grammar in English. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we had women write us, so that proves my point even more.
Yeah.
How about the sign in the bathroom?
That's actually.
Nice try, though.
I mean, shouldn't you guys have some oversight?
Somebody tell me what's going on right now.
Maybe some oversight.
I mean, we don't. Me and Fresh don't deal with the recruiting.
You
at all,
don't go in
man.
the bathroom. That doesn't bother you. That's so incorrect.
Not really. I don't.
Okay.
my ex put that there. I mean, I don't know, man. We don't deal with that stuff at all. Like, we're just like we have our team deal with it, man.
Independent women's hands, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys can
That's fine.
figure it out too.
I mean, that's all.
We
That's
believe in
fine.
women.
No, but since I've been here, everyone, like, you guys have been really nice. The studio's beautiful. I'm
Don't
not
say that on
denying it.
camera.
And you guys, the
Of
studio
course.
is
We mean
the
people.
studio's absolutely beautiful.
Of course.
Everybody that greeted us was super kind. So that
Of
was
course.
the only thing.
The
So
fuck?
no, that's it. You guys, other than that, you guys have been great.
You know that young love song?
What?
It goes like, how does it go? Bitch like to argue, so send her to law school. That's literally you. All right, come on.
All right. What else do we got here?
Benedict Defender says, ladies, name 3 drawbacks from mandatory paternity testing or settle your feelings.
What? Drawbacks to mandatory.
What do we
Paternity
mean by
testing.
drawbacks?
Do you think men should get mandatory paternity tests when they have a kid with a woman?
Yeah.
If they're put on
If
child
they feel
support.
like it.
What do you mean mandatory?
So,
like
no
every
mandatory.
time?
I mean,
they-
every time you have a
No.
kid, you have to have your man test to see if it's his kid.
You have to. What if the couple just?
It's mandatory.
Word.
Then no. Why?
No.
Why put people through something that even the man and the woman don't want?
Okay.
Anybody think that men should get mandatory paternity tests?
Yeah.
One.
If they're gonna sign their birth certificate, they're gonna get the last name, no?
Okay.
Hmm.
Anybody else think there should be mandatory paternity tests? Damn.
Okay.
I think they're just tired.
Yeah. We got you guys.
I'm not.
Oh no, we're not. Okay. Houston Land in Vegas says, ask lawyer girl about her own dating history. Her own actions don't stand. Times are changing. Women are lowering their standards. I'm not in a relationship. I don't believe in marriage.
That literally is the same. Yeah, times are changing, so I don't really believe in marriage.
Would you?
Am I allowed to speak? She might get angry.
Well, no, it's not that.
Just when you're talking shit and you don't shut up. Like,
I mean,
I don't
that's
care
what
when
might
you talk.
happen.
I've heard you this whole time. I had never
Yeah.
interrupted you, but you just
You
don't
did.
stop.
You
You just
literally
want to be
screamed,
an
"Shut up."
attention whore, and I'm
They're
over it.
asking about me, but okay.
Okay, no,
Continue.
because you're talking and you're saying something about me. I haven't
All
said
right.
a word.
So she doesn't want to get married. What about who here wants to get married to a man eventually?
I do.
Everybody? Raise it.
Tomorrow.
Is that everybody? Pretty
Tomorrow?
much. Okay.
I'm indifferent.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, all right. And then you said you don't want to. Okay.
No.
So 2 girls on the panel don't want to. What I've come to realize is that typically most women do want to get married unless like there's some extraordinary life circumstance that hurts their ability to do so, and they kind of just cope with it, whether it's being involved in sex work or being older. No offense. You know, and it kind of like forces them out of the marriage market. But most girls, I would say, that are normal would prefer to get married to a man. I think for you, it might be an adaptation to your
But
current
I didn't
career.
want to get married even 3 years ago before I had an OnlyFans. I don't think relationships have to last forever to be successful. That's just not my beliefs. I also don't think it makes this idea. I'm not religious. I'm an atheist. This idea of like together till death do us part. Like, I think that's weird personally. But that's my personal decision. I always felt that way.
Okay.
I'm not speaking for anyone else, and I'm not knocking anyone who chooses to get married.
Do you think as you get older, you're going to want a life partner or no?
I think I want a relationship. I want meaningful connections. We're human beings, but that doesn't mean it has to last forever. We have to sit there through sickness
When
and
do you
health.
think you have the best chance to get a meaningful relationship?
Meaningful relationships? I think any age, but obviously
Because
I'll
you
be
have high
less attractive.
requirements.
Yeah, I think I like intelligence, and I don't think my intelligence is going to deteriorate, and I don't think theirs is. So
Yeah, but your looks will.
yeah, that's
and
true.
that's the main factor for men.
That's the main thing that gets me through the door, I think. But I
Yeah,
don't
but
think that's the thing
to
that I mean,
stay
you guys
there-
look how annoying I am. Would you guys want to be with me very long? No.
Facts. She wouldn't.
Yeah, she would definitely.
I think you're only annoying on the show because
Yeah.
downstairs you weren't annoying.
No, well, no, I'm saying okay.
I wasn't
you're-
talking to you downstairs.
Yeah, okay, you're saying you're annoying or whatever. So think about it. If your looks are going to fade as you get older, do you think men are going to be as likely to
The
tolerate
kind
your
of
annoying
men
behavior?
the kind of men that I like don't think I'm annoying, and they look for traits like
They're
this.
trying to
We're
smash.
witty.
Yeah,
We like to
trying to
work.
smash. I just want to smash.
Yeah, smash.
I mean, if you
Come
guys
on.
say that now, it's an
Yes,
unfalsifiable claim,
yes.
and that what are we
No,
arguing?
that's
I'm
not-
saying they don't want to smash. You're saying they do want to smash, and now it's just up to the metaverse.
No, I would say you would have a serious long-term boyfriend if they didn't just want to fuck you.
Yeah, and I've had serious long-term, like not like lifelong. I don't even believe in lifelong, but I'm
Okay.
saying
you
that.
would have a guy now is my point.
Do I have a guy now?
No, I said you would have a guy right now.
If what?
If if you were as high, like if you were as attractive and as marketable as a long-term girlfriend as you claim, like I get lawyers, blah blah blah, and they want me, all this other stuff, you would have a guy.
No, that's not true. My relation, like for instance, there's plenty of things that I want to work on, like going outside more, hanging out with my friends more. I literally put it on my to-do list, like text back some men, and sometimes I forget. It's just not a priority for me. Like it's like one piece of my pie. It's something I do want to work on because I think I don't go out a lot. I like just don't feel like it and it's something I should push myself to do more. But it's not something like my life doesn't revolve around being in a
You're 28 years
relationship.
old. Your value is only going to go down as you age.
Yeah.
And your ability to find a compatible mate is going to go down alongside it. Is my point. Men value beauty and youth. As you get older,
The kind of men who value beauty and youth don't like me any right now anyway. I'm 28 and I'm annoying.
Facts.
So there you go.
Facts.
Those men are already gone.
Yeah, facts.
At least you know.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So
my issue.
I think goes back to my cope. Sorry.
I disagree. Y'all are not going to shade me for my age.
Yeah.
If I wanted to be married, I just want to find a man. I could simply find a man who wants to be married back. I think this issue
Easier
is
said than done.
Yeah, I mean, you're older.
No, there's plenty of men who want to get
It's a
married.
question. You've met a bunch of men, right?
Absolutely.
But why have you married any of those men you met?
I have been married,
No,
and
no,
I
I
was engaged 2 years ago.
So what happened?
At 36?
What?
At
Yes,
36?
at 36.
So it clearly wasn't a man that you wanted.
Yeah. Why didn't you?
It didn't work out.
Because you were.
Because it didn't work out. I'm not going
Why?
to go into detail, but to say that I'm never going to get a man at 38
Yeah.
is crazy.
You're not going to get a man that you want.
No,
to want you
Marjorie
back,
Harvey
is my
met Steve
point.
Harvey after 4 kids, and
You're really using Steve Harvey?
I'm definitely.
But you're
Steve
not them though. You're you.
You're really using
Doesn't mean
Steve
it'll be
Harvey?
the same
Yeah.
path.
I'm
It
just
might even be
saying.
harder or
She is
impossible.
smart.
Or it might happen.
And
we
you're
don't
a
know.
woman.
Yeah.
Your value drops off as you get older. Like
Okay,
I
Kevin
like this
Samuels,
is just.
part 2. Let's not.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Are we quoting the dead now? Is that what we're doing?
No, I'm just simply saying that men are attracted to youth and beauty, and as a woman gets older, her ability to find a man goes down. It's just simple, man. Like you don't have the same value at 18 that you have at 38, unfortunately.
Okay. I have
in the
different
dating
values.
marketplace. You're not able
Yeah.
to command the same level of man that you
But to
would have
say
been
I'm
able to
never
command
going to
20
get
years
married
ago.
again is crazy.
We never said
We
that.
never
What
said
I'm
that.
saying is that
Okay.
your options of men drops off precipitously
Yes,
as
lower.
you get older, and more than likely, the man that wants to marry you at 38 isn't the man that you want back in return.
To be honest.
That's not true.
Attractive men
what
that
you're
have options don't
selecting
marry
for.
38-year-old women, man.
It's facts.
Attractive.
They just don't.
Yeah, with the
I think it
kids.
happens
Men don't bust their
sometimes.
ass, become successful, earn a bunch of money, etc., to go ahead and marry a woman that is older.
This is the thing.
they're
You're
older,
talking
yeah.
about people what you want.
There's guys that
There's
like
what
them
you want
older.
and what you actually
Right.
get. So of course a man is gonna
You
I want
have
her
2
young and
kids.
hot.
Chris.
Absolutely. So of course there's what you want and what you actually get, and that goes for men and women. So okay, a
And what
man
we're
may
arguing-
want them young.
Yeah.
And whatever, with no kids and no baggage, but they're actually going to marry someone with kids and baggage and
No.
bullshit. So there's that.
Nah.
If that were the case, you would have your dream man right now.
Facts.
Okay.
But instead, you're in a relationship with a guy that you're not aroused by, you don't respect, and you don't like
Yep.
that, and
Okay.
you're tolerating him for financial security.
Yep.
Let's keep it 1,000.
Okay.
You're in a
let's
relationship
keep
right
it
now with a
1,000.
man
Yep.
that you don't
What
even
if I-
like, and you're dealing with that
Yep.
because you don't have the same level of options in the sexual marketplace due to your age.
Yep.
When you were
Okay.
younger, would you have been in a similar circumstance? If a guy would just
I wish I would have been in this circumstance.
I wish, yeah.
I
wish,
the
yeah.
circumstance I'm in now younger.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Got him.
Well, women typically want to cope. Their life decisions put them in a certain predicament, and then they'll go ahead and cope off of what's going on, off that predicament, off of their life decisions. In other words, a girl will be involved in some type of behavior or action or profession that hurts her ability to find a man. Oh, I don't want to get married anyway. Oh, I don't need a man, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is you yearn for a man. You want a man that's stronger than you. You want a man that's taller than you. You want a man that can tell you, shut up, you're stupid. You want a man that can be that dominant leadership role. You're saying, oh, I like liberal men. That's a lie.
But 3 years ago, I said I still
Women
didn't
don't
want to
like
get
liberal
married.
men.
I didn't want to get married before I did sex work. So
Look,
how
look.
is it a cope?
It is a cope.
But if I didn't want it before I had the thing that would have made me lower value, I still didn't want it. I was super high value 3 years ago. I had no Instagram, no digital footprint. I was, I guess, a little too educated. But besides that, I had a body count under 10. What exactly would have been my impediment to securing said man? I just didn't want it.
Maybe they didn't want you.
And also,
But why?
Because men are the ones that give women relationships. You pick who fucks, men pick who they commit
So
to.
why didn't they want me if I wasn't a sex worker and I wasn't?
Could have been your career. It could have been
I
the
was-
fact that you were not an agreeable person.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so wait. So you're saying that that's my cope now? So it's not sex work. It's that I'm just so unagreeable.
It's a component. It's a component. Your cope now is a sex work, but before, guys didn't probably want to date you or take you seriously or commit to you because you might have not been a pleasant woman to be around long term.
They'll smash you, but not,
Men typically don't want to. Men typically don't want to be with a girl that's going to argue with them and challenge their authority all the time and try to compete with them, etc.
I
I know you're
know.
saying, "Oh yeah, I could get with lawyers, blah blah blah," but that's kind of competing, and men don't really give a shit about that. Men already got to go out into the world and compete. Last thing you want to do is compete with your girl.
But
So-
the stats don't. That's what I'm saying. saying. This idea that you guys put out that these men don't care about your education, they don't care about your intelligence, they just want to fuck the agreeable 18-year-old at CVS.
I
At
didn't
least
say
in
that.
royal world.
We never said that. Now you're going to the extreme.
Oh, wait. So you're saying that you said men do not care about your education level. They don't care about your intelligence. They care about you being young and agreeable. Is that what you said?
Men want peace.
Yes.
Okay, so
They want
since I
peace.
was 18,
You are not peace. You are chaos.
Attractiveness comes first,
Bro.
and then after the attractiveness, all the other things can come into play. But men don't have a priority on IQ and intelligence and education like women have on men. It's maybe fifth place for us versus it's like maybe first or second or third place for you guys.
For IQ?
Men don't care about females' IQ to the same degree that women care about a man's IQ.
They care about
men
his
don't care
ability to
about competence to the same level that women care about competence.
I agree with that. I don't think men
Okay.
care about competence
Okay.
the same way. I mean, women don't care the same way men do.
Next question.
What?
I mean, yeah, I agree with your last statement. I
Next
agree with.
question.
Yeah, I agree. Now you're mad?
You talk a lot, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm not mad.
You talk
I'm
a lot.
just- I think the girls are frustrated by
Not all of them.
Bro.
Okay,
Okay,
I think
Chris.
a bit more, but it's fine.
Oh, Chris took a hike.
Chris took a hike?
Nigga said I'm out of here.
Yeah, okay. Where are we at here?
Next one.
Okay. There's absolutely nothing ethical about a woman posting sexual content on OF.
To her it is.
Oh, yeah, because she was saying that watching pornography on OnlyFans is more ethical than watching porn.
Yeah, how is that false though?
No, please. Please.
I think he means that pornography in itself is not ethical.
Can someone defend that point? If we don't have to, I'm just.
We already did this one.
I mean, you think pornography is ethical?
Why wouldn't it be ethical? Why would OnlyFans be unethical?
Okay.
We did this.
If it's ethical, then why aren't you still a lawyer?
I am a lawyer
No. Why aren't you still a practicing lawyer, right? At a firm.
because I
Why
quit.
did you quit your job? But why did you quit your job while doing OnlyFans?
Because I was making what I would make in a year and a month. That's literally the reason.
So it was 100% financial.
100%
Okay,
financial.
so let me ask you this. Let's say you loved your job and you stayed there, right? And you were still doing the OnlyFans. Do you think they would have let you stay?
Be honest.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, you would have lost your bar.
Why is
probably.
that?
Yeah, but they like the only people I'm probably
why
more
is that?
hireable than is you two. Like you guys are doing something more controversial than I am.
No, but why is that?
What do you
would
mean?
they
Why is that?
fire you?
Because just like you guys get canceled all the time, I don't think that's fair. I don't like you guys getting canceled. This
Wait a minute. We're not in corporate America.
What do you mean?
You are. Or you were.
No, I were, and
Which
I
means
chose to leave
They
because
go
this
by
is
ethical standards,
Yes.
and the standard is if you do OnlyFans, you're being cut. So
no,
it's-
but so
it's
for
not
instance,
ethical.
that's why. So
It's
yeah,
not ethical.
it's not. That's not ethical. So for instance, your bar, that's character and fitness, they don't allow. I disclosed it to character and fitness. They still said I could be a lawyer because it's not moral turpitude. Now, a firm may have different standards. Just like a firm wouldn't hire either of you because you guys get online and say terrible things about women, which is okay. And you guys are like, well, I don't want to work in corporate America. Same with me. I don't want to work in corporate America either.
Hold
so
on.
the standard is different. Or it's
We're
what you
talking
guys
about ethics, right?
by that metric, you guys are unethical.
So
then.
company ethics don't relate to.
What? So then you guys are unethical
They
by that metric.
fired
They
nurses.
wouldn't fi-
Arguing they're ethical.
Well,
or
we
not.
never argued that we're ethical.
You are.
You argued that you're.
I don't think it's unethical, and I don't think so. This what I'm saying.
Nurses, teachers, they all get fired for being on OF.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree that it's not corporate standard.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is that doesn't mean it's unethical. Corporate world does not determine what's ethical and not ethical. That's an appeal to an authority, a weird authority at that.
They don't
corporate
want
world.
somebody who represents their company doing that.
That's true. But I don't think that means it's unethical.
Okay, but you're the company. They look at you and they see the company. They don't
That
want to see
doesn't
that
make
for the
it
company.
unethical. Who determines ethics?
They would fire you.
Who determines what
I don't
ethics
know.
are? Who determines what ethics are? Why did the ABA tell me I can't be a lawyer then? Because you have to have good moral character. You have to pass character and fitness to be a lawyer. I pass character and fitness. My thing is this. Oh, now we're getting into like philosophy. Who determines what's moral and immoral? It's not corporate America, because by that metric, you guys are more unethical than me. I don't think that's who's determining.
We're not the ones
We're not
arguing that
arguing ethical.
OnlyFans is ethical.
Yeah.
You made that argument earlier.
I'm saying that yes, it is ethical because I don't know why it's not ethical. And your only argument is because corporate America said so. That's why it's unethical.
So again, you're arguing who determines that.
Yeah.
Are you
Is it corporate? Okay.
The general public would argue that pornography is not ethical.
So this is an appeal to popular belief, which is a logical fallacy. Just because the
Wow.
world doesn't think this doesn't mean that it's unethical. You guys have to base your ethics in something. If you're just basing it on what more people believe, then what you guys are doing is super unethical because most people don't agree with you guys. Does that mean you're wrong? No.
You left your life for him because you
wins,
started
man.
over.
So majority wins. So if we polled the whole country, you guys would. Does that
So
mean you're
see-
wrong? No, because you're saying you're standing for the truth, even though the majority and woke America doesn't agree with you, right? That it doesn't mean you're
Getting
wrong
fucked
because
on camera versus being able to have uncomfortable conversations and tell people how the world really works, regardless of their feelings, are not the same.
I understand that, but to corporate
Whatsoever.
America, no, the corporate America, if that's the metric, they would much rather
No,
hire me.
it's
we
an
never made the
example.
argument that we're ethical.
No, it's an example. And
So
you're
who
atheist.
determines what's ethical and not
hold on,
ethical?
you're atheist.
Yes.
No offense to you.
Yeah.
But your ethical standard isn't even a representation of most people. Because
It's not based in a book. No,
no
yeah.
offense to you, but like it's relevant what you got to say.
Because I don't believe in God.
You don't believe, you have no moral compass.
What do you mean I have no? So you're saying because you're automatically assuming
You
I believe
go
in
off
more.
of how
If you
you
guys
feel
want to go, if
versus-
they're really going to get annoyed if we get into a debate on morality and objective morality versus subject. I don't want to get into any of that.
You have no grounds to like stand on.
Where are your grounds? I'm asking you. What are your grounds for what's ethical and what's unethical? I'm asking
That's
you.
the whole point.
What's
to
your
a higher
grounds?
power, you have none.
Is that where you're? Is that
so
where?
it's off of your own judgment, which
Okay.
is kind of false.
No,
narrative
here's
anyway.
I have my philosophy on what's ethical as long as you're not harming. I can do all of that, but I'm asking you,
Okay.
where do you guys base your ethics? Why would it not be? Why for you is it unethical to do?
If we did a poll,
Yeah, morals based on
Hold on.
where?
If we did a poll, right,
religion.
for
Oh my
everyone in here,
God.
that kids had a family about porn, what would they say?
So
no, be honest. Yes or
so
no?
is what's considered
No, no,
ethical
I'm
what
asking-
most people believe?
I'm asking
It's
a
called
question.
an appeal to
No, no.
popular belief. This is a
Question-
fallacy.
Question for you.
Yes.
We did a poll. Yes or no? It's quite ethical. What would they say?
If we did a poll 500
This is
whatever
cold.
years ago and we said, is the earth flat? More people, does that make it true? True is true?
No. I'm talking about right
Just
now.
answer the question.
This
How am I getting
year.
in court?
Yes or no?
Where?
No, here, right now.
Here, if it's ethical, I actually don't know. Would people say it's unethical or ethical? I don't know. Probably more people
I think
make a
yeah,
vote.
to be honest, I
Raise
think
your
it's
hand if it's ethical.
Did
If
you-
not, no.
Raise your hand if it's ethical to be
Yes.
on OnlyFans?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's perspective. It's unethical. Sorry, it's unethical because of the society that we live in.
That doesn't mean it's wrong. The
Right.
society can be wrong, right?
so you
Just
want
like
your
it's wrong
daughter and
about
son
you
to
guys.
Wait, the society that we live in, which is
right
one of
now.
the most progressive societies, most liberal societies, even in the United States, if you polled most people, they would say, yeah, pornography is kind of
And
unethical.
15 years ago, if we polled people on gay marriage, people change.
Even race.
Yeah.
Black people were fucking
Gay marriage, let's hold their
We
conversation.
can
No,
debate this
but I'm
back and
saying
forth.
people's societal perceptions
But-
change, and things
we're
are
taking
true or
it
they're
too
not true.
far.
It doesn't
That's
matter how
We
many
can go back
people.
and forth on this topic
Yeah.
here, but like
Well,
just
I mean, you're trying to argue that pornography is ethical. I would argue it's not ethical.
And
I think
what are you
most
basing
people,
it?
and
Unfortunately,
most
it's
people would
unethical.
agree
Yeah,
that
but it's
pornography is not
unethical.
ethical. It's not
It's-
appropriate in most situations. It's most people would not agree.
Okay,
that
so you're
pornography
saying
is
it's unethical because most people agree with you. Okay, that's not an
It's
actual
also-
legit. That's a layup
In
out there.
generalities, it's not.
taking into account
Unfortunately, it's
religion,
unethical.
people's
Right.
moral compass, people's
So,
actual
I get it. Most
preference,
people agree.
people's
yes.
kids, people's
Yes.
lives. That whole
So what,
put it all together?
if you're
No.
going to say that it's a logical fallacy by popularity, then tell me why it is ethical then.
I'm saying it's ethical because it doesn't harm anybody else. It's a personal autonomy decision. I don't think sex is bad. I don't
there's
think
ED,
sex.
What?
I don't
people that are rely on that.
Okay, so
only,
if I had a
they can't have-
if I had a liquor store, is having a liquor store unethical? Because some people are alcoholics and I'm selling.
that could be unethical.
Yeah.
Though. Like if you're growing up, like your parents are
100%.
both like alcoholics.
No,
that
no,
could be,
if
like,
I owned-
unethical because then you're showing it exposure in kids or whatever.
If I ran a donut, if I had a donut shop, donuts are bad for you. Is that unethical? If I ran a liquor store, is that unethical? Or are
Maybe
some
a liquor
people?
store.
and there are laws.
Probably, yeah.
that,
This is great.
no, to your argument, liquor stores have to close right at a certain time.
There's
Most of them.
regulations. Yeah, and I have
There are
regulations on
regulations.
OnlyFans. I can't bring. I have
What
to.
about the
every-
consumers that
yeah,
keep
on
consuming it?
OnlyFans, if anyone else wants to be in my content, they have to send an ID. They have to send a consent form. They have to show they're over 18. There's regulations there too.
We're talking about porn in
Like-
general.
like-
Yeah, I'm talking about I think OnlyFans is the most ethical way to consume porn.
People are
It's the
jacking
point.
off,
But on
maybe watching you
OnlyFans, when you
come.
sign up, you just need to click
It's the
agree or
point.
So
something,
unethical.
and that
It's
lets you be on
because
it.
other people think that. I just think you guys shouldn't be the one arguing that ethics should be correlated with popular belief.
Because of what we do.
No, because because it's not true. Claims are false or true. It doesn't matter how many people believe them,
Bro,
right?
Are you for real right now?
I'm being for real. So you guys, a lot of people disagree with you, but you still think you're right. And I'm not saying the reason you're wrong is because most people disagree with you. It's not why you're wrong at all, because that doesn't, what most people believe, just like most people used to believe the earth is flat and it wasn't, that didn't make it true. Either things are true or they're not true. So if you're talking about ethics, which is different than the earth is flat, right? Because that's a different type of fact.
We're never
Then
gonna
we need to be able
finish.
to ground ethics. What makes what I do unethical? Is it just because people agree with you, because that isn't how you make a valid
It's a
claim.
combination of
That's
things.
not a conclusion.
And that
This
is a
show is
factor.
an incorrect LSAT question.
So what makes it ethical then? You're saying because you're not hurting anyone, that's what makes it ethical?
Because I'm choosing to do something with my body that isn't hurting anyone. Now, if some person, I guess, isn't going on a date because he's watching me jerk off, I don't think that makes what I do unethical. If you're saying what I'm doing is
your
unethical,
basis is as long as you're not hurting anyone, it's ethical.
I think with sex, and I don't correlate modesty or sexual purity with morals because I see no link to it. If you have a link to it, please let me know, because I like this topic. I'd love to talk about it. What is it about sex and OnlyFans and porn that makes it unethical? I'm saying I don't see anything. To me, for something to be unethical, it has to harm.
It does harm
It
people.
doesn't. I don't think
I mean, does she show those videos to her parents?
So then,
It's crazy. Sex is sacred. Just because you expose it to people doesn't mean it's right.
Sex is sacred. Why? Because you said so? Because your God said so? Because you guys, I mean, what
I mean,
exactly?
that's respecting people's religion, I guess, because people believe that sex,
but
sex
again,
is.
but I'm not religious.
I know exactly. You don't have no ethical
But
ground.
because you're atheist, you have no foundation to any of your claims.
That's that's my foundation. So I'm saying, just like if you had a liquor store. And if I had a liquor store, some people are alcoholics. You can say, "Oh, that's so unethical. Alcohol harms people." So should there be no liquor stores?
That's
Are they
like
doing?
Satanist.
You have no soul,
That's
bro.
like Satanists, right? They believe that as long as you don't harm anybody, it's okay. But by that logic, that's saying anything can go, because if you don't harm somebody, that doesn't mean it's right.
No, if it doesn't harm anybody, I think it's fine.
Do you think your mom and your dad like watching you?
I don't live for my mom and my dad.
Okay, but that's still your family. You don't care about them.
Do you play
Of
their
course I care about
videos?
them. We still have a good relationship. They're not happy with my decision. But
Arguing
if
that
you want to
porn
live, if you want to live
ethical,
for your
like,
friends,
You
and
said you're not
family-
hurting anybody. You're hurting your mom and your dad.
Yeah, but if
shit.
so if someone was
Damn.
gay,
If
if someone was
your
gay,
daughter-
Their foundation is not
if someone
even
was
stable, bro.
gay and they're hurting their parents, should they not be
No,
gay?
but
What
if
if
You're not
if your
gay.
daughter-
You're
I mean,
But
she
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
want-
if
she
your-
doesn't
if your
want
metric
porn.
is
The porn
hurting
that she
your
makes
parents,
it
you can
seem
hurt your
bad
parents.
because she's making it.
I'm
Like, that's the only
finished.
thing.
We
This is
can hurt
Super
our parents
Saiyan
by just not
Yeah.
being lawyers, doctors, and engineers. We're already hurting our parents. So it's
All
what
right,
was
you
your
had something
question?
that you want to say?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
go for it.
If your daughter, because you're so perfect.
I am.
If your daughter, okay,
Because her
whatever.
frontal lobe.
If your daughter
developed.
Prefrontal
came up to you and said, "Hey," and she said, let's say she's my age,
Okay.
and she goes, she could choose a wonderful career path, right?
Mhm.
Or she decides to do pornography, and you're like, and I'm like, "Hey, mom, I want to do pornography. Are you gonna think it's okay?"
I'm gonna say my only goal for having children. I don't bring children to this world to make me proud. All I want for my children is that they're happy,
Okay,
they're
but
healthy.
I am
and they're-
18 right
Yeah,
now.
if pornography is how she's gonna be healthy, happy, go for
Wait,
it.
will it make her happy in the
Ask him
future?
for
or
that.
no?
It
makes me happy. It makes me
Man, what? A girl that's
You're on a
poor.
very
That's
long
just not
road.
True. I'm
It's-
sorry.
Pornography is not
Yeah.
gonna make
But
you
it's
A lot
happy.
of,
Take-
a lot
got
of women
exposed.
that
It's
are
not the same
involved
thing.
in pornography, etc., end up being really miserable as they get older.
And
it
lawyers
hurts their ass.
are the unhappiest.
already
they are
seems kinda
constantly ranked as the
miserable at doing
unhappiest profession
this
of
over and
like
over and over
a
again.
lot of jobs are like that. Now,
Really?
it's not for everyone. Not every lawyer is miserable. Not every
Yeah,
porn
but it's
star
not
is
going to
miserable.
have the same long-standing damage and effects to your ability
Your
to find
reputation
someone, your
crushes.
reputation, etc. Like,
I think those are all great points, and that's why when girls ask me should they do this, I don't tell them, yeah, go for it. It depends on your values. It depends if those are the kind of men you would want anyway. It depends on the individual. But for some people, like me, it is the right decision.
Wait, but if it's so ethical, why does that matter?
Because like you said, society. No, what does that
You're
even
done,
mean?
man. You're done.
Society does care. So if you care about society, if you, that's something that that doesn't make it unethical. Just like being gay, in my opinion, I don't know what you guys think, isn't unethical. But if someone was like, oh, I don't know if I should come out, and back in the day it was more stigmatized, and I was like, hey, yeah, I don't know if you should come out because there could be negative consequences. Doesn't make what you're doing unethical though.
Let's agree.
that's
to disagree
crazy
here.
that you you think pornography is ethical. I mean, that's fine,
Yeah.
but to put us in the same, because we say terrible things about women. I don't think we necessarily say terrible things about women. We say unflattering realities and truths about women that society doesn't necessarily want to admit, but people know that it's true. On the other hand,
A lot of people don't think it's true.
like, we're able to save lives from telling guys the truth about how the world really works when it comes to women. You're not saving lives by getting fucked on camera.
Well, I do. That's the thing. I don't just do that. Like, I talk about all this. I have I recommend books. People text me message me all the time about a lot of ways I've impacted them too. Just like people message
Show
you.
them how to-
What I'm trying to say,
feminism.
what I'm trying to say is that the same way that a lot
We
of the
laugh at
stuff
the
you
funny
say, a lot of
videos.
people disagree with. Corporate America would want nothing to do with you more than they would want to do with me. That doesn't mean what you guys are doing is wrong.
We
that
never argued about corporate America.
Yo, you said that because corporate America thinks I'm unethical, that they're
an
unethical.
example of your own life. Listen,
Having difficult conversations that might have some controversial takes on it because of political correctness is not the same as getting fucked on camera.
Yeah, but getting fucked on, I think getting fucked on camera is unethical because it's political. It's not. It looks bad on the firm. But if you actually ask all the lawyers I worked with, they were like, "Oh yeah, they don't have an actual moral issue with it. They're women and they're men and they're like literally. That's what I'm saying. And they're
not gonna tell you to your face like, yo,
for
that's
instance, I was just on a podcast with 2 Texas attorneys who found me on the Texas attorney Facebook page, and they were like, all the comments were positive. Do all the people in the comments want
bad about you behind your back?
Bro.
Okay.
Like are they doing pornography?
I just said it's a decision that it's good for some people, it's bad for other people. For me, it made sense.
It's not ethical then.
It's
So
ethical.
it's not then.
It's ethical for people to make a personal choice. You said it's unethical, and the example you gave was because my job would have a problem with it. Any job that would have a problem with me doing OnlyFans has a problem with you too as well. So that's obviously not a metric for
we're
what's
not making
right.
an argument that we're ethical.
Again, we're not.
You're the one making the argument saying that.
I'm saying it's
Can we
not
wrap this
unethical.
up, please? This is too much. I just
Like it's sorry.
My head's beeping. Can we wrap this up?
Yeah, I mean, like it's
wrap what up?
This whole stupid conversation.
I mean, if it's stupid, you're free to leave at any time.
I want to because this is just not going to end.
Okay, feel free to leave.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
It's too much, bro.
Okay, no worries. They'll escort you out.
Yep.
They will.
But yeah.
Okay.
So I think at this point, we can agree that it's not ethical, but we'll let you out that one.
We're not agreeing, but
I low-key high-key wanna hear like I think some things you're saying are very valid, but I also like kind of want to hear like more of the other girls.
Yeah, I
too.
agree. Sure, we can do that.
Kill me.
I mean, if you want to talk, if you don't want to, yeah, don't have to.
Let's go.
The
Chats.
comment was about me. That's why.
I know. Yeah.
45
that
minutes ago.
that definitely is not your fault.
Every comment has been.
I am bar
Oh
certified.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah,
this
they're all
fake
about me.
lawyer that is not bar certified.
I can show you guys my. I'll show you guys my bar card.
Intelligence. She has brain damage. I am not saying this to be mean. Something is broken in the mind. Any idiot can get a
That's
JD.
first of all not true, and I am bar certified.
All right. She literally just wants to argue. She saw the ability to be in front of an audience and argue. Please don't let her suck the show. So annoying. Nobody cares. Female destiny. I promise you, nobody cares.
You care. You paid $20 to write that.
Too late.
A flying raptor goes. This paralegal chick needs to understand the average male income in the U.S. is $38.5K to $38,500 per year. $38.5K. 75 to 80% of women on this show have all said they wanted a guy who makes 6 figures. She's not in touch with reality.
Me or someone else a paralegal? Because I never said any of that. I know that's what the average.
He's
is.
trolling you.
Okay. That's just must be someone.
For
else.
the lawyer girl, how
That's
many
you.
of her friends who are lawyers know she does OnlyFans? Also, like Destiny, just saying BS with confidence is still BS. The lawyers' second wives won't be in the same field as them.
Actually, I started OnlyFans because one of the other girls in law school started one.
So you follow people? Awesome.
And it did give me. I was like, okay, let me try it.
All right.
That beautiful OnlyFans / lawyer girl has never been rejected, and it shows. She's been rejected. She just doesn't know it. Men reject covertly, women reject overtly. And what I mean by that is men don't give you the commitment that you seek.
I don't seek it though.
It's fine.
But you're not the one that determines it. The man picks you. You don't pick the man.
But if we want to get into this, we can. I'm gonna let you decide because I don't want to take away the time of everyone else.
I mean, you have.
It's too late.
So should I
Yeah,
should I
it's too late.
continue?
No.
Go for it.
I mean, unless other girls have anything
Yeah.
that they want to say or
Anyone
whatever.
wanna say about this?
What? She might have something to say.
Yeah, she might have something to say.
No, I just want you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
one way to do that is
Yeah,
maybe
I'm
to
not gonna lie.
contribute.
You can't ruin the show.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah. It's not.
I'm giving other people an. Yeah, she has something to say. That's one way to make me shut up.
Bro.
I've told you to not
chats are about me.
I've told you to not hijack the show.
No one else could talk.
I'm giving you an opportunity.
No, it's been 3 hours and 25 minutes. That's why.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You took the whole show, man.
I don't give a fuck, man. It's Friday night. Come on, man.
I mean, there were other girls didn't really want it. Other girls didn't really say shit, bro.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I was trying. Like I was like, hey.
Yeah.
And then,
Bro, Myron, they had no chance, man.
Yeah.
All right. Hypergamy is dying, yet countless girls do the delusional calculator. They want the same kind of men. Just stop it. Well, we'll turn it to the girls that wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Poothy Wetter. Oh, okay. I see what you did there. When I sleep with liberal feminist women, I'm the biggest feminist and LGTB supporter until I finish in her. I lean in her ear and whisper that I voted for Trump and support Tate, then leave. Dean for truth. The lawyers thinks herself a masturbator. She plays dumb while going hard, arguing that she doesn't understand. She knows better, but likes being a much speaker.
She's a
but
man
likes
eater.
being a much
Very
speaker.
coherent.
She's a man eater. Fantastic.
Okay.
So we'll turn to the ladies here. If you had a point or disagreement or anything else that you guys want to discuss, feel free. Well, we can start here and then work our way.
Questions, comments, last thoughts on the show.
I just want to say if there's any females watching this or even guys watching this that are thinking about doing OnlyFans or porn, don't do it. Ruins your lives. Don't be a prostitute. Don't get a pimp. Don't sell your soul.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Shit.
Wow.
That was
Okay.
kind of deep.
All right.
I just want to say, like, I never tell nobody to shut up. I never have a problem with anybody. But I just feel like you're just being really extra and doing the most. And it just got to a point that I just, my head hurts. Like,
I'm sorry you feel that way. I hope
Yeah.
Your head gets better.
Thanks.
Imagine doing this every night.
Yeah, facts.
For a year and a half.
Yeah,
Keep your sanity.
I mean,
still.
3 years fresh.
Well,
Like, I don't care her getting her point across, but like, it just, when you guys like tell her the answer and she just keeps
Doesn't
on.
understand it.
Because I disagree, so we're going back.
Yeah,
and
but then you
forth.
end up agreeing with it after
Okay.
2
I
hours.
I didn't agree with
okay.
Yes, you did.
Go ahead.
Wait, did she
My
finish her
final
point? Did you
thoughts.
finish anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a good time.
Okay, shout
No
out.
thoughts,
Me
no
too.
nothing?
Me too.
Disagreements?
Like everybody should do as they feel. So
Does it feel?
yeah.
Regardless of potential consequences in the future, do as
I
they
mean,
feel.
that's on them. I'm not here to tell them what to do.
You don't give a fuck.
No.
Okay.
So just do what they feel?
Yeah.
But what if what they do, what they
Who
feel
am I to say
will hurt
to
them later in
someone
the
else
future?
what to do?
Well, I mean, you can
I
tell
can
them.
advise, but I cannot tell them.
Yeah, but I mean, if they do what they feel, it might feel right at the moment, but it might set them up for failure later on.
Well, that's on them.
So people shouldn't do what they feel then.
Well, that's on them. Like whatever they want.
Damn.
But you don't understand.
No, I understand, but like that's terrible advice. Do what you feel. Okay, what if I'm angry and I want to slap my girlfriend? Like, I'm gonna do what I feel.
You
and I slap her
might
and
not
go
be
to
in
jail.
jail, you know,
Yeah,
but
correct.
you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, if you can, you can.
What?
You know, like
But that's terrible advice,
you
though.
shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do
Yeah,
it.
so people shouldn't do
But
what they
you're-
feel.
but you, I don't know. You can do. You're free to do whatever you want.
No, but people shouldn't do
But
what they
there's
feel.
consequences to whatever you do.
Correct.
Yeah, so you shouldn't do what you feel.
You can do it, but then accept the consequences that comes with it. No.
But the thing is that you feel like it doing it at some time, and you shouldn't do that. You should be able to control yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. That advice is terrible.
I mean,
Do as thou will. The creed of the
These
atheists.
4 are in cahoots.
Are you
Cahoots for what?
We're what?
We're in cahoots for what?
I've been
What is that?
actually
You guys all just agree.
No,
She agrees. You all agree.
That's not true at
Definitely
all. She
not.
disagreed
Yes, it
with
Well,
me.
she's
Yeah,
had
multiple
opposing
times.
At
views.
least we don't
Yeah.
look like miserable.
Now I'm not even talking.
I'm
and
not
you're
miserable. I'm just
you
I'm
look
gonna say
miserable,
I'm
like you're
saying
in
it.
it.
Like I don't care.
I feel like
It
that's
looks like
wrong.
you care.
Me
Okay.
telling someone else
We
what
gonna
to
move
do.
on.
Hold on, wait. So wait, you said sorry. You said something. You were saying something miserable. Something?
Like she doesn't look really happy and like
I have a
I just feel
headache.
sad for you. Yeah.
She's been talking for 3 hours straight.
I wasn't
Nobody
It's
else
talking,
has
you
okay.
just
You
brought
can
me
have a
in.
Tylenol. That
Yeah.
will
No,
help.
all I said was you 4 are in cahoots.
To do what?
The whole show. She agrees, so it's yes. All of you agree. You guys don't have.
Oh,
your own
you
opinion.
want us to agree with you?
No,
when you
I
didn't
don't
say
want you to agree with
anything.
me. I just want you to disagree with her for once.
I don't agree. I don't agree with everything
didn't-
she
yeah, I
said.
didn't
I don't
agree.
think. I don't think
I haven't
porn
even
is
answered
ethical,
this
but that doesn't
question.
mean I don't know. Everybody can do
You
with
don't
their
even
lives
say
whatever
You just
they
want me to
want.
talk because I
Stay
was gonna shut the
quiet.
fuck up for once, but then you're
Okay,
bringing
I
me
don't
into
care.
it.
The show's
Stop
over.
the cap.
I'm gonna say
Spoke
my
a
2
lot,
cents.
no?
I don't give a fuck.
It's okay.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right.
To be honest, I'm like a little bit like in loss of words. Not like I could speak too many words
Why?
during this time, but like I don't know. Like it's a very different experience. I don't even know what to say. To be honest, this was like crazy. But yeah, I don't know.
What about you?
I'm sorry you're sad.
I didn't say I was sad.
You seem upset. Like she said, maybe take.
No,
a
she
Oh,
said
you're
I'm
so petty.
upset.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
saying,
no.
I'm sorry.
She
if
has
I-
a headache.
Yeah,
she just
Yeah.
has a
Okay.
headache.
Come on,
Sorry,
come
you
on.
have a headache.
Okay, me.
Oh, that was it?
Wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what
Sorry that she has a headache?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Does
you
it?
guys
No,
want me
me
to talk
not.
more? I don't want to trigger anybody. It's her
You
turn.
could talk, just don't talk the whole show. Just say what you meant, and that's it.
Well, I'm done here. There you go.
Wait. So that's your last thoughts of the show?
What do you want? What would you like? My
She
last
said
thought. I
enough,
mean,
no?
subscribe to my OnlyFans.
The whole time.
Yes,
You've been
I
talking.
disagree. I
Go ahead,
disagree
go
with a lot of the claims made here. I tried to articulate my points. I'm sorry if I took up too much time.
Okay.
I would like to debate these topics even further, and that's what I think of the show.
All right, boom.
Okay.
All right.
Here's the thing. I think it was very important to let you get your viewpoints out because, no offense, whenever a fool shows their colors and shows their stupidity, you just let them keep doing it. And I think you made a lot of arguments in bad faith, in the face of objective fact, use certain phrases and terminologies to make yourself sound like an authority in situations, even though it was incorrect.
Actually, no, I didn't. Me
You know, you tried to say, well, I need studies and stats for, you know, things that are universally known and accepted throughout the world and throughout history, which, let's be honest, it would never be passed as a study because certain things like figuring out a woman's body count, we know women typically
So wouldn't that be me not making myself an authority? Would
saying no, but like no, I'm saying like within the confinements of this discussion. And I think, and here's the thing too, because that's very interesting. You made a lot of arguments and talking points that a lot of liberal women would make to justify and rationalize certain life choices, whether it's being promiscuous, getting into sex work, saying that I don't necessarily really want to get married, blah, blah, a lot of rationalizations, a lot of cope. And I think it was important for the audience to kind of see because you used a lot of the same talking points that leftists and liberals use to rationalize and justify their actions.
Okay, I agree. I think I made some, but I think I did made some great points, and I think some people would agree with me, and some people, your fans would agree with you.
At the same time, like I consider myself liberal, like very far left.
And she didn't agree with me.
But I don't agree with all the things she said.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's also one of the reasons why I wanted to come on the show, because I know you guys are very opposite when it comes to left and right. But at the same time, like you have great points sometimes.
You're very liberal, but you're with a man that has conservative behaviors.
Because everything doesn't need to be like to the extreme. But I understand that's the reason for the show. You want to get the extreme points because that's what gets views. That's what like makes the argument. That's why
my
the
argument
reason,
is that women typically are not attracted to liberal men that think that men and women are equal and I'm going to do this and you do that. Women want a man who's going to be a leader and dominant. And even though you came from a very equal, egalitarian society, you came to the United States and you were attracted to a man that it shows the traits that you didn't think you'd be attracted to, but you are. And that's what I'm trying to say. Attraction isn't a choice, even though she's trying to make that argument that it is. It really isn't.
No,
I never said that.
I agree
That's
with
a
you.
straw man.
Like
what?
I never said attraction is a what choice?
No, I said that.
Oh, okay.
I said attraction is not a choice.
Like even
And I didn't say it.
Attraction is not a choice.
I just said that more goes into attraction than the things you're saying. That's all I said.
I talked about the fundamentals that women are attracted and aroused by, which is
But there is
socioeconomic
more
status,
to that.
competence, etc. And you're trying to argue that women are not looking for that, which is a lie.
No, I never said that women aren't looking for that. I'm sorry if that's how I came off. I'm not saying women aren't
That's
looking for that,
absolutely
but
how you
that's
came off.
definitely not the only thing women are looking for. And there's more intragroup variation than intergroup variation. So there are different kinds of women like different things. Now that doesn't mean women never look for these things, or that doesn't even mean that women, like I told you, that study I just stated, especially when options are restricted, they look for these things more. If they have a bunch of men that can provide for them, then they're going to look for people that are kind. Other things too. IQ, however, intelligence was one of the
Are
necessities.
options restricted for women though?
So
in
that's
2023, realistically speaking.
If maybe for a kind of men, so it depends. If the woman wants someone to pay her rent and give her a really lavish lifestyle, then yeah. If that's the thing she's looking for, then yeah. But if a woman's just looking for to be taken care of, and that's what she's looking for, and she doesn't have this really extravagant she doesn't want this kind of lifestyle, then she's going to look for, she wants guys that are also kind, maybe intelligent. I told you, intelligence was actually found in the study to be a necessity for both genders. That's all I said.
If that were true, then nerds and guys that are dweebs would get all the girls. But
So
the
it's a
reality is
threshold.
that
It's a threshold.
No, the man has to meet certain prerequisites first to even get a chance.
I agree with you, but that's
Okay.
first. And part of the prerequisites
But
also for men.
but you're overlooking the difficulty of getting these prerequisites. And the reason for that is because you're a female and life is easy for women and you guys don't have to necessarily work to become attractive. Men
I would
do.
say that people of lower socioeconomic status who don't make a lot of money may also get married. It's not just that these rich, high status men are the only ones having sex and mating. And if your audience thinks that that's the reason they're not doing well, I would implore them to maybe look at other factors that may be causing it.
We never said that. But what I am saying is that a man's ability to attract and retain women is absolutely contingent upon socioeconomic status.
But then how come men of low socioeconomic status still get a lot of women? They get women.
They might have sex, true. And I mean, if you want
They
to
get
use,
married too. They have children too.
yeah, but do those relationships last? Are the women actually satisfied? Are they happy? I would argue no,
So
because
you-
divorce rates are through the roof. Women initiate most of them. Like,
so are
it's-
higher status men getting divorced less? Like I feel like Hollywood shows
They
the
are
opposite.
actually, because once again, men with money and wealthy and influence, they have way more.
does drop
That is true. That yeah, that once because
So
couples
what are you
do
arguing?
argue about money a lot. That's true. But this idea that like men who are fit or tall or these things have lower
Yeah, but we're
divorce
talking about
rates is
wealth
not
here.
truth.
We're talking about wealth.
The whole conversation started because I said women don't want an equal. Even though you think men and women are equal, they're not.
I think they are.
And
I don't
women are not attracted to equality. You have someone that comes from an egalitarian society telling you right to your face, yo, I like my new boyfriend in America who does not observe equality and egalitarian belief system. That's what I'm trying to say. And she is a microcosm of the larger general scale that I'm saying that women don't want an equal.
Do you want a man? Do you want a man who's not equal to you? I'm just curious.
Like
incredible.
I don't know, like equal in like different ways.
Yeah,
but, like,
exactly.
but at the same time, right now here, I've seen this side. Like even before back home in Sweden, I was the biggest hater of like men that was telling women that they wanted to have a housewife. Like I was like, you're like the worst people to this earth. Like I was like,
I'd be
die.
happy.
I
But then now, when I moved here, I see the different side. I would be more than happy if I get a man here that's able to provide for me, so I can provide for
that
my own
treats
kids.
you right and treats you
I'm
nice.
glad
You're not
you
gonna be
made
with
the
someone
change.
that's like,
but
oh, you
that's
stay
what-
here and I'm gonna go fuck
Yeah,
other
because
girls
in
because you didn't
Sweden,
feel like it.
but also because it's literally like it's so far left. So like in Sweden, no man gets the amount of money, and the child is a little bit better, but like no man can provide that much money. That's why you need both parents need to work, and I was very happy with that. But then here, when I see how it is here, if I have a man that could provide for me, and
So we're not
I would die to be able to like raise my own kids. I'm a nanny.
So all that egalitarianism,
Period.
Do you guys, I don't know if y'all just heard what I heard, but all that equality and egalitarianism went out the fucking window as soon as
Yeah.
she came here, even though she came from a society where everyone was equal, 50-50, blah, blah, blah. But then she gets a taste of a man being a leader, a chivalry, etc. Her being able to be a woman, to be feminine, she likes that more.
So why don't we go backwards? Why are women?
But
still
we don't need to be
pushing
to the
forwards?
extreme right
Because
either.
I'll tell you why. Because they buy into the bullshit that you're going ahead and peddling, saying that pornography is ethical. It's okay. Be strong and independent. Go and chase
But
a
if
career.
it's wrong, they're
You
not
can
going to
be
figure
happy,
it out.
etc.
No, but
What?
kids
But
my
if
the
it's
girls,
wrong, well, I mean,
They- you know what? Here's the
there's
thing.
girls my age that are losing brain cells because they listen to you.
I think they're
and
losing brain
they're
cells from listening to
delusional
you.
because they don't have a man or a brother or a father who can to be like, hey, listen, this is wrong. You have to do like pay
But
attention, look at different perspectives,
I
look
think
at
people
politics,
should definitely
look
look
at
at
everything.
different perspectives.
Okay,
Jasmine, I think it's your
academics,
ego.
it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
I don't
You
hear what
have
she's
to
Yeah, you
be
have a
able
big
to look
ego.
at everything
I don't think
and make
it's your
assumptions.
ego.
The
I'm
problem
not
is
gonna
that
lie.
you
My
say
ego,
one
no.
thing
You never
and then
say
it's
you're
like la la
wrong.
la la la, and then all these idiots. I'm sorry, but they're idiots. They just feed to themselves. You have
So this is like Plato's allegory of the cave. Like we're all in the
basically, in
darkness.
other words, feminism is taking over because society's freaking
But it's also
all over the place.
but it's the same thing to the other
Because
side.
feminism
to like
is higher
supervise-
and masculinity is dropped. That's why there's so much more divorces.
No, but it's also like exact same thing if it's like the super far right. Like I don't like when it's like so
Okay,
freaking extreme.
okay.
I've seen in the past history everything when
so
it's so
let's say-
extreme to both
let's
sides.
say
Like
it's not-
that's the problem. Like to be honest.
Let's say it's not too. Let's say we're not going far right and we're not going far left.
Yeah,
Let's
we
say
need
we
a
meet in the
balance.
middle, right?
Yeah.
Because I come from a family who has independence. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say when you start a family, you know, the wife always assume, you know, you have a few sons, I believe. You like to make sure that your son like is taken care of, and it's better that you take care of it. Correct?
Right.
Right. Okay. Because you are a mother, you kind of know how to teach your son. You want to make sure he's raised well. So that's the value of what we provide as a woman. You agree?
I agree.
Okay. So for a man, at that case, he's going to work hard, make sure he has his money, and so he can provide for your son or for whatever child you have, right?
Right.
So while you guys see that as equal, it's kind of giving our own values as together. So that's not far left and that's not far right, but that in general is traditional.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that in saying, feminism, and I'm not saying that feminism is wrong, but the extreme that it is
Yeah,
today,
the extreme sides
today,
are bad.
which
yeah.
I'm sorry, but you side with it more. And let me finish. Feminism right now
Okay.
is that it's going
18-year-old.
so extreme that these kids don't know what they're learning anymore. They're having teachers that are teaching them that all these different things, whether it's gay or if it's being too girly or being able to provide themselves, is taking over.
Well,
and they need to have a parent. They have to have a mother that's in the traditional side taking over and saying, hey, like, you know, you need to make sure I have provided you this and this, and you need a father that's doing masculinity to guide your son.
Right. But this is the issue. I think feminism comes out of scarcity. You know, again, we're all talking about ideal. Our ideal man is a provider, protector. But life happens and you don't find that, or you lack that. So now as a woman, now we have to be the provider. We have to take care of the kids because that man just for some odd reason.
What if he came along, but he was too nice? He had glasses. He was awkward when he spoke. He wasn't the most attractive guy ever, but he came along and he could have been a good boyfriend and her husband long term.
To your point, you said he has to be physically taller than me. He has to be X, Y, and Z. So no. So
now he does.
Yeah.
Because women's expectations have went up because they make their own money and they have their own status. So they don't need to settle themselves with a guy that they feel that they're better than. That's my point. That's what feminism has done. And going back with what you were saying, the reason why is because feminism has basically lied to women over multiple decades, telling them to chase a career, make money, be sexually empowered, and you know there will be happiness at the end of it. And what we come to realize now is that as feminism has gotten stronger, women are taking more antidepressants than ever. More women are reporting less happiness, and it's a lie. And the problem is this: women don't realize that it's a lie until it's too late.
So that's a post hoc. Just because A precedes B doesn't mean A caused B. There's plenty of reasons, and
there's
especially
in the
two
black
parties
community as well.
involved with this, men and women. If men became more of what they needed to be, providers, tall, successful, well, it can't become tall. That's irrelevant. But providers and the men that they're supposed to be, then less women will be in careers because they could depend on the men. So at the same time, feminine is bad, but if there were more men that were actually men, then it would kind of lower that.
Okay, for an example, okay, no one ever goes into marriage saying, okay, I want to get a divorce. Okay, so let's say you're in a marriage. You both start off when you meet someone, you're dating. We both have jobs, whatever. You get to the point in your marriage, and let's say your husband, whatever, loses his job. For some odd reason, he doesn't get a job right away, right? Let's say 6 months, a year goes by, he can't find work. As the woman, what are you going to do? If your job can cover the bills, he's down on his luck.
Help him find a job.
Okay, but again, that's a masculine trait, right? That's now I'm making more money than him. I'm coming home, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. Now I'm catching a fight, I'm having an attitude. Sorry. You see what I'm saying? And it's like it's out of survival.
This is why men and women aren't equal. When a woman is in a leadership role and she's providing for a man, she starts being bitchy, annoying, the worst. Women are terrible people when they're in a leadership role.
So what does a woman do if she's in that
better
situation?
Men that aren't bums.
So what if he didn't start off as a bum?
Here's the thing. A man that's a go-getter, a man that's a winner, literally the worst that could happen to him, he's going to find a way to make it happen. Winners find a way. Losers find an excuse.
But how do you that's so easy to say. If I met you, you're going to put you're going to tell me what boat you have, the car you drive, your business. And then as soon as you start dating someone, that's when shit hits the fan. You find out all their skeletons. They really don't have the money that they say they have. They just lose their, you know how many people I've been on dates with and in the first 30 days, something happened to their job. And you're like, what the fuck?
Hey, let me ask you a question. If I go out with a girl for 8 months and she doesn't give me sex and I'm just like giving her money and hanging out with her, blah, 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 and she doesn't give me sex, whose fault is it that I'm not getting sex?
Whose fault?
Yeah.
Your own that you're tolerating that.
Fantastic. It's also your fault for not knowing that guy was a fucking loser despite the boats and the cars and everything else. Just like it's his fault for getting strung along for 8 months and not getting sex because that's what he really wants. It's your fault for not figuring out that guy was a loser from the beginning.
Oh, I definitely know that.
That's what I just said.
But my thing is, it's like you pick and choose your battles. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, for example, like that question that you guys asked.
You just skirted accountability 1000% just now.
Yeah, because
you did. Yeah.
You asked me if it's my fault if I know this guy's a loser. He knows that I'm out of his league, and we both agreed that this is going to be a mutual beneficial agreement. He wanted something that he couldn't have.
No. You're missing the entire point because you were saying, oh, what if you go with a guy, he has a car, his boats, whatever,
well, that's two different
and then I find out later on that he's a brokey or whatever. I'm saying, I use the analogy. If the guy goes out with you for 8 months thinking that he's going to get laid and he doesn't get laid, whose fault is it? Is it his fault for being duped or is it your fault for not giving the sex? No, it's his fault for being duped because he's an idiot and he doesn't realize that you don't really like him. Same exact situation, the functional equivalent, right? Switch it up. The woman that can't detect that the guy's a loser from the first place in the face of cars, boats, etc., the facade, they can't see it beside the smoke and mirrors, is the same thing as the guy that can't get laid for 8 months. They're both retarded and not being able to understand the opposite gender's goals. That's what I'm trying to say.
I have to just. But I don't wanna,
see how she disagrees when the accountability is back on females?
No, I'm trying to tell you.
You agreed with me earlier. You do realize that, right?
When you're dating, and everybody's putting their best foot forward, how are you going to know someone's going to be a bum, a year into the relationship? You don't, until you find out, oh my God, this person is a bum. And yet now we have a child, now we're married, and now I have to be the feminist and take over and take care of the household.
That's your fault for picking the wrong guy. The accountability is on you for picking the wrong guy.
I'll take that.
So that's my point. Just like he's an idiot for waiting 8 months.
Yeah.
You're an idiot for picking the wrong guy and having a kid with that retard.
At least we understand now, right?
Like, women need to take accountability for their fuck ups in relationships as well. If you marry a bum and you have a kid with a bum and you end up being, paying the bills and everything else, you fucked up.
So a man can't fall down on his luck. So no real man can fall down his luck and not be a provider.
It can happen.
Okay.
But we're just saying if you pick correctly, it's going to be less of a thing.
And it's going to be temporary.
But if it's like a big accident or
Any guy
whatever.
that's a go-getter, that's ambitious, that's that fucking guy, right? He's going to make sure that he's jobless for a small period of time and get back
so
on
if he
it.
had something traumatic, like his parent died, a death, something has traumatic happened to his life that he's no longer that protector, provider. He's not that dude anymore.
Fucking well. Men are not ruled by their emotions like women. Men must do what's required regardless of how they feel.
You
That's
know
just
how
how it
many
is.
men blame their lives, their child. Oh, my mom, left me, and now I'm fucked
Cool. You
up.
picked an emotional man, and that's your fault.
So the glyphosate
is tough out here.
Yeah, man. You picked an emotional man, and that wasn't the
So we
way.
get it.
This is why I tell women all the time, don't pick some emotional guy that's going to be changing his mood all the time and shit. You need a guy that's going to be a rock regardless of what goes down.
Solid.
This is why men and women aren't equal. Because when women are in a leadership role, or they're the ones providing or protecting or any of that shit, they immediately get angry and say, fuck this shit. I'm in my masculine. I don't want to do this. So anyway, where are we at? Did you finish your point, Sweden,
Yes, she
or
did.
no?
No, I think she
Yeah,
was next.
I did.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Venezuela.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Last thoughts, disagreements, or anything else like that?
I had fun, and I don't know, just be and let people be. That's what
Be what?
Be
and let people be.
See, this this quote, this type of I want to say rhetoric is from this guy Aleister Crowley, and it's bad because this sets the premise that do what you will and do whatever you want, and this is bad because once again, if you do whatever you want, people will inevitably get hurt.
I'm
at some
trying to
point.
be the best version I can of myself, but I can speak for me. I don't everybody do with themselves whatever they want and whatever they feel like. But I can speak on my behalf. I just try to be the best version of myself I can.
Understandable. What
No other points? That was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In general, I'll keep it short and simple. I'm not angry at anybody. I'm just kind of disappointed, just in general, because I was just kind of just in shock that we all think alike, but in reality we're completely different. And I didn't realize that our society, this generation is
screwed.
Well, society is
it's a
fucked up
mess
right now.
It's a mess, and I'm really hoping that, especially with, I understand women empowerment and men empowerment, but I really hope that both can teach one another to. Men can empower themselves to be more masculine, and women can be finally feminine, because it's too much is taking over, and it's even me, for being 18 years old, it's hard to find even other people who think alike, because it's those guys that do. It's as this generation goes by, I seem to get more disappointed and disappointed because I'm just wow,
of the lawyer, etc. But a lot of women think the way that she does, especially educated women that have higher education. And I think as women continue to get educated, feminism becomes more and more stronger in society. I think. And yeah, man, I mean, the politically correct way of thinking is the proper way of thinking, right? That's why like shows like ours or whatever may be get canceled, because anytime you criticize women or you criticize anything,